When I was passing by the overpass, a fortune teller stopped me and said confidently, "Young man, judging from your face, you will have a son and a daughter soon." When I heard this, I was both angry and amused. I took out my student ID from my pocket, slapped it in his face, and said unhappily, "Look carefully, I am still my father's son. How can I say he is my father's son? Do you really think college students are so easy to fool?" Unexpectedly, as soon as I returned to the dormitory, my cell phone rang urgently. I picked up the phone impatiently, and from the other end came the anxious voice of the school beauty Chen Jun with a crying tone. "Jiang Tao, can you come to Kinkeo Hospital? I am about to give birth. The doctor said that a cesarean section requires a family member's signature. You are the father of the child." When I heard this, I laughed out loud. What kind of day is this? First, an old charlatan said that I want to have both a son and a daughter, and then a girl called and said that I am going to be a father. I am just a poor boy from a poor place. Apart from having 8-pack abs, being 1.8 meters tall, and looking a bit like Daniel Wu, what else can make a scammer want to be interested in me? I replied angrily, "Sorry, I'm not a scapegoat. I'm not interested in supporting the third generation of wealth." Then I hung up the phone. Then I opened King of Glory and was excitedly showing my national standard to my teammates when the phone rang again. "Hello, is this Wu Jiangtao?" A calm but serious female voice came from the other end. "I am. Who are you? It doesn't matter who I am now. Your girlfriend is giving birth in Kinkeo Maternity and Infant Hospital and is waiting for your signature. The mother's condition is not optimistic now. You'd better come quickly." I was annoyed and said impatiently, "Didn't I say I don't have a girlfriend? 30 minutes. No, you'd better arrive within 20 minutes, otherwise the mother will be in danger. Xiaoi, quickly arrange a delivery room. There's no room. There's no time. Arrange a temporary one immediately and arrange for hospitalization as well." Beep, beep, beep. The phone hung up. It was obvious that there seemed to be a doctor on the other end of the phone, and the background noise really sounded like a hospital. It didn't seem fake. Wu Jiangtao was somewhat confused. Could it be? True. But wasn't this just a coincidence? First, a fortune teller told him that he would soon have a son and a daughter, and then he received this phone call. Just when he was hesitant, no one in the dormitory noticed that a wave of space was surging behind his head, and it slowly emerged. Location in space and time. Positioning successful. A suitable host character found. Conducting DNA testing. The next moment, Wu Jiangtao was suddenly stunned and heard a strange voice coming from his head. "Bite. Super Daddy System binding. Already bound." Checking the host's offspring, confirming that the host is about to be promoted to a nanny, issuing the first system task. Don't let your life be filled with regrets. How can you miss the most important moment of your baby's birth? The first mission is released. Please arrive at the place where the baby is born, Kinkeo Maternal and Child Health Hospital, within 15 minutes. Rewards for completing the mission. One system red envelope molecule, minimum 30,000, which increases depending on the time the host completes the mission, and the maximum is no more than 100,000. 3 bags of diapers, 2 bottles, 2 baby swaddling blankets, 4 sets of baby clothes, and a can of Feihexing milk powder. Penalty for refusal or mission failure. Your brother's height will be cut in half. Suddenly, Wu Jiangtao jumped up. The subtitles in my mind were fully presented, among which the penalty for failure was specially marked in red, and was also enlarged and bolded, which looked very scary. This is a joke, isn't it? Wait a minute. Wu Jiangtao turned around and looked at the other brothers who were playing True 3 in the same room. "Are these the brothers you are talking about?" The system replied simply, "No." Wu Jiangtao felt terrible. His brother's height must have really shortened, just when he was wondering if he had drunk too much, and his brain was filled with water, which caused him to see this illusion. The super dad system in his mind continued to send out a death-like voice. The mission countdown begins. 30, 29, 28. Oh shit. Kinkeo Maternal and Child Health Hospital, right? Oh my god, why can't I go? Wu Jiangtao jumped up and rushed out of the dormitory door, slamming it shut. The other 3 friends who were playing True 3 were so scared that their hands trembled. They turned around in surprise, but Xiao Jiangjiang was nowhere to be seen. What happened to that guy just now? Fat Dragon turned his head to look at Nong Yi, who was standing next to him. Nong Yi shook his head, shrugged, and said, "I don't know. He was mumbling in his seat just now. Maybe Lu Wanner has made some moves again. Haha, Lu Wanner's kind of green tea bitch. No, she's very skilled. If Xiao Jiangjiang isn't careful, she'll really trap him. I'll call her later." Oh my god, Zhang Fei actually teed and flew again, damn it. He's just flying over there to die. Wei Yan, don't come over here. We lost this wave. Hold on, we can win. What? 21, 9, A second ago, the countdown was still 21, but it suddenly jumped to 9. Wu Jiangtao felt the hairs on the back of his neck stand up while running. He said angrily in his mind, "System, you are cheating me. Wasn't the countdown just now 21? How come it suddenly jumped to 9? The right to interpret this system mission belongs to Weilan Company. The parameter error reported by the host has been submitted, and repairs will begin after the end of this mission. The host will bear the consequences of incorrect parameters and will be compensated in the task rewards. The specific compensation will be given based on the completion of the task. System, I drafted it. System, recognizing this command cannot be recognized. Damn it. Wu Jiantao was in a state of panic. He ran out of the east gate like a flying bird and came to the street outside. Just then a taxi stopped there, and he saw a pretty girl just open the door and was about to get in. Whoosh! He rushed over without saying a word and sat in the passenger seat before the girl got in. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Wu Jiantao apologized to the girl with his hands clasped together repeatedly, then turned to the driver and said, Master, Kinkea Women's and Children's Hospital. Help. Jiangtao. Outside the car, the girl looked surprised. Wu Jiangtao turned around in shock and found that the girl outside was actually an acquaintance. Lu Wannert, the girlfriend who just kicked him out a few days ago. Oh no, it's her ex-girlfriend. You, bastard, come down, I have something urgent to do. Wu Jiangtao glanced at her calmly without saying anything else. Instead, he said to the taxi driver anxiously, Master, I'm so punctual. Please drive faster. Okay. Boom, the taxi started and sped away. Lu Wannert, who was behind it, chased after it in a rage for a few steps, but finally gave up. Asshole, scumbag, he stole the taxi I stopped. Her pretty face was distorted with anger, but she could only stand there and continue waiting for the taxi. In a taxi, Master, can you go faster? Young man, the traffic police are very strict now. I can't drive fast casually. I really have something urgent to do. My girlfriend. My wife is about to give birth, and I need to rush over to sign. In a hurry, Wu Jiantao could only make up a story. Regardless of whether what the woman named Chen Jun, who called him, or the doctor who came later said was true, the time for completing the task that was now flowing away in his mind was like a death warrant, making him feel unwell. Your wife is about to give birth. The driver was stunned and couldn't help but turn his head to look at the young man next to him. Don't lie to me that I'm not well educated. You don't look like you've graduated from college yet. Are you already 25 years old? I'm 24. No, I'm telling the truth. My wife is really about to give birth. Please hurry up. The taxi driver was silent. Damn it, I am already 36 years old, and I am still practicing the kill-in arm. Not to mention getting married and having children. I don't even have a girlfriend. Okay, sit down. Boom. He stepped heavily on the accelerator. The car's engine roared, and the speed suddenly increased. As expected of an experienced driver who has been driving for more than 10 years, even after the speed increased, the car still drove very smoothly. Soon, the car ran for more than 10 miles and arrived in front of the gate of a hospital. Kinkea Women's and Children's Hospital. Thank you, thank you. Wu Jiantao scanned the code to pay, opened the door and got out of the car, then ran into the hospital. It's good to be young, you can run so fast. In the taxi, watching his back running away, the driver lit a cigarette, subconsciously rubbed his greasy belly with an envious look on his face. What? You are Wu Jiantao. A hurried female doctor in a white coat appeared with an unfriendly look on her face, stood in front of Wu Jiantao, looked him up and down, with a hint of indifference and disgust in her eyes. Even though the other person is good-looking, what he said on the phone just now only shows that this guy is extremely irresponsible. I am. As soon as Wu Jiantao opened his mouth, the lingering smell of alcohol hit him in the face. You, the female doctor, was immediately furious. This person actually still had the mood to drink. That's all. Young people nowadays, the middle-aged female doctor shook her head and didn't want to get involved in too many things. She said coldly, Come and sign. Your girlfriend's water broke at noon, but her cervix is only 4 fingers dilated. She may need a cesarean section. But, Wu Jiantao hesitated. I'm not familiar with Chen Jun. The scene suddenly went quiet. The looks from the female doctor and the nurses were all wrong. Unfamiliar. That's a good excuse. This guy is such a scumbag. What do you mean by unfamiliar? How can you say that when someone is pregnant with your child? The baby is about to be born. 3 lives are at stake. Who can guarantee that there won't be any accidents during the birthing process? If you don't even want to take on this kind of responsibility, what's the point of being handsome? I don't care what's going on with you. The female doctor was so angry that she yelled at Wu Jiantao, You are the father of the child. Now, immediately, come here and sign. Wu Jiantao immediately realized the seriousness of the problem and quickly took the paper and pen and signed on it. A nurse at the side seemed to have remembered something and walked over to Wu Jiantao and said, "You are also from M University, right? Chen Jun asked me to tell you when she entered the delivery room, Hall's Bar, Ulai Hotel." Wu Jiantao was stunned, but the female doctor and nurses ignored him and went back to the delivery room. Wu Jiantao, who was promoted to a scumbag, recalled a bizarre experience of working odd jobs at Hall's Bar last August. But he only remembered that he was drunk that night, and in a trance, he seemed to see a very beautiful girl, but he remembered that nothing happened. Just when he was confused, the system in his mind finally popped up a prompt. Ding dong! Congratulations to the host for completing the mission in an outstanding time of 11 minutes and 50 seconds and reaching the most important place in life. The reward will be delivered to the host in a reasonable manner. A parameter error was detected during the mission, and a compensation reward will be given. Ding, compensation reward. Constitution +1, please check it yourself. Wu Jiantao, who was sitting on the side of the corridor, was still in a daze. Suddenly, a sharp pain came from a vital part. He couldn't help but bend down. This kind of pain goes straight to the depths of the soul. It took Wu Jiantao a while to recover. He was sweating all over and leaned limply on the chair. He was numb, completely numb, and almost lost all feeling in his body. For some reason, he always had a feeling that this system seemed to be torturing him deliberately. Ding dong! He was so scared that he was afraid that the super dad system would create another bad son. But it didn't happen. Instead, the text message notification sound of his mobile phone. When I picked it up, it turned out to be a bank text message. Huaxia Bank, dear customer, 50,000 yuan has been credited to your account ending in 9873. Wu Jiantao was stunned again, and then he immediately picked up his phone to check. He saw that a virtual currency platform app had appeared on his phone at some point, and the 50,000 yuan just now was withdrawn from some Dogecoin on this virtual currency platform. This, ding dong. The rewards of this system will be distributed in a reasonable manner. Please don't be too surprised. At this moment, his cell phone rang again. It was a call from his best friend Panglong. Hey, Zhao Jiang, there's a package for you in the dormitory. Tell me the truth. Why are there diapers, milk powder, bottles, and the like? Are you really going to have a baby? Forehead. Everything that just happened was too bizarre. Wu Jiantao didn't know how to explain it for a moment. Suddenly, he thought about why the system rewarded him with these things. It should be useful later. No, fatty, can you help me pack those things? Oh, there's a backpack on top of my closet, just take some diapers. What? Oh, I'll explain it to you later. Please help me pack first. You don't have to take all the diapers. Put half a pack in the backpack first. Also, put the milk powder, bottles, and baby clothes and blankets in the backpack and help me take them to Kinkia Women's and Children's Hospital. Okay, I'm right here. Fat Dragon on the other end of the phone was silent for a moment, then asked in astonishment, Wu Jiantao, are you okay? Why are you running over there? Anyway, please get it for me first. I have something else to do. I'm hanging up now. Wu Jiantao hung up the phone, stood up, and looked towards the door of the delivery room. The door is open, but a nurse came out pushing a baby carriage, glanced around, and shouted, Who is Chen Jun's family member? I am. Wu Jiantao hurried forward, only to see the nurse looking at him with a smile on her face. Congratulations. Your wife gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl. Oh. At this moment, what came to his mind was the words said by the old man wearing sunglasses in the afternoon. Your 2 children should be born soon, either this month or next month anyway, soon. If these 2 children are really his, then the old man's words cannot be said to be accurate, but can only be said to be too damn accurate. This is amazing. The nurse pointed at the tags on the chests of the 2 babies one after another. This is the brother, 15 pounds, 32 pounds, born at 6/31/56. This is the sister, 15 pounds, born at 6/32/09. Twins are born very close in time. A difference of a few seconds makes a big difference. Oh, okay, thank you, nurse. Wu Jiantao looked at the 2 little guys. They were red, with their hands raised on both sides of their faces, a little curled up, with wrinkled faces and tangled hair. They didn't look like the fair, cute babies he had seen in the past. They looked like 2 little old men. So ugly. This was his first real reaction. He just felt some mysterious emotion or feeling in his heart. No, not at all. When he saw these 2 little guys, he even had the urge to turn around and leave. Yes, where is the master? It'll be out soon. The nurse glanced at Wu Jiantao and remembered that scumbag from before. She cursed in her heart, wondering how such a scumbag could have 2 such cute twins. As he was speaking, the door of the delivery room was pushed open again, and a bed was pushed out. On the bed lay a very young and beautiful girl. Chen Jun. Wu Jiangtao was stunned. It was indeed Chen Jun, the goddess selected by M University. Although she was lying on the hospital bed, sweaty, pale, and with messy hair, this could not hide her unforgettable and pure face, like a solitary orchid in a valley. Wu Jiangtao. She raised her face with difficulty and opened her mouth as if to say something, but stopped herself. You should have a good rest first. We can talk later if you have anything to say. The wheels of the hospital bed rolled along the corridor, and soon, Wu Jiangtao followed them into a fairly spacious ward. The female doctor looked at him unfriendly, and he looked embarrassed. Because it's a cesarean section, your girlfriend will have to stay in the hospital for about a week. The next 2 or 3 days will be her period of discharge. The nurse will teach you how to change the pad later. You look like you are not prepared. Wu Jiangtao said weakly. Yes, I have prepared it, and my friend will bring it to me later. Shut up, listen to me. The female doctor seemed to really dislike him. Go downstairs and buy yourself a sanitary pad. Also, I need to take the baby for a checkup and vaccinations later. Also, you have to go downstairs to pay the bill. Wait. Wu Jiangtao was a little confused. You said too much, I can't remember. After the middle-aged female doctor finished speaking, she turned and left without giving him a chance to ask questions or to repeat himself. He turned to look at the nurse beside him for help, but she rolled her eyes at him and said calmly, I just changed the pad before I came out. You don't need to change it for now, but you'd better go buy some soon. Remember to buy medical-grade ones. Come to me when you're done. After saying that, the nurse turned around and left. Wu Jiangtao felt overwhelmed. There were so many things to do, let me sort them out. Change the pads. I won't need to do that for now. The child needs to be checked, vaccinated, and what else? He looked dazed. What a hassle. Why do I have to go through all this trouble? These 2 kids might not be. In view of the host's concerns, this system is conducting a paternity test. Ding dong. After the system's identification, the host and the 2 babies are biologically related. Of course, the host has the right to doubt the fairness of this system and can just turn around and leave. The host will bear the consequences at his own risk. Wu Jiangtao, well, he suppressed his doubts and began to recall the details of his bizarre encounter last August. Then, he lowered his head to look at the 2 babies in front of him. He saw that the chubby fingers of the sister's little hand were still moving, and the brother was smacking his lips lightly. What a magical little thing. Calming down, Wu Jiangtao took a closer look at the baby's eyebrows and eyes and found that he was indeed a bit like himself. The more he looked, well, the more he felt that he had the handsome charm of his own facial features. Just then, the phone rang. Wu Jiangtao picked up the phone. Hey Zhao Jiang, I'm at the gate of Qingqiao Women and Children's Hospital right now. Where are you? I'm on the 3rd floor of the Obstetrics and Gynecology Department. Wu Jiangtao had a good memory and directly said his location. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something and said, Wait, you don't have to come up, I'll go down. Well, by the way, buy some sanitary pads for discharge. As he walked past the clinic, he saw an old lady who was accompanying him next door looking at him with a smile. They gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl. Congratulations. Ah, thank you. Congratulations to you too. By the way, Grandma, can you help take care of them for me? I'll go downstairs to buy some sanitary pads and some things for the children. Okay, go ahead. Wu Jiangtao left in a hurry. The new mother in the next bed looked at him curiously, thinking he was quite handsome. Then she turned to look at her clumsy husband beside her, and a look of disgust suddenly appeared on her face. On a chair across the corridor from the ward door, a man in a baseball cap was sitting and browsing his phone. He looked up inadvertently, scanning the situation in the ward, and finally landed on Wu Jiangtao's back as he walked away. Water, I want to drink water. Chen Jun woke up in a daze, looked up. There was no sign of Wu Jiangtao around. The room was empty. Suddenly, footsteps were heard from next door. She turned around with joy, only to see a kind-faced old lady appear in front of her, holding a paper cup in front of her. Wake up, come and have some water. Your husband received a phone call and went downstairs to buy something. After taking a sip of water, Chen Jun forced a smile on his pale face. What buying things? He just ran away. Well, he didn't plan to count on him in the first place. He was asked to come over just to get a signature. Her eyes suddenly turned red. Even though I feel aggrieved, this is all my own fault. Chen Jun, you have to be strong. You still have to breastfeed. You have no right to be sad and cry. Didn't you foresee this situation today? Exhaling a breath, she forced herself to calm down, turned her head and looked at the 2 babies who were sleeping with their eyes closed, and her heart became strong and warm. At this moment, a nurse came over and saw that there was no one at the scene. She immediately called out, Is the family of bed 3 Chen Jun here? Is the family of Chen Jun here? You don't have to call for help, nurse. Chen Jun gritted his teeth, took a breath, and said, Can you help me call a nurse? What? At the hospital gate, the confused Fat Long was finally fooled away by Wu Jiantao, and he also hurried to the inpatient building with his backpack and sanitary pads. When passing by the outpatient building, he did not notice that Lu Wanner was entering the outpatient building with a boy. Hey, don't look so grim, okay? It's just a pregnancy, no matter how old you are. I will be with you. The boy didn't care at first, but when he saw the girl's angry eyes, he immediately gave in and quickly put on a flattering and begging face. On the third floor of the inpatient building, in bed number 3's ward. Tab, tab, tab. There was a sound of hurried footsteps. Chen Jun barely stood up and wanted to see the child. He turned his head subconsciously, only to see a tall figure appear. Are you awake? The voice is very magnetic. The strange boy put his backpack on the bedside table and took out the milk powder and bottles. At this moment, the nurse came in and was furious when she saw Wu Jiantao. Are you a relative of Chen Jun? Yes, I am. Where did you go just now? Did you know that your wife was so angry that she cried? Wu Jiantao was stunned for a moment and turned to look at Chen Jun on the bed, but saw that she turned her face away and didn't look at him. Forget it, I don't want to talk to you anymore. There's not enough money in your account. Go downstairs and pay the fee. When you come back, I'll teach you how to change your pads. Oh, Wu Jiantao took out his phone and suddenly remembered something. By the way, I followed your hospital's official account. It seems that there is an online payment function. Oh yes, it has just been opened. Wu Jiantao clicked on the Kinkeo Maternal and Child Health Hospital official account, opened the online payment page, and followed the nurse's instructions to directly recharge 5,000 yuan. I didn't expect this guy to be so generous. In fact, it is enough to recharge 700 or 800 yuan first. The subsequent fees can be paid with the receipt. There is no need to pay so much at once. However, he is still a scumbag. The young nurse secretly complained in her heart. Come here now, I'll teach you how to change the pad. As she spoke, the nurse walked to the beds, first pulled open the cover of bed 3, and then gently lifted the quilt. Wu Jiangta, Chen Jun. If I remember correctly, it seemed as if I had nothing, that is to say. At this moment, the new mother's face turned red instantly, and she screamed and subconsciously wanted to get up to cover it, but it was useless. At this moment, the anesthetic from her waist down had not worn off yet, and she could not move at all. She could only reach out helplessly and cover her face. Wu Jiantao also turned his head hurriedly, not daring to look. Buff! The nurse smiled and looked at them both with a joking expression. You've already given birth to a child and you're still embarrassed. You come here and watch me change it. Here, be careful, don't touch it. It's just been stitched and you mustn't let it get wet. Hold here, be gentle when lifting it up. Then take out the old pad and replace it with a new one. After some instructions, the young nurse covered the patient with the sheet again, turned around and left the ward. Wu Jiantao and Chen Jun looked at each other in silence, feeling awkward and not knowing what to say. Wu Jiantao, thank you for coming. You're welcome. Don't say that. After all, I'm the children's father. How can I not come when the children are about to be born? Wu Jiantao scratched his head. You believe they are your children? Of course I believe it, he said as a matter of course. After all, we did it last year. I remembered that night, but I don't quite understand. Although he drank a lot that day, Wu Jiantao began to remember some details of that night. The face of the beautiful girl who returned to Yuehua Hotel with him that night overlapped with Chen Jun in front of him. At the same time, some details of the two people entering the room also began to emerge. A little shameful. You want to know why I gave birth to the child? Chen Jun also looked helpless. During the prenatal checkup, the doctor advised me that although this was my first pregnancy, twins were rare. If I didn't want them, the risk of getting pregnant again in the future would be very high, and it might lead to habitual miscarriage. Wu Jiantao nodded. I understand, but I'm very confused. Last August, although I drank a lot, it seemed that when this was mentioned, an unnatural look suddenly flashed across Chen Jun's face. That night, after getting Wu Jiantao drunk, she helped him go to the hotel and then did this. She planned to keep this matter to herself and never tell Wu Jiantao about it. So shameful. Wu Jiantao, thank you for coming. I'm going to take care of you here now. You can leave now. Walk. At this moment, Wu Jiantao was a little confused. Yes, after all, it was me who decided to give birth to the child. It actually has nothing to do with you. If I hadn't signed for the surgery, I wouldn't even have contacted you. We don't have any emotional foundation. You don't have to take responsibility and I won't blame you. You can go. Her voice was calm. Wu Jiantao frowned and asked, leave. Even if the system didn't tell him 100% that the two babies were his own, he'd better not leave easily in this situation. He should confirm with Chen Jun moreover. He could still clearly recall every word the fortune teller said this afternoon. These two babies may very well be my own children. No, I won't leave. He shook his head and looked down at the two babies who were still sleeping soundly beside the bed. Although I am not sure about my future, I still have a basic conscience and bottom line. If I leave so easily at this moment, what is the difference between me and an animal? Well, this is the main reason. As for the objective reason, well, this girl is really pretty, Let's recall the details of that day and observe it again. What if it's true? After hearing this, Chen Jun looked at Wu Jiangtao in surprise on the hospital bed. She thought it was impossible for this boy to believe her. After all, there is no trust between the two of them, and the possibility of taking over is too great. To be honest, I'm a little confused right now. If they were really my babies, I wouldn't feel any telepathic connection. But I can't just leave these two children and you here. As he spoke, Wu Jiantao continued to pick up the children's clothes and swaddling bags from the backpack and arranged them. I will stay here for now. What's fake can't be real, and what's real can't be fake. It won't be too late to leave after confirming that they are not his children. Why? Chen Jun suddenly asked, staring at him with her beautiful eyes, as if trying to see the man in front of her clearly. What, why? Aren't you afraid that I'm lying to you? They might not be your children. Do you trust me so much? Then I can't leave either. At the same time, he was self-deprecating in his heart, a fortune teller whom he had never met before, and this inexplicable system in his head, plus you. This coincidence, it seems that I have to believe it. You should stay here first. At this moment, the little sister in the baby's bed suddenly woke up, closed her eyes, opened her mouth and began to hum, and then cried. Her cry was not as loud as other children's. It sounded soft and weak, as if she was out of breath. Or maybe her cry was not loud enough because her brother was still sleeping with his hands raised on both sides of his face and was not woken up. Forehead. Wu Jiangtao was at a loss for what to do. He scratched his head and looked at Chen Jun lying on the bed. Is my sister hungry, or what's going on? It should be time for milk. Hurry up. Give it to me. Hearing the child's crying, Chen Jun also became anxious all of a sudden. She tried very hard to sit up, but she found that she couldn't even sit up. Wait a minute. Rock the bed first so I can sit up. Oh. Wu Jiangtao quickly turned around and came to the bedside. How do you shake it? He looked confused. This was his first time in a hospital since he was a child. You. Chen Jun was immediately furious. Over there by the bed. I remember there was a handle that could be pulled out. Pull it out and shake it and you'll know. You're so stupid. I'm stupid. Wu Jiangtao said he was stupid, but he immediately understood how to operate it. Soon, the head of the bed stood up, and Chen Jun also sat up. Hurry and give me the child. Oh. Wu Jiangtao hurriedly tried to hug his sister, but as soon as he reached out his hand and touched the little baby, he found that the little arms and legs were too small and too fragile. How could he hug her? This guy. What's wrong? Chen Jun said angrily. Why don't you give me the child? I heard her crying. She must be crying for milk. I don't dare to hold her. The baby is too small. What if I hurt her without carefulness? Wu Jiangtao was also anxious. As soon as he touched the baby, he felt that the baby was soft and light. At this moment, the old lady in the next bed noticed that the child here was crying non-stop and hurried over. Seeing this situation, she immediately laughed. Men, you are all clumsy. Let me hold the baby. Wait, you can't just stand there. You have to watch how I hold it. What father doesn't know how to hold a child? As she spoke, the old lady reached over, held my sister's little head with one hand and her little butt with the other, and picked her up carefully. Did you see clearly? This is how you hold your baby. Remember, keep your hands relaxed and open. Support her head with one hand and her butt with the other. Be careful not to let the baby shake her head, and be careful with her waist, because her cervical spine and waist are not yet developed and are very fragile. As she said this, the old lady carefully handed the child to Wu Jiangtao. Wu Jiangtao gritted his teeth and took the crying child with sweat on his forehead. The child was obviously very light, not even 6 pounds, but he felt like he was holding a rare treasure, and all his attention was focused on the baby in his arms. The younger sister cried so hard that her face turned red. Wu Jiangtao quickly took a few steps and handed her to Chen Jun's arms. You need to cover your baby when you're breastfeeding. Wu Jiangtao turned around and pulled open the curtain of their bed. New mother Chen Jun was also clumsy when she took the baby. Seeing that she didn't know anything, the old lady couldn't help laughing. I think you're all the same. Alas, that new father, don't leave. You're also involved in this matter. You must watch. Wu Jiangtao turned around reluctantly, and Chen Jun blushed, because at this time she had already. The old lady came forward and instructed her how to hold the baby. Hold her and slightly tilt her body to the side. Remember, well, you look very good. At this moment, perhaps because of the crying of the younger sister, the baby in the next bed also woke up and started crying. The old lady turned around and said, "Okay, don't squeeze it out. Make sure the child drinks it." "Oh, good, thank you. Thank you, thank you." The two new parents thanked them repeatedly, and the little sister in Chen Jun's arms was also sucking milk very hard. But Chen Jun felt that it was so painful that she couldn't help frowning. "How's it going?" Wu Jiantao watched his sister suckle and moved a little closer to her, but didn't dare to get too close. "This scale, how come I don't have any memory of it last year? This is ridiculous. Even if I was drunk, there's no way I wouldn't have any memory of it. I always feel like something is wrong. My milk hasn't come out yet, it hurts." "Why does it hurt?" He subconsciously reached out his hand. Chen Jun blushed and instinctively avoided his claws. "It's okay, I'll bear with it, maybe I'm too sensitive." Hiss. Wait a minute." Wu Jiantao turned around and saw the milk powder on the bedside table. "How about I make some milk powder?" Huh. Chen Jun was stunned. She accidentally left the baby's mouth empty again. This time she was not happy about it and started crying. She couldn't comfort her anymore. Even if she put her head back into her mouth, the baby would not suck. "My sister seems to be a little impatient." This thought flashed through Wu Jiantao's mind. "Then hurry up and make the milk powder." She gave Wu Jiantao a reproachful look, which made Wu Jiantao stunned. Oh, I'll hurry up." He hurriedly opened the can of milk powder and carefully read the preparation instructions on it, which required warm water. Well, luckily the warm water was prepared in advance. When he opened the bottle and was about to start soaking the baby, he heard Chen Jun on the bed remind him, "Wait a minute, the bottle needs to be rinsed with hot water. You can't soak it directly." "Oh, yes. 1 spoonful of milk powder corresponds to 30 milliliters of water." Wu Jiantao directly took 2 spoonfuls, poured in 60 milliliters of water, and gently shook the bottle. "Ready." Turning around, he handed over the bottle. At this moment, the little sister was already crying very hard, howling with all her might, and her little face was turning red and purple, which scared the two new parents so much that their hearts were in their throats. Chen Jun took the bottle in a panic and quickly stuffed the nipple into her sister's mouth. This time, her sister finally drank the milk and immediately calmed down, sucking the nipple desperately. "Cull." At this moment, both of them breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. "I think I should stay here. You can't handle it all by yourself." Wu Jiantao shook his head, while Chen Jun, who was watching the baby feeding on the bed, lowered her head and muttered in a low voice, "I can hire a nurse." "Ah, what did you just say?" "No, nothing." Chen Jun looked up and rolled her eyes at him. Perhaps it was because they were working together for the first time to feed the baby, even though it was just powdered milk, but their relationship was beginning to be less distant than before. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for completing the hidden task of feeding the baby for the first time in life. A reward of 20,000 yuan will be issued. Please keep up the good work, new dad. Hearing the prompt from the system in his mind, Wu Jiangtao's eyes flashed with joy. There is also a reward, not bad, not bad. At this moment, the baby's brother in the bed also woke up with a whimper, opened his mouth and started crying, obviously hungry. Wu Jiantao quickly took out another light blue bottle, did the same thing, held the child in his arms, and fed him milk powder from the bottle. With 1 person per person, the whole scene suddenly became peaceful and harmonious. You're not eating anymore." Chen Jun on the hospital bed was a little surprised, but saw his sister, who had only taken a few bites, let go of the pacifier, turned her face away, as if to say, "I've finished eating." "Eat more." The new mother pushed the pacifier towards her, but the little girl turned her face away impatiently and even waved her little hands in the air twice to express her dissatisfaction. Wu Jiantao realized something and said quickly, "By the way, children are still very young. Their stomachs may only be the size of our thumbs. It is normal for them to eat very little." "Oh, yes," Chen Jun suddenly realized. At the same time, Wu Jiantao was also thinking, next time 1 spoonful of milk powder will be enough. 2 spoonfuls is too much. Also, I need to buy a milk warmer, otherwise the milk powder will go bad easily. As he was speaking, his brother also finished eating, let go of the pacifier, and fell asleep again in a daze. Compared to his sister, the brother seems to be more obedient. Wu Jiantao carefully put the 2 children back into the crib and let out a long sigh. Why do the baby's bottoms look dirty? He subconsciously pulled open his brother's diaper, and then a green sticky substance was smeared directly on his fingers. He felt terrible. The baby had poop, but there was no strong odor. Chen Jun immediately noticed that something was wrong with him. "What's wrong? Did you poop?" And it's green, this color is wrong." "What?" Chen Jun, who was a first-time mother, was shocked and hurriedly urged him. "Why are you still standing there like an idiot? Go ask the nurse what's going on. Oh. Wu Jiantao hurried to find a nurse. Soon the nurse came over and took a look at the baby's condition. Oh, it's okay. This is meconium. Green is normal. It will be like this for the next 2 or 3 days. It will slowly turn yellow after feeding. Did you feed them milk powder? Yes, the baby didn't suck out the milk just now. How is it possible? The nurse was very surprised. She walked forward and directly pressed on Chen Jun's magnificent food. All frozen. She was so angry that she laughed and said to Chen Jun, "Don't you feel any pain? Your milk is swollen and it's a little stiff." "Hiss, it hurts." Then the nurse turned to Wu Jiantao and said, "You are not allowed to feed the babies formula anymore. They must be allowed to suck milk. Also, you need to help your wife apply hot compresses and massage here more often to help with the milk flow. Do you have a towel? It's best to wet a towel with hot water and apply hot compresses. Your wife's here is swollen and almost stiff. This won't work. Where are you looking?" Seeing Wu Jiantao's timid look with wandering eyes and not daring to look over, the nurse was so angry that she laughed. "You're still shy even though you have a child. Look at this. I'm talking to you right here. I want you to apply a hot towel and give me a massage. Do you understand?" "Oh, I understand. Wu Jiantao was extremely embarrassed. "She hasn't started to breastfeed yet. Let's wait until she does. It's not good to have it blocked like this. I'll have to quickly get a hot towel to apply. By the way, your baby is defecating now. Do you know how to change the diaper?" This. The nurse sighed and waved at him. "Come here, I'll teach you how to change a diaper. It's very simple. First, pour some warm water into the basin. Do you have any wipes? Please collect the monthly ticket recommendation, ticket tilde. Chapter 7, let me give you a hot compress. Please read on and give me a monthly ticket tilde." Wu Jiantao's face froze. This doesn't seem to be the case. Chen Jun, who was lying on the bed, heard this and said quickly, "Yes, I have prepared it. I put it in the bedside table." Wu Jiantao quickly took out a box, opened it, and handed over The nurse took a soft tissue and wet it with warm water and slowly demonstrated how to clean the baby's butt. "Remember, wipe from front to back and check the nail groove to make sure there is no residue. Also, the baby's front is sometimes easily stuck with feces, so be sure to clean it thoroughly, otherwise it will easily turn red or even get inflamed and infected." Oh. Wu Jiantao observed the nurse's movements carefully and wrote them down one by one. After cleaning, it's time to change the diaper. Gently grab the baby's feet, lift the buttocks, take out the old diaper and replace it with a new one. Remember to wrap the entire buttocks at the back. You can go up a little to the waist, then go around to the front and stick the Velcro on it. Don't make it too tight, but not too loose. If it's too tight, it will strangle the baby and make it uncomfortable. If it's too loose, the baby's feces will leak out, and then the whole blanket will need to be changed and washed, which will be more troublesome. Wu Jiantao nodded like a chicken pecking at rice. Also, the weather is quite hot now, so make sure your baby's bottom is dry. Don't change the diaper too quickly. Wait until the baby's bottom is dry before putting on the diaper. You can wipe it dry with dry tissue or blow it dry directly. Be careful not to use low-quality tissues, as they can easily cause the baby's bottom to become red. Wu Jiantao was already numb, so he took out his cell phone and turned on the recording mode. He repeated what the nurse had just said and recorded it, planning to review it carefully later. Chen Jun next to them was much smarter. She directly picked up her mobile phone and took a short video of them. She also wanted to learn the basic knowledge of taking care of a baby. After changing the brothers' clothes, the nurse looked at the sisters and found that she had defecated as well. She also pooped. "You come and try to clean and change her diaper. I said you do it." Under her guidance, Wu Jiantao, sweating profusely and clumsily, wiped his sister's butt and changed her diaper. At the right time, the warm reminder from the Super Dad system popped up in his mind again. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for completing the hidden task of changing the baby's diaper for the first time in life. A reward of 20,000 yuan will be issued. Please keep up the good work, new dad. What a rich guy, he has made a net profit of 90,000 yuan so far today. Wu Jiantao, who has never seen the world, was a little surprised. After changing the diaper, the nurse turned around without stopping, walked towards the bed and opened the cup. "Now I want to check your wife's excretion. Come here and listen carefully." The nurse checked Chen Jun and said to him, "She's not bad. She will have more frequent discharge today and tomorrow. You need to change her pads frequently. Also, she hasn't passed gas yet, so she can't eat. Do you understand?" What is exhaust?" Wu Jiantao asked stupidly. The nurse couldn't help but roll her eyes. "It's just bullshit." "Oh, can I drink some water then?" "You can drink some warm water, but not too much. You absolutely cannot drink raw or cold water." Chen Jun's worried heart suddenly settled down, and she just drank some warm water. After saying this, the nurse finally left, and the two people in the ward looked at each other in silence. After another silence, Wu Jiangtao suddenly asked, You, are you feeling any pain now? It's fine if you don't touch it, but it hurts when you touch it. I feel stiff all over. Oh, then I'll go get some hot water and apply a hot towel to you. Wu Jiangtao took out a wash basin from the bedside table. The wash basin was very new and was obviously prepared by Chen Jun herself before she was hospitalized. After leaving the ward and pouring some hot water, he sat on the bed and clumsily wet the towel, grimacing from the slightly hot water. You give me the towel, I can do it myself. Chen Jun was still a little embarrassed. Wu Jiangtao was a little disappointed, but he could only hand over the towel. However, this new mother overestimated herself. Her right hand was receiving an IV drip, and her left hand could not unfold or fold the towel. Let me do it. Seeing that she was in great discomfort, Wu Jiangtao took the towel without saying a word, wet it again and wrung it dry, then began to apply hot compress to her. But as a boy, his actions were inevitably a little inappropriate. Ahem, Chen Jun warned, and a blush crept up on his pale face. Be gentle. This place is so blocked, it really needs to be opened up. Seeing how natural he looked, Chen Jun felt inexplicably relieved, and the discomfort on his face was much relieved. But, gradually Wu Jiangtao squatted down. Don't ask why he has to squat. Isn't it okay if his legs are numb? This new dad is doing something very serious now. This is the food for the babies. All right. He swore that he really didn't have any thoughts at this moment. But as a martial artist since childhood, his blood was much stronger than that of ordinary people, and the instinctive reaction was really unavoidable. Feeling the warmth of the towel and the other person's movements, Chen Jun was extremely shy, but her hands were inconvenient. This scale, that's strange. Why don't I have any impression of it? Wu Jiangtao couldn't help but murmured something, but Chen Jun in front of him suddenly said, Oh, be gentler, it hurts over there. Wu Jiangtao stood up, bent over, turned around and wet the towel with hot water again. Chen Jun stared at him blankly, feeling that the way this guy stood up seemed a little wrong, but he couldn't quite tell what was wrong. I have to say that life's encounters are extremely wonderful and unpredictable. Clearly, Lu Wanner had just kicked him out a few days ago, and he had returned to being a single man, but today, Chen Jun, the #1 goddess of M University, suddenly appeared as if from heaven and became the biological mother of his 2 children. Wu Jiangtao couldn't help but look up at Chen Jun, only to see that she was looking back at him. This was the first time they had looked into each other's eyes without making any sound since they met today. After looking at each other, they couldn't help but look away awkwardly. There was no way, compared to ordinary couples, they really had no emotional foundation. Strictly speaking, Wu Jiangtao had just officially met Chen Jun today. As for Chen Jun, she felt really awkward, but Wu Jiangtao was relatively better, and he even planned to rely on this goddess. This is the biological mother of these children. If we don't strike while the iron is hot, there will be no chance in the future. Chapter 8, Where do you mean by chopped off? Please read and vote for me, Tilda. This goddess who used to be very far away from me in college, although serious most of the time, was not the cold and aloof iceberg goddess that people say she was. At that time, her smiling photos were circulated in the school forum. Her faint smile with slightly curved eyebrows as she looked back amazed everyone in the college. Even the girls had to admit that Chen Jun's charm was definitely in a class of its own in M University, let alone the other girls. Not to mention the boys, only the most outstanding boys dared not approach her. As for Wu Jiangtao, he had only seen her from a distance a few times in the college and had never spoken to her. And now, all right. Wu Jiangtao reluctantly took back the towel and said, It doesn't feel as stiff as before. When the baby wakes up, he should be able to drink milk soon after sucking. Laugh. Suddenly, a white line suddenly jumped out from the side of the food and grass that had just been heated, but someone here was still squatting. He didn't pay attention for a moment and felt as if water was dripping on his face. Hey, where does the water come from? Chen Jun exclaimed. It's leaking, stop it quickly. Wu Jiangtao quickly turned around and put the towel on it again. At this time, the other side also leaked. Chen Jun was so embarrassed that her face turned red as if smoke could come out of it, while Wu Jiangtao took a tissue and wiped his face, and couldn't help smacking his lips. What a strange taste, a little sweet and a little fishy. Shut up, Chen Jun was so ashamed that she wanted to die on the spot. She stared at him with shame on her face. Did you do this on purpose? No, it might be due to heat expansion. It will naturally overflow after being unblocked. How could I know it would be like this? Wu Jiangtao, whose face was splashed with water, said with a wronged look on his face while wiping his face with a tissue. He actually didn't have any thoughts during the whole process, but being young and full of energy, he felt a little bit. He was a little speechless and wanted to go out and smoke a cigarette to relax. He took a few deep breaths and finally waited for Chen Jun to stop leaking milk. He put the towel aside. Chen Jun, I'm going to go out for a while and will be back soon. Oh, Chen Jun lowered his head, his face still red. With his right hand in his trouser pocket and his left hand in his pocket, Wu Jiantao just walked out of the ward like that. Don't ask why his left hand was in his pocket. Every man knows the answer. He let out a long breath, took out a cigarette and was about to light it. Calm down. But I saw a young couple walking towards me in the corridor. The wife was holding her child and angrily scolded her husband. I told you not to smoke, and now you smell so heavily of cigarettes. How can you help me hold the babies? The babies are still so small. You want to piss me off to death. I just can't help it. Okay, I won't smoke anymore. I won't smoke again, okay? Forgive me. You swear? I swear. If I smoke, I will smell like cigarettes when I hold my baby. The babies are still so young. Wu Jiantao looked at them blankly. The young mother walked away while muttering, and he silently put the cigarette back into the cigarette box, thought for a moment, and suddenly crumpled the whole pack of Blue 7 into a ball and threw it directly into the trash can not far away. Damn it, I'll quit. Ding dong, a man should have the responsibility of a man. The host's self-awakening has been detected. One of the core tasks of releasing Super Dad: get the approval of the baby's mother. Rewards for completing the mission: 1 elite cooking skills, 2 physical fitness +2. Duration of the mission: 1 month. Penalty for not completing the task within the deadline: your height will be reduced by 8 cm. Wu Jiantao was in a terrible state. Was this punishment the same as the previous one? He couldn't help but complain in his mind. System, can you please stop being so picky about my brother's height? I'd rather you just chop off my head before I finish it. Why do you have to be so picky with me? As long as the host's life is not in danger, chopping him off is a good suggestion. Do you need to change the punishment? At this moment, Wu Jiantao was extremely calm. I said chopping off the head. Where do you mean chopping off the head? Host, please confirm whether to change it. Whether? Damn. He was too tired to complain and could only say in his heart, don't change it. Then the thought, please confirm the change, in his mind disappeared. There are little surprises everywhere in life. Completing some hidden tasks can bring you great rewards. Please keep up the good work and reach a higher level. Thank you. You're welcome. Helping the host grow is the fundamental responsibility of the Super Daddy system. Cuckoo boom. Suddenly his stomach rumbled, and he realized that he was starving. Damn, he was busy drinking this afternoon and didn't eat much. Wu Jiantao subconsciously wanted to buy some food, but at this time he didn't just think about himself. Chen Jun just gave birth to a baby today. She has only drunk some water since this afternoon. I wonder if she is hungry. By the way, we have to wait until she passes gas before we can eat. Thinking of this, Wu Jiantao hurried back to the ward, passed by the next door and greeted the old lady. When he returned to the bedside, he was stunned again when he saw her appearance. She fell asleep. Are you too tired? Wu Jiantao walked forward silently, pulled over a small stool and sat down. Looking at her somewhat indifferent face, he felt an inexplicable, faint emotion in his heart for some reason. By the way, where are her family members? At this moment, he remembered this matter and would ask her about it later. How come she was not at home for such a big event as giving birth? This was not right. When she wakes up, I'll ask her what happened. Wu Jiantao leaned on the bed, feeling tired, hungry, and a little dazed. He didn't know how long it had been, when suddenly the aroma of food filled his nose. He rubbed his arm until it was numb, and when he woke up, he looked next door. It turned out that the new mother next door had just passed gas. The husband hurriedly got her a bowl of porridge from downstairs. At this time, the new mother was leaning on the bed eating rice porridge. It smells so good. Wu Jiantao's stomach protested again, but this time he did not leave. Instead, he stayed here quietly. Perhaps because of the smell of porridge in the ward, Chen Jun on the bed slowly woke up, and at this moment, puff, a small but clear sound was heard. The two of them were stunned and looked at each other in silence. Chen Jun's face turned red with shame. Wu Jiantao discovered that she blushed easily. Ha, he couldn't help but laugh. It turned out that the goddess could also fart and do it continuously. You're still laughing? Chen Jun glared at him. If the goddess fans in the college saw this scene, I'm afraid their faith would collapse. Chapter 9 is shocking. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Now that you've exhausted the gas, I'll go get you some rice porridge. You must be starving, right? I'll be there soon, Wu Jiantao said as he turned to leave, but he heard Chen Jun behind him say, it can't be too greasy and it can't have too much meat. I know, you can only eat liquid food now. He went to the restaurant outside the hospital downstairs and ordered a bowl of minced meat and radish porridge and a meal, and came back soon. Eat something quickly. He rocked the bed and put up the table on the bed. He opened the bowl of rice porridge and placed it in front of Chen Jun. Seeing her pick up the soup spoon with her left hand and eat the rice porridge awkwardly, Wu Jiantao was stunned. How about I feed you? No, no need. I think it's inconvenient for you to hold the soup spoon with your left hand. Let me do it. Wu Jiantao naturally took the spoon and fed her rice porridge. Yes, it's a little hot. Oh, huh. He blew air on the soup spoon quickly, and when it didn't feel so hot anymore, he fed it to Chen Jun's mouth. Chen Jun couldn't help but glance at the man in front of her with her beautiful eyes flickering. She found that he was blowing air on the spoon very seriously, and her heart was slightly moved. I didn't realize that this guy looks quite handsome. Are you feeling better? Just when the atmosphere between the two of them was a bit strange. Suddenly, the little sister next to them opened her mouth, whimpered for a while, and soon started crying loudly. Forehead. Wu Jiantao's face fell and he quickly turned around and hugged his sister. The first time was new, the second time was familiar. This time, Chen Jun quickly let his sister catch the food. The little one sucked and swallowed instinctively and drank the milk smoothly. While I was eating, my brother woke up and started crying. Well, the new father also brought the elder brother over and they each took one side. The two babies ate happily, but after a few bites, they stopped eating again, letting the milk flow out continuously, like a faucet that had been opened. Oh, don't get your clothes wet. Get a towel. Wu Jiantao hurriedly grabbed a dry towel and covered it up. What a hassle. What? Although babies have small stomachs, they digest food quickly. Basically, they need to be fed every 2 hours. Even if they don't wake up, you have to remember the time. You need to pick them up and feed them after about 2 hours. You don't need to wake them up. You can feed them directly. They will suck milk instinctively. At night, the nurse came to change the dressing, checked the condition of their bed, and gave some basic instructions. She looked at the new dad. It's cooler at night, so the baby should keep warm, but also be careful not to let them sweat too much. Bring the baby downstairs to take a bath at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and they also need to have a physical examination and vaccinations. Oh, and remember to change the baby's pads frequently. Did you change them this afternoon? No, Wu Jiantao stuttered. Chen Jun's face flushed when she mentioned this. Now her lower body began to feel better. She could clearly feel that she was not wearing anything if she changed her sanitary pad. Then quickly change your wife's new one. If you are exuding, keep it clean and fresh. When changing it, pay attention to observe whether the wound has any signs of inflammation. Got it. Well, it's been a while, let's change it quickly. After saying that, the nurse who came over to change Chen Jun's IV medicine pushed the cart away. Then, Chen Jun, let me change the pad for you and check if there is any problem with the wound. Chen Jun lowered his head, wishing he could crawl into the ground. This was too embarrassing. Seeing that she didn't say anything, Wu Jiantao could only grit his teeth, took out a new sanitary pad from his bag, walked to the end of the bed and gently lifted the quilt. During the change, his movements were gentle and careful. To be honest, he was a little shocked when he saw the situation here. He had no idea, because at this moment, he clearly saw that Chen Jun was covered in scarlet blood, smelling of medicine, and there was a piece of gauze stuck horizontally on the lower abdomen. Is this the cross-section? And so much blood was shed. Wu Jiantao was shocked. This hurts, right? He couldn't help but look up at Chen Jun lying on the sickbed and asked softly, do you feel any pain? No. She shook her head slightly, but Wu Jiantao seemed to have thought of something. He looked up at the IV hanging on the head of the bed and saw a pain pump hanging on it. Soon, the pad was replaced. He observed carefully and found that the gauze on the wound was very white, without pus or moisture, and was very dry and normal. Changed. Wu Jiantao let out a long sigh, sat silently beside the bed, and threw away the blood-stained pad. For some reason, he felt a little uncomfortable. Is this my mother? Not only Chen Jun, he even thought of his mother at home. What's wrong with you? Chen Jun, who was lying drowsily on the bed, noticed that something was wrong with him and asked. No, it's okay. He forced a smile. How did you get through the past 10 months? It would have been fine if she hadn't asked. As soon as she asked, Chen Jun's eyes suddenly turned red. She took a deep breath and said lightly, it's nothing. I just came to the hospital alone with a big belly for a physical examination and a checkup. She remembered it very clearly. When she was 5 or 6 months old, she suddenly liked to eat grapes for a period of time. She ate a lot of them in one go. Later, when she had a physical examination, the doctor told her that her blood sugar was too high and she needed to control it. She couldn't even eat too much white rice because it was high in carbohydrates. She regretted it very much, but no one around her could remind her not to eat too much sweets. She only dared to eat half a bowl of rice at each meal and eat small meals frequently. During that period, I couldn't eat too much food with high starch content, and I could only eat guava or kiwi fruit. This was just the beginning. The last 2 months before delivery were the most painful. I was constipated and had a sore throat. I couldn't eat. I even felt uncomfortable walking because my belly was so big and I often had backaches. But she still insisted on walking every day in order to give birth naturally. Unexpectedly, she still couldn't escape the knife in the end. But these are actually not so bad. What makes her most uncomfortable is that every time she comes to the hospital, the nurses or doctors will frown and ask her, "Why didn't your husband come with you?" "He's busy." Every time, Chen Jun could only use this excuse to get away with it. In the hospital, looking at the newlyweds around her, she felt so aggrieved that she could hardly contain herself. It was all her own fault. She didn't get pregnant through normal means in the first place, and she never intended to trouble Wu Jiantao again. She planned to handle everything on her own and wanted to be a single mother. "You should have come to me earlier. I'm sorry, it must be hard, right?" Chapter 10, Seeking Support from the Rear. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Chen Jun sniffed and couldn't help but turned her head away, trying hard not to cry on the spot. She didn't want to cry in front of this man. From childhood to adulthood, she had never cried in front of any other man except her father. At this moment, Wu Jiantao was feeling lucky that he had come and was here at the most critical moment. If he had missed this day, he would probably regret it for the rest of his life. "By the way, Chen Jun, where are your family members?" I don't want to say it. Please stop asking, okay?" "Oh, good." It seems that her family must have encountered some problems. Did she have a falling out with her family or something? Wu Jiantao thought to himself. What? As the night deepened, Chen Jun and Wu Jiantao, the two new parents, also welcomed their first night of suffering. "Hey, the baby is awake again. Bring him here so I can feed him." "Nurse, nurse, the drip is done." "Oops, the blood is coming back. My little sister has pooped again." "Don't cry, baby. Change her diaper first and then eat. Be good." "Oh my, why are you pooping again?" "Sister, the first step in life is to develop good habits. You can't poop while eating." My poop is leaking all over my crotch. Damn it, this quilt is unusable." "It's okay, Chen Jun, go to sleep. I'll wash and change it for you." That night, the two of them hardly slept. After hanging, the babies changed swaddling blanket on the clothes hanger at the end of the corridor. Wu Jiantao was shocked to find that it had already become bright outside without him noticing. "I used to think that staying up late was just a piece of cake, but I didn't cherish it. The most painful thing in the world is to realize the truth about taking care of a baby. If God can give me another chance, I will say one thing to the babies. Can't you let me make up for the lessons and prepare in advance? You can't take the exam right away." He had two panda eyes and looked a little overwhelmed. Even though he had been practicing martial arts with his father since he was a child, it was really hard to endure such a night. Not to mention him, even Chen Jun, who had been feeding the baby all night, felt a little overwhelmed. She was worried about the babies and basically woke up immediately when they cried and asked Wu Jiantao to hold the baby and feed her. She was half asleep and half awake the whole night and basically didn't get any sleep. She was startled all the time and her sleep quality was seriously reduced. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for completing the hidden task of taking care of the baby's first night. You will be rewarded with a red envelope worth 100,000 yuan. Please keep up the good work. When Wu Jiantao heard these words in his mind, he was suddenly excited. Great, he now had 100,000 yuan. He quickly picked up his phone and opened the virtual currency app, only to see the headline news on it was about what Mailjesk said a few days ago, that BT coins would be used as T-Zilla payments. In the past few days, the virtual currency account opened for him by the system took off directly, but just now, the system-operated account was directly sold. He was speechless for a moment and asked in his heart, "System, the situation is so good, why sell it now? You can keep it and continue." Host, please do not question the operation of the system. Friendly reminder, never believe what the capitalists say. Oh. At this moment, Wu Jiantao clearly saw that the headline of the app had been updated, and he clicked on it curiously. Zachary Kirkhorn, T-Mobile's chief financial officer, said in a conference call that BTC holdings fell by 10% in the quarter. Just now, Mailgosk suddenly changed his attitude and announced on Twitter that T-Zilla has suspended its plan to accept BTC as payment for its cars. He said, "Damn it." He was immediately drunk and quickly clicked on the live broadcast of virtual currency, only to see that the index, which had just been on a good trend, suddenly fell down. Grass, is there such a trick? Ding dong. On the mobile phone, the bank received a text message. Huaxia Bank, dear customer, 100,000 yuan has been deposited into your account ending in 9873, and the account balance is 185,568 yuan. Hey. Wu Jiantao was very happy. This system was not bad. He could even get some benefits from a big shot like Musk. Now that he had nearly 200,000 yuan, he felt more confident. Cool. He let out a long breath and returned to the ward. It was rare to see the two babies sleeping peacefully. Chen Jun also fell asleep. She hadn't slept well from last night till early morning. Wu Jiantao felt distressed when he saw her pale face. When he first came yesterday, he didn't have this emotion, but as he took care of the two babies, took care of her, he began to get into the role of a father. Although he knew that this goddess actually had no feelings for him, there was no doubt that as the father of two babies, he had the right and obligation. Worn out, sitting down, Wu Jiantao was about to take a nap, but he found helplessly that he had no desire to sleep at all. Around 10 o'clock, I have to take the two babies to take a bath, change their clothes, swaddle them, and have physical examinations and vaccinations. But Chen Jun can't leave. She can't get out of bed yet, and even the catheter hasn't been removed. He has to change the urine bag from time to time. He was so clumsy yesterday that his hands were covered with. This won't work. I can't handle it all by myself. Besides, having a child is such a big deal. Just as Wu Jiantao was thinking about a solution, a pair of large, somewhat haggard eyes appeared in front of him and looked at him. Why did you get up? Wu Jiantao quickly looked up and reached out to support Chen Jun. I'm a little hungry. Oh yes, I'll go get you some food now. It would have been fine if he hadn't said anything. As soon as he said this, Wu Jiantao's stomach growled with hunger. He quickly stood up and turned to leave, but suddenly hesitantly said, Chen Jun, I think the two of us can't handle it. What's the matter? She looked over with some confusion. Can I ask my mom to come over and help? Chen Jun's eyes widened immediately, feeling a little embarrassed, but she didn't tell her family because of her. But if she didn't let Wu Jiantao tell his family, it would be a bit unreasonable. Compared to getting married, having a child is more important than anything else. Good. You promised. Wu Jiantao was overjoyed. He thought she would not agree, but unexpectedly she agreed so readily. Chen Jun's face turned red again. Although she didn't say much, she was meeting the parents now, so it was inevitable that she would feel a little awkward. From yesterday till now, although Wu Jiantao was clumsy, he had generally behaved like a very responsible man, and she had no reason to object. Okay, I'll go get some food. I'll call my mom on the way. My home is in Q City, which is only about 30 minutes away by train. It should take about an hour to get here. Okay, go ahead. She started to feel sleepy again. Chapter 11 was taken away. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. After getting approval, Wu Jiantao turned around and left happily. The two babies had just been fed for less than 10 minutes, so they shouldn't wake up that quickly, but he still had to move faster, as he could never be sure what would happen again. Wait a moment. He stopped and looked back, only to see Chen Jun said somewhat embarrassedly, You can go to the maternity and baby store next to the cafeteria and buy some anti-spill pads. Okay. Wu Jiantao reacted immediately and realized that he really needed to pat it. Every time he finished feeding, those two magnificent granaries were like floodgates opened and could not be blocked. He left in a hurry, but he didn't know that the childish behavior of this pair of new parents from yesterday to today. Someone has already been watching. What? On the way downstairs, Wu Jiantao took out his mobile phone, thought for a moment, and made a call. Hello? A very familiar voice came from the other end of the phone. Mom, are you busy these days? If you have nothing to do, can you come to F City? You'll know what it is when you come over. The location is Kinkeo Maternal and Child Health Hospital in F City. Come over now, quickly. After saying that, Wu Jiantao hung up the phone without giving his mother a chance to ask him questions. After thinking about it, he felt that it was not safe, so he sent another WeChat message to his mother. Come quickly, I really have something urgent. It's urgent. In Q City, Wu Ma was confused. Urgent matter, maternity and children's hospital. Could it be that? Suddenly, this experienced person had a lot of thoughts. It seemed that his son also had a girlfriend named Lu Wanner during college. Could it be that they had a child before marriage? Or did Lu Wanner get pregnant accidentally and then miscarried? As expected of Wu Ma, who had been influenced by many TV dramas for many years, she had already imagined countless classic scenes from TV dramas. She immediately stood up and packed her luggage in no time. When she was leaving the house, Wu Ba, who was teaching his disciples to stand still in the yard, saw her leaving in a hurry and asked in surprise, Where are you going with all these bags? Go to City F. Wu's father was confused. Wait, why are you going to F City? Oh, it's urgent. Why are you asking so many questions? She didn't know what it was yet and couldn't say more. If something really happened, Dad Wu would probably beat the shit out of that brat. Nonsense, who will prepare lunch if you leave? You do it yourself. It's not like you can't cook for yourself. This is food for several people, Wu's father muttered in dissatisfaction. She is already old enough to be a grandmother, and she is still rushing out all day long. Tread. Wu Ma's ears moved slightly, and she immediately stopped and turned around to look at him with a smile on her face. What did you just say? Say it again. On the field, the master and his disciples looked at each other in bewilderment, only to see Wu Pa forced a smile. He, it's okay, I just asked them. Who among you can cook? Be responsible for cooking at noon. The disciples were all confused and shook their heads, and said they didn't know. As a grown man, you can't even cook a meal. How can this be justified? Father Wu glared at them and roared, starting today, learn how to cook. Well, let's start with this lunch. Snort. Only then did Wu Ma turn around and leave with satisfaction. What? F City, Kinkeo Maternal and Child Health Hospital. Beep, the man has left, and the woman has fallen asleep. In the corridor on the third floor, a man stared at Wu Jiangtao's back as he walked downstairs. He opened WeChat on his phone and sent a voice message to another companion. It's time to start. Good. You need to remember the basic information and be careful that other people in the same ward will notice it. Once they notice it, you need to be able to respond with the basic information. I know. It's not the first time I've done this. A middle-aged woman walked into the ward carrying a large bag of gifts. The old lady who was changing the baby's diaper in the ward looked up and subconsciously took a look. But she took off her mask and came to Chen Jun's bed. Seeing that she was sleeping, she gently put down the gift and looked at the two babies with joy. Oh, little cuties, Grandma is here. Where did that kid go if he didn't look after his wife and children? The voice was not loud, but the old lady heard it very clearly. She nodded, raised her head, and whispered to her, They didn't sleep much last night taking care of the two children. Your son went downstairs to buy breakfast. Oh, thank you. The middle-aged woman turned her head and looked over, with a hint of unnaturalness and surprise in her eyes. Could it be that the newlyweds and the old lady were friends? You know are Jiangtao. Wu Jiangtao. This is very crucial information obtained by another partner through yesterday's secret surveillance. Haha, yesterday I saw that couple was clumsy in taking care of the baby, so I taught them a few tricks, the old lady said happily. Oh, by the way, when I came up just now, Zyro Jiang told me that he wanted to take the kids to take a bath. Where is it? It's on the first floor. Oh, thank you. I'll take the babies to take a bath first. Please tell my son when I come back. Yes, okay. As she spoke, the middle-aged woman gently pushed the baby's bed and walked out of the ward. The old lady watched her walk out of the room and put on a mask. She always felt something was strange, but she had said Wu Jiangtao's name very naturally while speaking just now, so she didn't think much about it. Not long after she left, Wu Jiangtao quickly came back with his meal. It was very early, and there were not many people in the cafeteria. When he came to Chen Jun's bed, he first looked at the baby's mother. Seeing that she was sleeping soundly, he did not disturb her and let her sleep a little longer. A second glance revealed that the entire baby bed was gone. For some reason, Wu Jiangtao's heart suddenly skipped a beat at this moment, and he quickly said to the old lady in the next bed, Grandma, where is my baby? Did the nurse come to take him away for a bath? No. The old lady raised her head, looked at him, and smiled. Your mother just arrived. She took the two babies to the first floor for a bath. Here, this is the gift she placed on the ground. Warning, warning. 2 babies have been taken away. This triggers the core mission, rescue the babies, reward. Wu Jiangtao was in no mood to watch the subsequent events. He just felt a chill in his heart and an irrepressible anxiety instantly filled his chest. He was shocked and angry. No, it's impossible. I just called my mother and that person just now was definitely not my mother. What? The old lady in the next bed was stunned. Chapter 12, Chase. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. After a second thought, she immediately came to her senses. Oh no, it's the human traffickers, it's the human traffickers. The next moment, the old woman rushed out of the ward nimbly, shouting, Someone come quickly, someone secretly took the child away. Crash! The entire obstetrics and gynecology ward was alarmed at once, and doctors and nurses rushed here immediately. At this time, Chen Jun on the hospital bed was also awakened by the shock, and the first thing she looked at was the direction of the baby. Jiangtao, where are the babies? Almost at the same time as the uproar broke out here, the woman pushing the baby's bed on a small path on the side of the obstetrics and gynecology building immediately started to jog hurriedly, and several young people nearby also quickly gathered in her direction. Well, because they wanted to avoid surveillance, they walked up the stairs and didn't walk very fast. In the ward, Wu Jiangtao's face turned pale. He did not answer Chen Jun, but suddenly opened the balcony door and rushed outside. Almost instantly, he saw a woman wearing a mask jogging towards the side of the building, pushing a crib, and in the crib, two familiar, petite figures were lying quietly. "Stop right there!" With a roar, Wu Jiantao glanced around, and in a hurry, he stretched out his hand without thinking, grabbed the water pipe on the outer wall of the balcony, and flipped out of the balcony. Swish! Holding the water pipe, he slid down a bit, jumped down without caring about anything, and suddenly hit the parking shed. Boom! The roof of the parking shed suddenly dented, and blood appeared on Wu Jiangtao's body and arms. However, he seemed unaware of it at this moment, and jumped into the air again and jumped onto the road. "Stop right there!" He roared angrily, and several passers-by near and far turned their heads in surprise. But the woman pushed the baby's bed and ran even faster. On the other side of the road, a van was coming towards her. "Bastard!" Wu Jiantao was shocked and angry. He kicked his feet hard and rushed over. Fortunately, he has been receiving guidance from his father since he was a child. Although his kung fu skills are not outstanding, they are much better than ordinary people. Especially at this moment, his adrenaline surges and his explosive power is extraordinary and amazing. Whoosh! In a few steps, he came behind the woman, but at this time, several young men suddenly appeared and blocked his way. At the same time, the woman pushing the baby stroller shouted, "They're stealing the child! They're stealing the child!" For a moment, passers-by who looked over here were confused about the situation and did not come to help immediately. Whoosh! Three young and strong men rushed over. One hugged Wu Jiantao's waist from behind, one grabbed his left hand, and one hugged his right hand, saying dirty words. "What do you want to do, steal the child? Ah, I think you want to die, right?" He watched helplessly as the woman picked up the two babies, the van door opened, and someone inside reached out to take the babies. Wu Jiangtao's eyes were bloodshot, his blood boiling, and he stomped his feet suddenly. Bang, bang, bang. Sounds like bowstrings exploded from his body, and he roared, raised his right hand suddenly, and actually lifted up the big man who was holding his right hand. The guy was stunned and felt the world spinning around him. He drew an arc in the air and fell heavily to the ground. Bang! A cloud of dust rose up, and the guy fainted instantly, twitching all over. The other two people on the side were dumbfounded, but Wu Jiangtao's hands did not stop moving. His free right hand suddenly thrust back with an extremely ferocious elbow. Bang! The elbow hit the right cheek of the man behind him hard, making his face concave and several of his teeth broken. He turned back several times and fell straight down, motionless. Finally, since the man on the left was very close, Wu Jiangtao didn't hesitate. He took a small step to the left with his left foot, and still used his right hand to reach from under his chest, and suddenly sent out along the midline of his body in an extremely rigorous manner. Half-step collapse. Boom! With a dull thud, the punch hit the middle-aged man's chest and abdomen heavily. He was hit so hard that he flew backwards in the air, then fell heavily to his knees on the ground. He held his stomach and vomited out all the supper and breakfast meals from last night. Wu Jiantao didn't know that because of the stimulation of his two babies being snatched away and the surge of qi and blood, his family's Xinyiquan instantly improved to a higher level, and he had already mastered the whole strength. Of course, this is directly related to the previous system strengthening. Hello? Not far away, several passers-by who didn't know the truth came over and shouted at Wu Jiantao, "Why are you hitting people?" In front, the woman who was taking the two babies away was so frightened by the scene that she trembled and immediately closed the car door, shouting, "Go, go." But it's okay, they don't know much about us. Let's go, that man is coming. In a few quick steps, Wu Jiantao had already arrived in front of the slowly moving van and shouted angrily, "Stop the car and give the child back to me." But the van that had started up ignored him and was about to drive away, and Wu Jiantao didn't care and rammed into the side of the van. Wu family's Xinyiquan, Shengkeashen. This is a killing skill that the Wu family's ancestors learned on the battlefield. The force is so fierce that it can even knock a 1.8-meter tall man several meters away. Bang! The sliding door on the right side of the van was dented instantly, and the terrible force pushed in. The woman sitting by the window was hit hard on the right side of her head by the dented door. Her mind was instantly confused, and blood immediately flowed from the right forehead. Not only her, the whole car seemed to drift half a meter to the left, but the car still started and was about to accelerate away. "Get out of the way." Wu Jiantao pushed aside the passerby who was rushing over, took a few steps forward, and suddenly jumped directly onto the roof of the car. Boom! The people in the car noticed it immediately, and the woman screamed, "Drive quickly! Throw him out quickly!" Ah! Suddenly she wiped her forehead, her hands were covered in blood, and screamed again, "Send me to the hospital, my head is bleeding." The driver in front was speechless. "This is the hospital." Boom! With the roar of the engine, the van started and instantly increased its speed to over 50 per hour. It turned sharply at the bend ahead, and with a whoosh, the harsh sound of tire friction was heard, but Wu Jiantao, who was on the roof of the van, was not thrown off. He just used both hands to hold on to the roof, not moving at all. Seeing that the car had just completed the turn, before there was time for any other action, Wu Jiantao on the roof of the car immediately raised his right palm and slammed it down hard. Chapter 13. The Killing. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Boom! There was a small dent in the roof of the car, which scared the human traffickers inside and made them scream. What the hell? They just wanted to take the child away, but the other party's attitude was so deadly. Hurry up and throw him down. But they didn't know that because of the smash just now, Wu Jiantao's right palm finally had a groove to grab and dunk. The driver in front had already made action, and the van suddenly made an S-curve on the road. Wu Jiantao's left hand had no fulcrum and was unable to hold on. He flipped to the right and was about to fall out of the car. However, his left hand suddenly grabbed the groove on the roof that had been made before, and he was hanging on the right side of the car and did not fall. Ugh! Seeing the person outside the car window, the woman screamed in fear, and Wu Jiantao discovered at this time that due to the bare backing attack he had just made, the glass window on this side of the car window had cracks. A ferocious look appeared on his face. He twisted his right waist suddenly and pushed hard with his right elbow. Bang! The car window was instantly full of cracks and was about to burst, but the woman inside suddenly thought of a solution and screamed, "Stop! If the shattered glass flies in, it will scratch the child." Call! Almost at the moment of hearing these words, Wu Jiantao stopped his second elbow. With red eyes and murderous look on his face, he stared at the people inside. "Stop the car or I will kill you. I will definitely kill you." He really intended to kill, but the woman inside, who didn't know whether she was inspired or too clever, actually picked up the baby, stretched out her hands to strangle his fragile neck, and shouted, "Get down here, or I'll strangle him to death. Get down now." Wu Jiantao was shocked and angry. He suddenly exerted force with his left hand that was holding the roof of the car and flipped onto the roof again. "I can't get off the car. I absolutely can't get off the car." At this moment, he actually calmed down, crawled back onto the roof of the car, and roared with all his might. "Can someone help me call the police? The people in this car are all human traffickers." Almost as soon as they heard his roar, passers-by took out their phones and called Yao Yao Ling. Not only that, a patrolling traffic police vehicle appeared not far away, and when it found something was wrong here, it immediately rushed over with the sirens blaring. "Big sister, what should we do? The traffic police are here. Go towards the village in the city. There are many small paths there. We can abandon the car and run away when we get to the right place." As expected of a big sister who has been in the world for many years and is very experienced, she immediately gave the best plan. "Good." Swoosh, the van made a sharp turn on the road and instantly entered the narrow road of the village in the city, escaping from the pursuit of the traffic police. There were many signs of illegal construction on this road in the urban village, and even clothes drying racks. Wu Jiantao seized the opportunity and reached out to grab a clothes drying pole from above. Crack, only half of the broken clothesline was in his hand. Wu Jiantao turned his head to look ahead, his eyes gleaming with sharpness, and suddenly threw it forward. Whoosh, this half of the clothes drying pole flew forward and suddenly hit a large group of sheets and clothes hanging in the air in front of it. The clothes drying pole broke, and a large pile of clothes and sheets fell down instantly, falling directly in front of the car and blocking the driver's view. Swish! Almost instinctively, the driver slammed on the brakes, and Wu Jiantao took the opportunity to leap forward. After landing, he suddenly turned around and came to the left side of the car. The van driver was startled by his extremely agile movements and tried to restart the car, but the door handle was already in Wu Jiantao's hand. Wu Jiantao, who was unaware that his power had increased dramatically, didn't care. He suddenly lowered his waist and burst out with all his strength in his right hand. Click! He actually forcibly opened the locked car door, and the driver inside was stunned with fear. Is this guy still a human? But Wu Jiantao didn't say a word and kicked him to death. Bang! The driver was kicked and turned around suddenly, crashing his head through the window of the passenger door. His head drooped down, and he lay motionless with blood all over his forehead. Judging from the situation, it's probably going to be pretty bad. Wu Jiantao turned his head and looked at the two people behind the car. They were covered in blood and exuded a fierce aura. The big sister and the other middle-aged man were trembling with fear. "Get off! What the hell? Let's go down, can you please not hit us?" Crash! Wu Jiantao suddenly opened the car door. At the critical moment, the big sister quickly handed over the two children and said, "Here, here, hold the children. Don't use force, don't use force. We are all civilized people, so we won't use force, okay?" He took the child almost instinctively. The terrifying aura emanating from his body eased, and a gentle look appeared on his face. Almost at the same time, another middle-aged man winked at the eldest sister, took out a shiny knife in his hand, and went straight to his lower abdomen. Wu Jiantao noticed it immediately, and almost instinctively raised his foot. Xinyaquan wild dog peeing. This was the most vicious and cruel kick passed down in his family. It was so fast and unexpected that it was difficult to guard against, and it went straight to the opponent's lower back. Don't blame him for being cruel. It was only because he had practiced that he could face such a vicious knife. If it were an ordinary person, he would probably fall down on the spot. Snap! The sound of eggs hitting each other was heard, and the middle-aged man, who had a face full of resentment a second ago, suddenly had a tangled look on his face. He let out a strange cry and jumped up. Don't get me wrong, at that moment he didn't have the strength to jump up at all. It was purely due to the force of Wu Jiantao's kick that he was able to do so. Pup! This guy fell 3 or 4 meters away like a dead dog, and his whole body curled up on the ground like a steamed shrimp, twitching and looking extremely miserable. Ugh! The middle-aged woman next to him screamed, turned around and tried to run into the alley. Looking at her, Wu Jiantao's eyes showed a hint of cruelty, and he was about to kick her vest. "Stop, put your hands up." With the corner of his eye, he saw 2 policemen running towards him with their guns drawn. He immediately retracted the force in his legs, turned the kick into a light hook, and then pulled upwards. This kick seemed to be a casual one, but it was actually quite clever. The middle-aged woman's forward momentum remained unchanged, but her 2 feet were hooked backwards, her body was carried upwards, and then fell straight down. Boom! Her 2 knees slammed heavily to the ground. Click, click! 2 crisp sounds were heard, and the next moment, the middle-aged woman rolled over on the ground, hugging her knees, screaming, her face twisted in pain. Stop! 2 policemen finally arrived, pointing their guns at Wu Jiantao. They had just seen from afar that this young man had displayed alarming lethality and destructive power, so they remained extremely vigilant against him. For the sake of plot continuity, I posted 2 chapters in a row today. Please collect and vote for me. Please vote for me on the monthly tickets and recommendations. Chapter 14, It's All Your Fault. Please read and vote for me. Put down the child in your hands. Raise your hands, squat down and hold your head. These 2 are my babies. Wu Jiantao stared at them angrily, the ruthlessness in his body still not dissipated. Why should I let them go? I said put it down, etc. The other policeman put down the gun in his hand and stopped his companion from raising his gun to aim at Wu Jiantao. It was too dangerous with 2 such young children in the other person's arms. Your child. Right. Them. Human traffickers, Wu Jiantao said coldly. At this time, the 2 babies suddenly started crying, perhaps because of the bumps just now. At that moment, the evil spirit of the new dad disappeared, and he rocked the 2 babies gently. Don't cry, baby, don't cry. We will go back to mom to eat Nana now. We will go back to mom to eat Nana now. While coaxing the child, he said to the 2 policemen, there is a surveillance camera at the entrance of the convenience store on the right, facing here. It should have recorded what happened just now. You can go and collect evidence first. Can you please take me and my baby back to Kinkeo Women and Children's Hospital first? My 2 children are hungry and need milk. They were born only 2 days ago and can't stand the hassle. Wait a minute, a police car will be here soon. Seeing that he was not pretending, the 2 policemen put away their guns. One of them stared at Wu Jiantao, while the other went to check on the other 3 people. After just one glance, the policeman immediately took out his walkie-talkie and called the rear center. Someone is injured here on King Road. Someone is injured here. Call an ambulance. When Wu Jiantao returned to Kinkeo Women's and Children's Hospital, the side door was very lively, with many people watching. In order to avoid unnecessary trouble, the 2 policemen took him in quietly through the back door, and he put his coat on inside out. Well, the blood on his body was too eye-catching, and he had to cover it up. As for the side door he had chased out of the hospital through, the police had already set up a cordon, and doctors from the Women and Children's Hospital gathered at the scene and carried away the 3 men lying on the ground. Well, all 3 are miserable. Among them, the one who was lifted up and fell to the ground looked the best from the outside, but his injuries were the most serious. The doctor who arrived at the scene was quite experienced. He diagnosed internal bleeding as soon as he pressed the chest and abdomen and drew blood on the spot immediately. As for the other two, one had a dent on his face, and the initial diagnosis at the scene was that his facial bones were comminuted fractures, and one seemed to have something wrong with his stomach, which required further observation. Since there were no authoritative experts in internal medicine or surgery at Kinkia Women's and Children's Hospital, the three of them did not stay here for long and were soon transferred to another hospital. At the same time, in a building deep inside Kinkia Women and Children's Hospital, Lou Wanner came out of the treatment room with an ugly look on her face. Outside, a boy dressed very fashionably and holding a 13-spice incense stick came up to her, and his first words were, "What does the doctor suggest? Can I have an abortion?" Hearing his words, Lou Wanner's face changed, and she stared at him coldly. "Wang Yuan, do you really want me to abort this child?" Forehead. The young man named Wang Yuan immediately looked embarrassed. "No, Wanner, I didn't mean that. I just spoke without thinking. I was wrong. Wang Yuan slapped himself lightly. "How is it? What did the doctor say?" "She examined me and said that my uterine wall is too thin. If I have a miscarriage this time, it will be almost impossible for me to get pregnant again in the future," she said with a grim expression. "The uterine wall is too thin." Wang Yuan was stunned. "No way, does the doctor know? She doesn't understand, do you?" Lou Wanner looked at him hatefully. "Wang Yuan, it's all your fault. Would I have been like this if you had worn a condom properly? You bastard. You also caused me and Jiang Tao to break up. Hey, can you please be reasonable? Why is it all my fault? Don't you have any problems yourself? I wanted to say that you are clinging to me too tightly. And, even if you are not pregnant, do you still want to continue like this?" It wasn't that he didn't react in time and didn't say this, but the girl opposite him, with red eyes, broke down and cried, rushed over, raised her bag, and smashed it hard on the scumbag's head. "How dare you say that? How dare you say that?" Ah. Wang Yuan was beaten badly. He was hit hard on the nose by mistake and blood spurted out of his nose. "Fuck, damn it, Lou Wanner, are you crazy? You beat me until I bled." But he suddenly jumped up and slapped her back fiercely. Lou Wanner was slapped so hard that she turned around on the spot and fell to the ground, stunned. This was not over yet. When Wang Yuan took a step forward and was about to slap him again, he heard an angry shout from behind. "Stop." Immediately, a very strong hand appeared, grabbed him, twisted, and turned the slap to the guy's back. "Stop! Police!" Wang Yuan didn't realize what was wrong yet and shouted angrily, "This stinky woman started it first." Wu Jiangtao. He was stunned, and Lou Wanner looked at Wu Jiangtao in astonishment. His hands and face were red. Was that blood? Also, he was holding two babies in his arms, one on each side. What kind of pose is this? The scene suddenly became quiet, and Wu Jiangtao was slightly stunned when he looked at them. "Wang Yuan, Lou Wanner, why are you here?" Facing Wu Jiangtao's question, Wang Yuan's face was embarrassed. But at this moment, this bitch felt secretly happy for some reason. Lou Wanner, who was lying on the ground, felt uncomfortable all over and didn't know how to face Wu Jiangtao. Well. The two children in his arms were already crying non-stop, and he was completely exhausted. How could he pay attention to them? He just said, "I have something else to do, let's talk later." As he said that, he turned to a policeman beside him and said, "Excuse me, officer, can you come upstairs with me for a moment? Both babies are like this now, I need to go back immediately." The two policemen looked at each other and made a quick decision. One of them stayed to handle the matter here, while the other accompanied Wu Jiangtao to the inpatient building. The remaining police looked at Wang Yuan coldly. This guy actually hit a woman so hard. "Kid, tell me what happened. You'd better tell the truth. I'm warning you, if she gets hurt, you'll be charged with provoking trouble." Hearing this, Lou Wanner, who was still sitting on the ground crying, moved her eyes slightly. Chapter 15, please read, and vote for me later, Tilda. At this moment, Wang Yuan actually didn't know what to say. He felt that he was extremely unlucky today. The sudden pregnancy notice, and the fact that the vagina was too thin to be aborted, finally led to the current situation. Damn it. Hey. The palm print on Lou Wanner's very beautiful left face was quite clear. She had almost collapsed, crying so pitifully, "Wang Yuan, I misjudged you, you scumbag. You bastard. Officer, arrest him, I'm going to sue him. How dare you hit me? My father and brother have never hit me since I was a child." Misunderstanding. While wiping his nosebleed, Wang Yuan hurriedly smiled and said, I have practiced Taekwondo. This is just an instinctive reaction. I really didn't mean it." Lou Wanner was so angry that she laughed. She also saw through this boy completely. She stared at him with resentment on her face. Suddenly, she covered her forehead. I feel dizzy." As she spoke, Lu Wanner fell down softly, and the policeman next to her hurried over to hug her. The human brain structure is very complex. Sometimes, even if there is nothing wrong with the examination, as long as the patient describes his or her own feelings, the doctor will give some corresponding and very likely diagnosis of the disease. Lu Wanner is not stupid. On the contrary, she is very smart. From the moment she fell, she quickly began to plan all the subsequent matters. Not only did she want a large sum of compensation, but she also wanted Wang Yuan to spend several years in jail. Wu Jiantao was unaware of the exciting scene and the subsequent twists and turns. At this moment, he had already returned to the outside of the ward with the two babies in his arms. From a distance, Chen Jun, who heard the crying in the ward, finally lost the panic on his face. He was just so frightened that his whole body went limp. Seeing the tall figure walking in, Chen Jun finally couldn't hold it back anymore, and tears as big as beans kept flowing from her beautiful eyes. "Baby, my baby. Here, it's not lost." She took the two children with great excitement and immediately fed the two babies whose faces turned red and purple from crying. Seeing her pale face, Wu Jiantao couldn't help but step forward and hug them, comforting them softly. It's okay. No one can take the baby away from us, no one." It had only been over half an hour since Wu Jiantao climbed out of the balcony to chase someone, but this short half an hour felt like a century to Chen Jun. What if I don't catch up? What if the baby is really taken away? If I lose my baby, how will I live in the future? Without the company of their parents, what will happen to these two babies in the future? Can they live well? In just over 30 minutes, these questions, every one of them came to her mind, and every one of them made her chest feel tight and her heart ached. She had no answer to any of them, and she couldn't imagine what the future would be like. She couldn't imagine the horrible future, nor did she dare to imagine it, even though the old lady in the next bed kept comforting her that everything would be fine and that she had called the police, who would surely find and take care of the two babies as soon as possible. But Chen Jun couldn't hear a word and was almost on the verge of collapse. Fortunately, Wu Jiantao brought the two babies back safely. At this moment, Chen Jun felt full of security from the man in front of her. Thank you for saving the baby." Chen Jun was feeding the baby while leaning against Wu Jiantao and muttering to herself. The police at the door of the ward heard the noise inside and relaxed. It seemed that this warrior named Wu Jiantao was indeed the victim. Thinking of this, he picked up the walkie-talkie and began to contact the rear center. "Yes, the scene has been confirmed. His situation is special. I would like to apply. Can I take Wu Jiantao's statement here in the hospital?" "Yes, I will ask clearly and bring back the hospital and the surveillance video of the entire process." Soon the recording began. Name, Wu Jiantao. Home address, number 67, Bustling Street, LC District, Q City, M Province. "We just checked the surveillance footage. Your martial arts skills have already reached the whole strength level. Why didn't you report to the Security Bureau in time?" "Before today, I hadn't reached the whole strength level." Wu Jiantao shook his head. "If I had used the whole strength at the beginning, I wouldn't have been hurt at all if I jumped from here. You can retrieve the video clip of me jumping from here to the first floor and let the martial arts masters see it." "Oh," the policeman frowned. "What's going on?" "When I was caught by those three people, I fought hard. That state made my body's chi and blood burst out instantly, breaking through the bottleneck and stepping into the whole strength level." The police officer was silent for a while. At this time, the analysis from behind the scenes coming through the headset gave an answer consistent with his statement. To be honest, this group of people deserved their bad luck. They could have picked anyone else instead of this potential martial arts master. With the resurgence of China, Chinese martial arts have regained vitality in the past 10 or 20 years, and the martial arts world has become more and more active. The various traditional Chinese arts that have suddenly become popular in recent years and are prevalent on short video platforms are clear evidence of this. The most important thing is that once martial artists reach the whole strength level, they must report to the security department. Warriors are too strong and too dangerous. Although they are not strictly supervised on weekdays, they will definitely have many restrictions compared to ordinary people. For example, they cannot attack at will, and there are strict requirements for joining some associations and societies. Of course, in a situation like Wu Jiantao's today, it is definitely possible to take action. Not to mention that the child stolen by these human traffickers was his. Even if it was someone else's, he would still be able to help out without taking any responsibility. Based on the surveillance footage from witnesses at the scene, hospitals, and roads, this gang led by the middle-aged woman was an organized and premeditated criminal gang. After the incident was exposed, they directly resorted to extremely vicious robbery. In the subsequent pursuit process, one of them even took a very dangerous action of intentional injury. Okay, this record is over. Mr. Wu, please go to the Security Bureau to register in the next 2 days. The Security Bureau needs to certify and register your identity as a warrior. If you are willing, you can also go to our F-City Security Bureau for professional certification and take the path of professional development. Okay, thank you very much. Wu Jiantao also let out a long sigh and looked at the young policeman in front of him with great gratitude. He heard the other party come out and call the back center to explain that Wu Jiantao couldn't leave and needed to take a statement here. Chapter 16, Stunned, please read and vote for me, Tilda. The young policeman stretched out his hand and shook his. You're welcome, a master like you. Maybe we'll have a chance to work together again in the future. A warrior like Wu Jiantao, who possesses professional-level strength, is very likely to be summoned by the Security Bureau for assistance under some special circumstances. Oh, right, Wu Jiantao seemed to have thought of something. What about those 6 people? 2 dead, 1 disabled, and 3 seriously injured. Well, the 3 at the side door of the hospital were fine. They were just seriously injured. Later in the urban village, Wu Jiantao was just practicing what he said. Originally, the middle-aged woman could not escape, but the police had already arrived at the scene, so he had no chance to kill her. Speaking of this, the young policeman shook his head speechlessly. It's their bad luck to run into a master like you. By the way, from the information we have so far, there may be a bigger interest chain and organization behind them. Although you are very strong, you still have to be careful. I see. This time, Wu Jiantao's pursuit and fighting with these criminals in Qingqiao Women's and Children's Hospital, on the streets, and in the urban villages caused too much noise. Although the F-City Police Department acted quickly, the organization behind these 6 people quickly went into hiding, and the lightning attack turned into a protracted war. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for completing the mission to rescue the baby. Mission reward, 1 primary body gene transformation and 1 million RMB. Reward distribution instructions. The primary gene modification will last for a long time. During this period, the host will feel that the body's recovery, thinking ability, vision, and other physical qualities have improved. For cash rewards, please follow the system requirements, and the distribution will be completed within 7 days. Just after returning to the ward, Wu Jiantao was busy again. Well, both babies pooped at the same time, and they had the same rhythm of feeding, so both little guys pooped at basically the same time. Just as he finished his work, his cell phone suddenly vibrated. Mom is here, it shouldn't be so soon. When he picked it up, he found that the person calling was Fat Dragon. Hey, Fatty Dragon. Xiao Jiangjiang. The bastard's voice came from the other end. Have you heard? Lu Wanner got into trouble and is in the hospital. She's at the Qingqiao Women's and Children's Hospital where you went yesterday. Hearing this name, Wu Jiantao's face showed a hint of indifference. She has nothing to do with me anymore, you don't have to tell me specifically. By the way, can you run another trip to bring me a set of clothes? Fat Dragon was a little confused. Bring clothes? No. You didn't come back yesterday. Are you planning to stay in the hospital? No. What happened to you? Talk to the brothers. Those brothers who can help will definitely not hesitate. Forget it, you can't help me with this. As for what it is, I don't know how to tell you. Maybe you won't believe me even if I tell you. You should come over and see for yourself later. Okay. Fat Dragon hung up the phone and called Xiao Wu and Nong Yi. Brothers, something's up. Swish, the 2 of them immediately put down their phones and turned to look at him, only to see him say, We just heard that Lu Wanner is also at Qingqiao Women's and Children's Hospital, and now Jiang Jiang is also there. I have a very bad association. What? The 2 of them jumped up immediately, looking surprised. No, what is Xiao Jiangjiang doing there? Why didn't you tell us earlier last night? Hey, stop talking nonsense. Take 2 sets of Jiang Jiang's clothes and let's go over and see what's going on. The 3 friends in the dormitory immediately packed up Wu Jiantao's clothes, hurried downstairs, went out of the east gate, and took a taxi towards Qingqiao Women and Children's Hospital. Soon, they arrived at the main gate of Qingqiao Women and Children's Hospital and went up to the 3rd floor of the inpatient department. SHH, don't talk, I'll call him. Fat Long took out his cell phone and called Wu Jiantao. Hello, you told me before that it was on the 3rd floor of the obstetrics and gynecology department. Which bed is it? Oh, bed 3, okay, I'm here, just outside the door. The 3 of them walked straight in, and then they were stunned. This is not our goddess Chen Jun. Wu Jiantao turned around and saw them. Fat Dragon. Xiao Wu Nanjai, why are you all here? Chen Jun. Hello, Chen Jun, who was lying on the hospital bed, also saw them, smiled at them generously and nodded. Wow! As they were talking, Panglong and the other three glanced towards the bed and were immediately stunned. These two little dongs, no, these two cute babies are. Vaguely, they could feel that the two babies' sleeping eyes and brows looked very familiar. Well, at this time, the two babies' little faces began to become round without the wrinkled feeling that they had when they came out of the delivery room, and those little eyes and noses did have the charm of someone. These two babies belong to Chen Jun and me. You. The three of them turned around in unison and stared at Wu Jiangtao in amazement. Cough. He coughed at the three friends and said, "Let's go out and talk." As he said that, Wu Jiangtao led the three of them and walked out of the ward. Fat Dragon and the other two finally came to their senses and nodded repeatedly towards Chen Jun on the bed. "Goddess Chen? Ah, no, it's sister-in-law, hello. Let's go out first and talk later." Damn it, from today on, Wu Jiangtao is their leader. No, not just a leader. Father, Dad. As soon as they left the ward, these three guys were so shameless. How did you do it? Teach the kids. Getting married and having a baby all in one go. It was incredible. Such a mysterious thing actually happened around them, happened to their classmates and roommates. It was beyond their imagination. Calm down, calm down. All of you calm down, be more normal. Wu Jiangtao was helpless. We can't calm down here. Xiao Wu burst into tears. Do you know that Chen Jun is the dream goddess of all of us boys? How could you? Jokes aside, there are some things that need to be clarified. When did this happen? The baby has already been born. We always thought that Lu Wanner dumped you. Now it looks like you dumped her. No. Wu Jiangtao was helpless. Until yesterday, I didn't know. It was Chen Jun who called me, so I came here. After he explained it, the three friends looked at each other in bewilderment. It turned out that it was not an underground love affair, but a coincidence that happened last year without their knowledge. Damn, the scheduled release time is wrong. Sorry. Chapter 17, Mom is Coming. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Wait a minute. Fat Dragon's face was filled with astonishment. Do you still remember what the old man with glasses said to Xiao Jiang yesterday? Oh my God. When he said this, Xiao and Nong Yi also remembered it immediately, their faces full of shock. Amazing. This calculation is really extremely accurate. That's right. As he spoke, Wu Jiangtao picked up his phone and directly transferred 450 yuan to Pang Long through WeChat. I think he should still be outside the East Gate. Please help me give him the money when you go back this time. After all, he really calculated it right. Good. Fat Dragon nodded and said, "Let me explain to the college counselor and ask for leave. I guess you won't be able to go back to the college during this period, right? You have to be mentally prepared. It's not easy to take care of a child and a postpartum mother." The fat man patted Wu Jiangtao's shoulder vigorously and said, "Xiao Jiangjiang, you'll have a hard time in the next month or even a year or two. You're having twins. Tusk. You haven't even graduated yet, and you already have a wife and children. I guess you tricked us three dogs here to kill us." "Don't say that," Wu Jiangtao said seriously. "I'm clearly asking you to come over and eat the food. The quantity is large and you're full. Get lost." After playing around for a while, several people returned to the ward and gathered around the baby's bed, looking at the two babies with curiosity. How enduring. I really want to pick it up and take a bite, but it's too small. I don't dare to hold it. Which one is the older brother, and which one is the younger brother? SHH, you two bastards, keep your voices down and don't wake them up. The three of them were looking at the baby with admiration and bickering with each other. Chen Jun, who was lying on the hospital bed, found it very interesting and couldn't help laughing. "They're twins, a boy and a girl. Didn't I say that just now?" Wu Jiangtao said in a light tone. Fat Dragon, Xiao Wu, and Nong Yi turned their heads stupidly with fire in their eyes. Damn, they really want to beat the shit out of this guy. This is too amazing. They are twins, a boy and a girl. "Your sister. You want to hug me? Come here, it's very simple, I'll teach you." As he spoke, Wu Jiangtao picked up his calmer and more peaceful brother. As he rocked him, his brother stretched out his little head comfortably and seemed to be sleeping soundly. Spread your arms like this, with one arm raised high to support your head and the other arm supporting your buttocks. Yes, that's it. Fat Dragon took it with a curious look on his face, and Wu Jiangtao laughed at his cautious look. The other two also took turns holding the baby. They were all very happy and learned a whole new knowledge holding a baby. "It's so light," Xiao muttered. "Well, because they are twins, both babies weigh only a little over 4 kilograms. If it is a single baby, it is usually around 6 or 7 kilograms, and some can even weigh more than 10 kilograms. Oh, that Lu Wanner is also in Qingqiao, and she's in the hospital. Could it be that she's here to give birth as well?" Bang! Fat Dragon reacted immediately and slapped Xiao Wu on the shoulder, but it was too late. Wu Jiantao subconsciously turned his head to look at Chen Jun, only to see her looking at him with a half-smile. Cough. He couldn't help but feel a little worried, but he heard Chen Jun ask curiously, Lu Wanner, isn't she your girlfriend? Why? She also came to Kinkea Women's and Children's Hospital. Although she was not with Wu Jiantao, he was the father of 2 children after all. In the past, Chen Jun had always been paying attention to him in the academy. Naturally, she knew that Lu Wanner was his girlfriend. They had been dating for more than a year. Since this year, her belly had become more and more obvious, so she took a long vacation and was not in the academy to pay attention to her, but from this situation, it seems that the two have broken up. Well, when I brought the baby back this morning, I met her on the road. She was with Wang Yuan, and I don't know what was going on, Wu Jiantao said honestly. Her belly is not big, so she is definitely not here to give birth, right? Oh, by the way, we broke up. The 3 brothers of Fat Dragon looked at each other and winked at each other. Our Jiang brother is too honest. He should just say that I broke up with her and I don't know anything about her. Isn't that enough? Not only did he tell the truth, he even said something wrong. It damages the reputation of our 405. How about you come and explain it? Nongyi gestured to Fatty Long, but he saw his fat face shaking. Get lost. Why should I say that? Listening to Wu Jiangtao's explanation, Chen Jun's face remained calm, neither sad nor happy, but the scene suddenly became a little awkward. As expected of our M University's goddess and top student, she has such an aura. Fat Dragon and the other 2 quickly found an excuse, left him behind without any loyalty, and hurried away. Not long after he left, Wu Jiantao received 3 messages on WeChat on his mobile phone. When he opened them, he found that they were red envelopes sent by them. Fat Dragon, you kid. If you are my friend, accept it. If you dare to refuse, I will quarrel with you. Xiao Wu, Dad, take the red envelope. If not, you are my son. Nong Yi, little guy, dare you refuse my red envelope? Wu Jiantao laughed in silence, but he didn't act pretentiously and just clicked to accept it. Wow, Fat Long paid 3,000, Xiao Wu paid 2,000, and Nong Yi paid 5,000. The 3 of them actually pooled together 10,000 yuan for him. Well, they all knew that his family wasn't a wealthy one, and now he hadn't graduated yet and hadn't found a job yet, so he must not have much money, so they gave him a big package. He silently remembered, sometimes people think too much, so there will be some misunderstandings, and under these misunderstandings they will always make some actions that are beyond everyone's expectations. For example, when Wu Ma arrived at Kinkea Maternal and Child Health Hospital, the first person she called was not her son, but Lu Wanner. Hello? A very haggard voice came from the other side, which made people feel nervous. However, Wu Ma was also used to the ups and downs of life. She calmed down and said with a smile, Wanner, I am Wu Jiangtao's mother. We have met before. Oh. Lu Wanner was stunned, not knowing what Wu Jiangtao's mother wanted to do by calling her. Wanner, where are you at Kinkea Women's and Children's Hospital now? It's okay, I just came to see you. After confirming that Lu Wanner was also at Kinkea Women and Children's Hospital, Mother Wu no longer had to guess what would happen next. Her heart sank completely. She was so angry that she planned to give her son a good beating when she saw him later. It was hard to tell. Although their son was a bit naughty in the past, his academic performance had never worried them. Therefore, they were very tolerant of his personality and did not even demand strict progress in his family martial arts. After all, not everyone has the talent to pursue professional martial arts. But now, this mother really couldn't imagine that her son would do such a thing. This brat really treats me like a slap in the face after 3 days of absence. Chapter 18, An Unexpected Success. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. I'm in bed 38 on the first floor of the inpatient department. Lu Wanner never expected that the first people to arrive here were not her parents, but Wu Jiangtao's mother. Then I remembered that I met Wu Jiangtao not long ago. The girl's eyes immediately turned red, and she was deeply moved. Although she broke up with him last week, and they had no contact and he had not come to her again to make peace, Wu Ma's arrival made her understand. It turns out that he has always kept me in mind, and he has always been secretly caring about me. At this moment, she was truly regretful and made up her mind to return to Wu Jiangtao, to treat him well, and not to give him a green grassland anymore. But Lu Wanner didn't know that on the surface. She was the one who proposed the breakup last week, but in fact, Wu Jiangtao did it on purpose, because he accidentally saw 2 bars on a test paper in an accident. Considering the time, he concluded that it was not him. Therefore, the 2 broke up tacitly during a quarrel last week. Hearing Lu Wanner's low and weak voice, Mother Wu suppressed her anger in her heart. She quickly came to the first floor of the inpatient department with a large suitcase in one hand, found the ward with bed 38 and walked in. Uncle Aunt, Lu Wanner, who was lying on the bed, saw her come in and hurriedly tried to get up, but Wu Ma stepped forward and gently pressed her shoulder. Lu Wanner couldn't help but lie down, looking at her distressed eyes with red eyes, sobbing. Aunt, I'm sorry. Her sorry was that Wu Jiantao and I broke up. Child, don't be sorry, you have suffered. Damn it, you don't have to apologize. It was that guy who made you pregnant before marriage and even had surgery. Well, self-attack. At this moment, a tall figure appeared at the door, and an impatient voice came in. I say, Lu Wanner, you have to know when to act. Do you really want to fight to the death with me? Damn it. Upon hearing the voice, Wu Ma's suppressed anger burst out. She suddenly turned around, took a step forward, and slapped the person on the head with an extremely fierce palm. Palm wind is coming. This isn't my son. But driven by anger, Wu Ma withdrew 50% of the force in time, but still slapped the guy's left cheek heavily. Wang Yuan's feet left the ground, and he turned 720 degrees in mid-air, and with a pia sound, he hit the wall opposite the corridor, and then slowly slid down like dough. Good kung fu. Beating people is like hanging a painting. The police officer who came in to mediate was dumbfounded. What's wrong with you? How can you hit someone randomly? Even though this guy really deserves a beating. At least he waited until I was no longer around. Not to mention him, even Lu Wanner on the hospital bed was dumbfounded. This was the first time she had seen such a scene in real life, a scene that could only be seen in a professional arena. The police officer was also helpless. The person who did it was probably an elder in Lu Wanner's family. He also looked like a warrior, so he should have been careful with his palm strike just now. He turned around and looked at Wang Yuan. After finding that he was fine, he just warned Wu Ma. Ouch, ouch. Wang Yuan in the corridor suddenly gasped and turned over with weak hands and feet. Well, this was not caused by a beating, but by fear. Originally, Wu Ma was holding back when she attacked this time. She did not use force from a point, but from an area, so although this palm looked scary, it actually did not have much killing power. I say, Auntie, are you planning to kill me so that the child will be born without a father? The boy looked at Wu Ma with fear on his face, and immediately used his ultimate move, fearing that the other party would accidentally kill him. That kind of palm power must have come from a martial artist. If he gets hit again, he'll be crippled even if he doesn't die. At the same time, he cursed secretly in his heart. You bastard, my family has never beaten me like this since I was a child. I will let my bodyguards have a good sparring match with you later. He thought Wu Ma was Lu Wanner's mother. When Wu Ma heard this, a hint of doubt suddenly appeared on her face. In the ward, Lu Wanner's eyes showed a bad look, and she immediately sat up and shouted angrily. Wang Yuan, shut up. You just said, you are the father of the child. No, Auntie, listen to me. Wait a minute, you are not Lu Wanner's mother. The three of them spoke one by one, which made the policeman next to them scratch his head. After a while, Wu Ma finally figured out the situation. It turned out that Lu Wanner's pregnancy had nothing to do with her son. It seemed to be the man in front of her named Wang Yuan. Well, he was tall and strong, and his body shape was similar to her son's, so she almost hit the wrong person. Judging from his clothes, he seemed to be from a wealthy family, but he didn't know how to stand or sit properly. Compared with her son, he was a million miles away. Moreover, considering the relationship between this kid and Lu Wanner, the slap he just gave not only did not hit the wrong person, but it was also too light. Ha, this is so funny. Lu Wanner, are you sick? If you really weren't mine, why did you ask me to accompany you to the hospital for a checkup? What's going on with you now? Oh, I understand. Wang Yuan was not stupid either. He immediately understood Lu Wanner's plan and directly pointed it out. You are planning to let Wu Jiantao take over, ha. Bang! Lu Wanner, who was lying on the bed, picked up the hot water bottle on the bedside and threw it at him, hitting him accurately and spraying hot water. Wang Yuan was unable to dodge and got soaked. He instantly jumped up with a scream. The policeman and Wu Ma next to him quickly dodged the hot water. Wanner, since you are like this, I'd better leave first. I wish you a happy marriage and a long life together. After saying that, Wu Ma went out directly, but she found that the luggage was still in the room. So the three people in the room stared at her blankly as she stretched out a hand into the room without showing her face or body, grabbed the handle and pulled the suitcase away. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Tab, tab, tab. The sound of the suitcase wheels rolling on the ground, and the sound of footsteps quickly faded away. Puff! The policeman couldn't help but put his fist against his lips and almost burst out laughing. Well, we are professionals, and we won't laugh unless we can't help it. At the side, Wang Yuan had a sneer on his face. Well, the water was not just boiled. Otherwise, he would not only be scalded a little red, but would also be lying on the ground. Lou Wanner collapsed on the hospital bed with a look of despair on her face. She couldn't help crying. It was unclear whether she was crying for her misfortune or for the fact that her perfect scapegoat was gone. Chapter 19, Mom, Spare My Life. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Spring has 100 years, and autumn has a moon. There is cool breeze in summer and snow in winter. If you have nothing to worry about, it is a good time for the world. The phone rang. Wu Jiangtao picked it up and saw it was his mother, so he quickly answered it. What the hell is wrong with you, you little brat? You've caused your mother so much trouble. Luckily, it wasn't you just now. Did you break up with Lou Wanner? Wu Jiangtao? No, how did Mom know about this? This barrage of scolding and nonsense made him confused. What is his mother doing? Forget it. Where are you at Kinkea Women and Children's Hospital? I'm in bed number 3 on the 3rd floor of the inpatient department. Wait, I'm coming. Judging from the tone of my mother's voice, did she encounter something unpleasant just now? Wu Jiangtao felt a little worried when he saw Chen Jun and the 2 babies later. I don't know how she will react. Slap me or beat me? I don't think so. After all, I am a grandmother. After a while, a familiar figure appeared at the door of the ward pushing a suitcase. Seeing his mother coming, Wu Jiangtao quickly stood up and walked over to greet her with a flattering look on his face. Mom, you're here. Mother Wu glanced at the boy. Her face remained expressionless, but her heart skipped a beat. This boy's attitude. He only had this attitude when he got into big trouble since he was a child. Following her son into the ward, she walked along the numbered beds, bed 2, bed 3. Her eyes lit up. What a pretty girl. With a cry of amazement, Wu Ma hurried forward and Wu Jiangtao also introduced her. Mom, this is Chen Jun. Chen Jun, this is my mom. Zio Chen, come here. Tell me, what did our Jiangtao do to you? I'll stop beating you when I get back. As Wu Ma spoke, she glanced around him. The environment is nice, clean, and tidy, and there are 2 babies. Wait. Little baby. 2 little babies. Mother Wu was completely stunned, her eyes as if fixed on a nail, staring at the 2 adorable babies in the crib. At the same time, the little sister raised her head cutely and yawned. This is... She stared at Chen Jun blankly, then turned to look at her son. Whose baby is this? Why is it placed here? No, probably not. How is it possible? After a while, Wu Ma recovered and looked at Chen Jun. Are these 2 babies yours? She nodded. Yes, Aunt. These 2 babies belong to Jiang Tao and me. The mother still had an expression of disbelief on her face. She turned to look at her son, only to see him smile and say, Mom, what Chen Jun said is true. The next moment, she reached out her hand, grasped Wu Jiangtao's ear with incredible precision, and tuned the frequency 180 degrees. Ouch, Mom, it hurts, it hurts. Stop twisting it, stop twisting it. Well, it wasn't a dream, it really happened. He. After verifying that it was not a dream, Wu Ma sneered. You also feel pain? Such a big thing. How dare you hide it from me until now? Boy, have you become more capable. You haven't mastered martial arts, but you have learned the skills of this scumbag very smoothly. Tell me, what's going on? I just found out yesterday. What kind of words are these? It would have been fine if she hadn't said this. But as soon as she said it, the tuning angle in Wu Ma's hand immediately increased a lot. Ouch, it hurts, it hurts. Aunt, no, it has nothing to do with him. I didn't tell him calm down first, listen to us. Chen Jun quickly came to the rescue and explained. The anger on Wu Ma's face eased a little, but she still didn't let go. That won't do. I know how difficult it is for a woman to be pregnant for 10 months. He didn't fulfill his responsibilities as a man. You little brat, wait and see how I deal with you. Mom, spare me. Mother Wu grabbed Wu Jiangtao's ears and took him to the corridor to give him a good beating, which made his eyes full of tears. HMPH, I'll deal with you later. After finishing, she still threw down a sentence and walked back to the ward. As soon as she came to the bed, she looked at Chen Jun with a look of anger. I'll give that brat a good beating later. Come on, Chen Jun, give me your hand. I'll feel your pulse and check your health. Okay, Auntie, are you a Chinese medicine doctor? Well, I guess so. Although the Wu family is not a big martial arts family, they have a long tradition of inheriting Xinyiquan. As the saying goes, medicine and martial arts are inseparable. Wu's mother's real name is Yu Wenqian. Although her surname is not Wu, she is also one of the descendants of the Wu family's Xinyiquan. My health is fine, but I am deficient in qi and blood. I need to take good care of myself. After taking the pulse for a while, Wu Ma heaved a sigh of relief. If it's a cesarean section, you can't do physical therapy or moxibustion for the time being. You must relax and worry less in the next 2 days. Apart from feeding the babies and taking care of their poop and pee, let that brat take care of them. Don't let him be idle during this period. We women are giving birth. If we don't let him do anything now, how can he love his wife in the future? I have to say, the older you are, the wiser it is. With just one sentence, a woman should love her wife. Chen Jun instantly fell in love with her. But she blushed a little. As the family was talking here, a nurse came in and said to them, "Bed 3, we need to take the baby downstairs to give him a bath and to have a checkup and vaccinations. If the baby has just had milk, it will be a little later." "Oh, okay." Wu Jiangtao stood up subconsciously and said, "I'll go. You are so clumsy. Stay and look after your wife, I'll go." Wu Ma stood up and pulled her son, gave him a look, and walked out with the 2 babies. Her son asked, "Do you know where it is?" "Don't you know I won't ask?" My mother said something rude and walked away pushing the 2 babies. After walking out of the ward, his face, which had not looked so pretty just now, suddenly brightened up, and he looked at the 2 babies with a smile on his face. "Son, you did a great job. You made me a grandmother so soon." "It's great." She had just come all the way from the inpatient department, and she was really envious of the pink and tender baby she saw along the way. But Mother Wu never expected that her son would give her such a big surprise. But from their initial contact, Wu Ma, who had experienced this, immediately realized that Chen Jun didn't seem to have much affection for her son. No wonder. The 2 of them only met on that August day last year, and they never met again afterwards. Moreover, her son had a girlfriend last year, and her mother had deliberately given them more time alone to cultivate their relationship. Otherwise, they would have separated in the end even though they had a child. This situation is very common in today's society. Although children are the buttons of a family, the most important thing is the relationship between the couple. Chapter 20, Naming the Baby. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Soon, Wu Ma brought the 2 babies to the first floor. There was already a long line of people waiting to bathe the babies. "Oh, are these twins, a boy and a girl, or twins?" An elderly lady in front, who looked to be in her 50s, turned around inadvertently and saw the 2 babies in the crib. She immediately asked with envy on her face. "They are twins." Wu Ma laughed. "What about you? A boy or a girl?" "Oh, it's a brat. Huh, you look so young." Wu Ma is indeed very young. She has a well-proportioned body from years of martial arts training, and there are not many signs of aging on her face. She looks like she is in her 30s. Well, every time her son comes home, she likes to take him out with her and then listen to others praise her, saying that she and her son are like siblings, not mother and son. "No, I'm almost 50. Wow, you're almost 50. How do you maintain your looks? You look like you're in your 20s. As soon as this conversation started, several women here began to gather together and chat. Suddenly, one of them talked about something that happened this morning. "I was scared to death by the baby theft this morning, and the guy who chased after me. He looked like a warrior. He was so powerful. He knocked those guys down in no time." "Yeah, it wasn't even 6 o'clock then. It was so early in the morning and everyone was feeling sleepy. Why did you choose to do it at this time?" "They are twins. They are said to be a boy and a girl." "Huh. What a coincidence. You are also twins." Mother Wu smiled and calmly asked for more details. Soon, she confirmed that what happened in the morning happened to her son. "You little bastard, why didn't you tell me?" Soon, the line was up. Wu Ma couldn't follow in, so she could only watch the nurses inside tossing and turning the baby through the glass counter. The movements were so big that the parents were terrified. Compared with other dads or grandmothers, Wu Ma was very calm. As soon as she saw the nurses' actions, she knew they were very professional. Their movements seemed big, but they were actually very measured. Well, they probably wash dozens or even hundreds of babies every day, so they are very experienced and there won't be any problem. Bathing, physical examination, vaccination. You need to fill out this form first, and you also need to bring your baby's birth certificate and household registration booklet. If you don't have them, go get them first, and then come back to get the card. After finding out the situation, Wu Ma pushed the baby's bed back to the ward on the 3rd floor. "Are we going to get a birth certificate?" Wu Jiangtao looked confused and turned around and walked outside. "I'll go ask what documents I need to prepare first." After asking at the nurse's station, he realized that this was quite troublesome, because he needed a marriage certificate, household registration book, ID card, and birth permit to get a birth certificate for his baby, and the first one gave him a headache. What if we don't have a marriage certificate? Oh, birth certificates for illegitimate children can also be obtained. The birth medical certificate must be clear between the parents, so fill in the information of both parties. It is best for the mother to provide a written statement signed by herself, but it is really inconvenient, so it is okay without it. But other documents such as the baby's parents' ID cards and birth permit must be provided. The nurse had seen this kind of situation many times and began to explain it very skillfully. Wu Jiangtao, what? In addition to these, There is another very important issue, which is that the names of both babies must be written on the birth certificate. They need to be given a formal name, not a nickname. So it seems that I still need to go back and discuss with Chen Jun to name the two babies first. As the two new parents were taking care of the baby and discussing about naming the baby, they gradually developed a tacit understanding. In the afternoon, a figure that shouldn't have appeared came to the corridor on the third floor. Lu Wanner was wearing a hospital gown, with a haggard look between her eyebrows and eyes. Combined with her gentle appearance, it made people want to take good care of her. Well, she secretly ran out of the ward without telling her family and happened to see Wu Jiantao walking in a hurry on the first floor. He looked very happy and had a lot of information in his hands. What on earth is he doing here in Qingqiao? Lu Wanner confirmed on the first floor that the elevator did not stop on the second floor, so she walked up the stairs. As soon as she came up, she heard the voices of Wu Jiantao and Wu's mother coaxing the baby in the ward. She was full of doubts, so she stood outside the door and took a look from a distance. After confirming that it was him, she hid by the door so that they wouldn't find him. I can't think of a good name. Chen Jun, what about you? How about, my brother is called Wu Chenqing and my sister is called Wu Pei. How about that? A calm and gentle voice came, and Lu Wanner was stunned. Why did this voice sound so familiar? She couldn't help but lean her head forward again, and that beautiful face, calm and peaceful, like a secluded orchid in the valley, came into her sight. Chen Jun. Lu Wanner couldn't help but be stunned at this moment. How could she not know about this famous goddess from M University? They were both members of the college's art troupe. Although Chen Jun had graduated and became a graduate student and a senior, they had met at a school anniversary event last year, but they were not close friends. In the room, the most perceptive Wu Ma immediately noticed someone at the door. She glanced over and was startled to see that it was Lu Wanner. Lu Wanner was stunned for a moment, but quickly reacted and shrank back. What a nice name. He's worthy of being a graduate student of M University. Dad is Wu Jiantao, brother is Wu Chenqing, and sister is Wu Pei. It sounds nice and suitable, Mother Wu said suddenly. I think so too. Wu Jiantao also liked it and looked at Chen Jun. Why don't you use this name for the babies? But are you sure you don't want the babies to have your last name? As long as you want, I have no objection. There's no need for that. After all, you're the child's father. Chen Jun smiled. She even consulted a fortune teller about the baby's name. If Wu Jiantao hadn't shown up this time, the baby would have been given a different name based on her surname. But he showed up at the most critical moment and took good care of the three of them. She gave up her original plan and changed the surname Chen to Wu. Tab, tab, tab. Suddenly, there was a sound of hurried footsteps at the door, as if someone was running away in a panic. Wu Ma knew what was going on, while Wu Jiantao and Chen Jun looked at the door with some confusion. What? Lu Wanner walked away in a panic. As if she had been struck by lightning, her mind was in a daze. He actually has a child. And with Chen Jun. When did it happen? At this moment, her mind was in chaos. How could this be possible? Chapter 21. Getting out of bed, please read and vote for me, Tilda. She had clearly wanted to rush in and ask Wu Jiantao for clarification, or even to fight with them on the spot. But at that moment, a flash of lightning suddenly occurred to her mind. By the way, last week when I was throwing a tantrum and breaking up with Wu Jiantao, the last look he gave me before he turned around and left was just one of indifference and coldness, nothing else. No wonder he never contacted me once after I broke up with him last week. In the nearly 2 years they have been together, the two have had some unpleasant experiences. Every time Lu Wanner was throwing a tantrum, it was always Wu Jiantao who bowed his head and admitted his mistake first, but this time was different. Could it be that he knew? Yes, half a month ago, when I was in a bad mood after seeing the test results, he came to my rented apartment to find me. When he left, he took a bag of garbage with him. The test strip is inside. She believed that Wu Jiantao would not look through it, but if the garbage bag was accidentally torn during the process, or if something unexpected happened and he saw it. With such a horrible truth emerging in her mind, Lu Wanner lost the courage to go in and fled. As soon as she returned to the door of her ward on the first floor, Lu Wanner's mother came over with a nervous look on her face. Wanner, where have you been? Why did you take so long? Are you feeling unwell? No, I feel okay now. Lu Wanner looked haggard, with a dull look in her eyes and eyebrows, completely different from the high-spirited college girl she used to be. Seeing her daughter like this, Mother Lu was so distressed that she said angrily, "Sue, you must sue him. Even if he is the biological father of the child, you must sue him and put him in jail. He actually dared to hit my daughter. Do you really think that my daughter of the Lu family is easy to bully? It's okay. Even if you don't plan to get married, your mother will support you for the rest of your life. After replying calmly, Lou Wanner sat back on the hospital bed. At this moment, a very tall and strong figure suddenly appeared at the door. Before the person came to the front, a very powerful momentum rushed towards him. But the man who came had a strong brow, bright eyes, a broad chest, and was probably about 2 meters tall. "Little sister, how are you?" "Brother," seeing him coming, Lou Wanner's originally calmed mood surged up again. She couldn't help but throw herself into his arms with red eyes and started crying again. Don't cry, let's not cry. Come on, tell me if that kid Wu Jiantao bullied you, tell me, and I will kill him." Lu Pengcheng's face was filled with heartache, and at the same time, a hint of murderous intent emerged in his eyes. Wu Jiantao actually dared to bully his own sister like this. Really, he is so bold. What the hell is going on? Is it Wu Jiantao? Damn it, where is he now? Is he here? No, it's not him. Lu Wanner raised her head with tears in her eyes and sobbed as she told the story. I really didn't mean it. I was drunk that day. Wang Yuan, that bastard. He hurt me. It has nothing to do with Wu Jiantao. It's me, I am sorry for him. Wang Yuan. Hearing this name, Lu Pengcheng was stunned at first, and then a little dumbfounded. At the same time, the evil spirit in his body was also reduced a lot. The Wang family of City F. Wang Yuan is the son of the Wang family, the 5th child in the family. In the upper class, he is known as Wang Leiwu. Many people inside and outside the circle know his romantic reputation. Even his sister Lu Wanner got to know Wang Yuan through him. I didn't expect that something like this would happen today. This is not going to happen. If they insisted on suing Wang Yuan, they would inevitably run into the Wang family head-on. However, the other party's huge influence in F City and even M Province was not something that an ordinary family like them could afford to provoke. Although he was also a certified second-level warrior, there were more experts in the Wang family, and there was a high possibility that there were even warriors without professional certification hidden. This kind of warrior is on the edge of the rules and is very dangerous. He cannot afford to provoke him. Brother, I must sue him. I must sue him until he goes to jail. Lu Pengcheng stopped talking and turned to look at his mother beside him, only to see her wink at him. Okay, we'll sue him and put him in jail. Lu Wanner cried herself to exhaustion and fell asleep. Lu Pengcheng and his mother quietly walked outside. Mom, what's going on now? Where is Wu Jiantao? Alas, this matter has nothing to do with Xiao Wu. He's a good person. Let's not talk about him. Your sister is in this situation now. What should we do next? We can't really sue Wang Yuan, he's the Wang family. Suddenly Lu Pengcheng narrowed his eyes and said coldly, "We must sue him. That kid actually dared to hit my sister. The law and reason are on our side. Why not sue?" But, Mom, you don't have to worry about the Wang family. Although our Lu family is not big, I am at least a level 2 warrior. I will handle it. I understand what you mean. Lu Pengcheng smiled and said, I am retreating by advancing. Otherwise, the Wang family will just think that we are easy to bully. Moreover, if Wanner wants to have a good life in the Wang family in the future, she must sue him. Mother Lu didn't quite understand. I'm just worried about the Wang family. Never mind, wait until your dad comes and discuss it with you guys, hey. Outside the corridor, the mother and son were discussing quietly. But Lu Wanner in the ward naturally didn't know that the family members who had always held her in the palm of their hands were discussing selling her out. In fact, it's not really selling. This is the optimal solution after weighing the interests. If everything goes well, Lu Wanner's future life may not necessarily be happy, but she will definitely live a comfortable life with fine clothes and delicious food. Isn't this definitely much better than being with that silly boy Wu Jiantao? Lu Pengcheng narrowed his eyes and sneered. From the beginning, I looked down on that silly boy Wu Jiantao. It's good like this now. He'd better not come here to make trouble again, or I'll take care of him too. Forget it, don't make things complicated. Xiao Wu has always been very good to Wanner, but Wanner has been spoiled by us since she was a child. You know what happens when a young lady gets angry. Mom, don't worry about this. Another 2 days passed, and Chen Jun finally removed the urine bag from the hospital bed and began to walk, working very hard to recover his body. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Wu Jiantao was supporting her beside her, when suddenly the WeChat notification sound from his cell phone in his trouser pocket kept coming, which made him frown. However, he ignored it and supported Chen Jun wholeheartedly. It hurts. Every time Chen Jun took a step, she could feel the pain in her lower abdomen, and it hurt so much that she almost cried. It turns out that cesarean section is not painless, but it is waiting here. Chapter 22, I let it slip. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. How do you feel? If it really hurts, How about I take you back to bed and lie down for a while? No, I hiss I can do it. Chen Jun was very strong-willed. The doctor said I could walk around for a while. This would help the wound heal and my body recover faster. I've been lying in bed for almost 3 days. If I continue lying down, my body will get moldy. Seeing her trembling as she walked, Wu Jiantao supported her carefully, feeling somewhat distressed. Yesterday, the girl who gave birth naturally told me that she envied me because I didn't feel much pain during my cesarean section. She said she felt terribly painful during her natural birth. As Chen Jun walked, he gritted his teeth and said with a hint of self-mockery, "Look now." She only felt pain during childbirth. She gave birth in the morning and was able to get out of bed in the afternoon. She was discharged from the hospital today. Unlike me, I couldn't get up for several days after the operation. I didn't feel anything while lying down, but I knew it as soon as I got out of bed. Now it is difficult for me to even walk. Every step I take is excruciatingly painful. As expected, it is better to give birth naturally. After walking back and forth twice, Chen Jun was sweating profusely. Only then did he slowly walk back to the ward under Wu Jiantao's persuasion. In the room, Wu's mother was sitting on the balcony, holding a baby in each hand, humming a folk song from her hometown. Well, the doctor also said that the 2 babies have high bilirubin levels and need to get more sun exposure to prevent childhood jaundice. They take the 2 babies to the balcony every day to get some sun exposure. "Hey, you're back." Seeing her son and daughter-in-law come in, Wu Ma turned around and looked at them. She noticed that her son was gently holding Chen Jun's hand. She was secretly delighted and encouraged her son, saying, "You'd better do your best, little boy. Don't let such a good girl slip away from you." Chen Jun was carefully placed on the bed, feeling his very warm and strong palm. Although the 2 of them had inadvertently had some overly intimate contact these days, she still blushed a little at this moment. From childhood to adulthood, she had never been taken care of by anyone other than her parents. "Check your phone. I see you've been using WeChat non-stop since just now. Maybe someone wants to talk to you." Wu Jiantao picked up his phone and switched it to vibrate mode. It was still making a ding-dong noise. What was going on? He clicked on the screen and saw the message on WeChat and was slightly stunned. "Fat Dragon, Xiao Wu, the idiot, accidentally told others about you and Goddess Chen Jun. Now our department and college forums are very lively. But he didn't say that you are in Qingqiao Women and Children's Hospital, but you better be careful. Nong Yi, we already beat the shit out of him, don't worry." "Xiao Wu, I didn't mean to say that. Damn it, I just accidentally let it slip. I'm so rude. I apologize to Dad." Nong Yi, he's resurrected. This won't do. This isn't professional. Wait a minute. It was obvious that the 2 people over there were rubbing Xiao angrily again. After a while, they explained the situation clearly. It turned out that when I was having lunch with the boys in my class today, a guy in my class who was always showing off said that he was planning to marry his girlfriend as soon as he graduated and become a senior executive in his girlfriend's family business. This bihua, Xiao Wu from dormitory 405 couldn't help, but said directly, "What's that? Jiang Tao hasn't even graduated yet, and he has a child with his goddess, and they are twins." As soon as these words were spoken, everyone was stunned on the spot. Stop kidding. Wasn't Jiang Tao kicked out by Lu Wanner last week? He's a single guy, how can there be twins? "That's right, that's not how you brag, right?" The classmates all expressed disbelief, but when Xiao showed the photo, well, Chen Jun didn't appear in the photo, but Wu Jiantao really held a baby in each hand, and the smile on his handsome face was truly bright and beautiful. "No way. Is this true? How could it be fake?" Xiao Wu raised his chin towards the classmate who just lived off his wife and acted so confidently. "It's 100% innocent, and the mother of the child is Chen Jun, the goddess of our school." Fuck it. As soon as these words came out, Nong Yi and Pang Long next to him immediately slapped him on the back of the head, saying, "You talk too much. Impossible, absolutely impossible." The soft rice student instantly turned into a cow emoticon. "Chen Jun is the goddess of our University, the dream goddess of so many boys. How could she have given birth to twins, a boy and a girl, for Wu Jiantao? Yes, that's Chen Jun. This is unscientific. However, in the past 6 months, Chen Jun has indeed rarely appeared in the college. She is still a graduate student in our college, could it be?" The boys talked a lot and kept asking Xiao questions, but Nong Yi and Panglong had already put the zipper on this boy's mouth, so he naturally couldn't reveal any information, and no one could get the most crucial photo from the 3 of them. So the boys in the class started to contact Wu Jiantao one after another, and they all turned into gossip kings, asking him whether he and Chen Jun really had twins. Among them, the most eye-catching one was the WeChat message sent by Mo Leiliu. That is, the classmate who was a gigolo at noon. Zio Jiangjiang, you are not really pregnant with twins, are you? Or are they born to our goddess Chen Jun from University M? Brother, be more careful and don't be a scapegoat. Originally, Wu Jiangtao had a pretty ordinary relationship with him. When he saw the message, he immediately replied, idiot, and then deleted him as a friend on WeChat. Fat Dragon, Jiang, originally only a few students in our class knew about this. Someone just posted this to the college forum. It immediately became a hot topic. Now all the boys in the college are looking for Chen Jun or Chen Jun's good friends to verify the truth of this matter. You have to be careful. Nong Yi, it must be the work of that bastard Mo Leiliu. You'd better not reply to the class group and don't answer any of their questions. Zio, I was wrong. Damn it, this matter has become quite a big deal now. The whole school is buzzing about it. Dad, you and Mom should be careful. Wu Jiantao, puff. His fingers flew across the phone screen. Jiang, get lost. I don't have a son like you who recognizes his mother randomly. Fat Dragon, Nong Yi. What? He frowned and asked his good brothers about the situation. He also opened the college forum to take a look. It turned out that a guy nicknamed Demon had posted a post on the forum with the title, "No way, Goddess Chen Jun got married and had a child," which immediately attracted the attention of all the teachers and students in the school. Goddess Chen Jun has always been very popular in the college. In this post, the boys in the college left messages one after another, not believing it at all. However, some of the curious ones looked for the code name, WJT, disclosed in this post, and soon a name appeared in front of everyone. Chapter 23 was hacked. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Wu Jiangtao. Among the senior male students in this department, Wu Jiangtao is the only one whose first pinyin letter of his name is WJT. As more and more inside information was revealed, many students flocked to their department, asking for the inside story of this matter. This afternoon, some students who knew Wu Jiangtao and some who didn't know him didn't know where he got his number. Some added him on WeChat, and some even called him to ask. It's not just him. Chen Jun naturally has classmates and friends in the college. Although he has not told anyone why he took leave for the past 6 months, several classmates who became graduate students at the same time and several younger schoolmates with whom he has a good relationship also sent WeChat messages to ask him. Wu Jiangtao was afraid that she would be hurt again, so he told her not to pay attention to it and ignore the rumors. But Chen Jun has always been strong-willed. Would she care about what others think of her? Facing everyone's concern, Chen Jun responded very straightforwardly. Yes, grinning face. Professors, tutors, classmates, and junior students who came to ask. Most people fell silent after getting this answer and did not ask any further questions. Well, most of them were Chen Jun's friends. Friends of a top student were naturally not stupid and would not ask too many questions or care about other people's private lives. There's really no need for that. Although Chen Jun is only a graduate student now, she is quite good at academics and is already a researcher at the Institute of Advanced Computer Materials of M University. Although her salary is not very high, it is better than most of her classmates. The key is that a top student like her is destined to soar to the sky in the near future. A genius like her has enough ability to make her own decisions. They are not Chen Jun's parents or relatives, so they have no right to say anything. Of course, there are also people who refuse to give in. For example, in the college, a junior student named Chen Mei, who was the president of the student union at the time, once again sent a very concerned message. Well, this guy's WeChat nickname is also very interesting. It's called Wang Jun between eyebrows. Wang Jun said between his eyebrows, "Right, senior sister, are you admitting that you and that guy called Wu Jiangta have a child?" No way, are you kidding me? Jun, I'm not kidding, this is serious. Okay, stop sending messages. I'm very tired, I need to rest. Wang Jun said between his eyebrows, "Wait a minute, where are you, senior sister? I'll go find you. Are you being coerced?" Yes, you must have been coerced, you can tell me. Seeing that this guy was persistent in sending her WeChat messages, and even shared his location with her, she ignored him and clicked on his personal account, clicked the upper right corner, and deleted it directly. On the other side, Chen Mei was stunned after sending a voice message. The red exclamation mark on it indicated that the other party has deleted his friend. Wu Jiangtao became famous. Of course, the scope of this popularity is very small, only within the M area. But he has been criticized a lot in the M University forum, with all kinds of slander and defamation. Many boys who admire Chen Jun even said in the forum that a goddess of Chen Jun's level must be the exclusive delicacy of a certain big shot. saying that he is just a lucky receiver and licker who can be by the goddess side. However, this kind of remarks also slandered Chen Jun therefore. As soon as these people appeared, they were scolded by the fans of Goddess M. Well, involution in the industry is normal. When someone was so kind as to post a screenshot of Chen Jun's reply to him on the forum, there was a sudden outcry. The goddess actually admitted it. The goddess actually admitted it. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Who knows where Wu Jiantao is now? I want to duel with him. Count me in. I am a martial arts student. I was preparing for the professional competition, but now I have no intention of preparing. Can anyone tell me where Wu Jiantao is? I will give him all my martial arts experience. The guy upstairs might be with the goddess. You can beat him up, but if you hurt my dream goddess, I won't forgive you. Dalalia. The various life situations were presented in such a colorful way on the M forum that Wu Jiantao was speechless. The crowd is really excited. I estimate that if I show up at M University now, a bunch of boys will jump out and cause trouble for me, especially those from the martial arts department. Although M University is a comprehensive university in Xia country and cannot be compared with the strongest sports universities and military academies in the martial arts department, it is still a key university after all. The martial arts department of the college is still quite capable. Many juniors and seniors have passed the professional level certification and participated in professional competitions. Their strength is quite impressive. As for the rumors and slander against him on the forum, Wu Jiantao just smiled and was not angered. He was too lazy to confront those people who only dared to rant on the internet. But if these people dared to appear in front of him and bark at him, that would be another matter. From this point of view, Wu Jiantao and Chen Jun are still very similar. Neither of them cares about what others say about them or how they look at them. Relatively speaking, both of them are the kind of people who do their own thing and are proud in their bones. As the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. To some extent, this can be considered fate. As for the turmoil in the academy, these two new parents were calm and at ease. They stayed in the hospital calmly as before, one taking care of the baby and the mother, and the other trying to recover. Chen Jun, you will be discharged from the hospital in 2 days. Are you living in the college dormitory now, or renting a house outside? Chen Jun, who was sitting on the bed reading a paper journal, was stunned and looked up at him. I rent a house outside the college, how come? She realized the problem halfway through her words. She lived in a single apartment, which was not big and certainly couldn't accommodate too many people. Even if Wu Jiantao didn't live with her in the future, someone would need to take care of them. Plus, with 2 babies, her current place would definitely not be able to accommodate them. If she had to stay there, it would definitely be very crowded. Well, we need to move to another house, Wu Jiantao said. Chen Jun was busy with work and research as soon as he recovered a little, and he didn't expect this. I plan to buy a house directly. Buy a house? She was stunned, then frowned and said, in fact, we can rent a bigger house and then we can share the rent. You can also take care of the baby nearby and I will hire a confinement nanny. I don't care whether we buy a house or not. After graduation, she was successfully admitted to graduate school and entered her supervisor's research institute to participate in a key project. She was indeed amazing, but her qualification level in the institute was still very low, and outsiders were very envious. In fact, her salary was not very high. Even with the 5 insurances and 1 fund and other benefits, it was less than 20,000 yuan. Less than a year after she started working, her savings were less than 200,000 yuan. Compared with other students in the college, or even other classmates who graduated a year ago like her, she is undoubtedly one of the best in terms of professional performance and income. However, this amount of money is really not enough for a down payment in F-City. At best, she can only buy a toilet in the suburbs. Chapter 24, Give Me a Song's Time. Please read and vote for me. I feel a little bit. Looking at Chen Jun's frown, Wu Jiantao couldn't help but laugh. You, she suddenly widened her beautiful eyes and stared at me. Well, more than 1.4 million. Chen Jun. Well, in the past 3 or 4 days, Wu Jiantao completed some hidden tasks one after another and received red envelope rewards from the Super Daddy system. As for the 1 million, he set up a stock account according to the system prompts these days, and then strictly followed the operations to get the system reward. She couldn't help but move closer, lowered her voice, and said, Aren't you still not graduated? Where do you get so much money? Does your mother know? Are you worried about me? Wu Jiantao raised his eyebrows and teased her. No. Chen Jun was very calm. If the money came from illegal sources, you would probably end up in a bad situation. I just don't want my baby to have a father who goes to jail right after he's born. At this moment, Wu's mother came in from outside pushing 2 babies, and Wu Jiantao also told her about buying a house. Wu's mother agreed and nodded, saying, "Although your father's martial arts school is not big, he has saved a little over the years. It should be no problem to get 1 million together. It's enough for you to make a down payment in City F." Mom, I don't need your money." "You kid." Mother Wu laughed. "You haven't graduated yet and don't have a job. If you don't use our money, whose money will you use? Do you want Xiaojun to buy it? We in the Wu family would never do such a thing." Wu Jiantao scratched his head, too lazy to talk anymore, so he took out his mobile phone, opened the account balance on the bank app, and placed it in front of her. Wu Ma was startled at first, then she stared at her son seriously and said calmly, "Tell me honestly, did you go to fight in a black boxing match?" "Black boxing? How is that possible?" He couldn't help but roll his eyes. With his previous skills, if he went to fight underground boxing, he would probably be beaten to death on the spot. Moreover, the martial arts world is no longer like it was a dozen or 20 years ago. Under the severe crackdown of the state apparatus, unless he fled to Southeast Asia, he would have disappeared in the country long ago. After another explanation, Wu Ma finally knew. It turned out that her son earned all this money by playing virtual currency and speculating in stocks. Although she didn't know much about these internet rankings, she was shocked. "I want to use this money to buy a house directly, a fully furnished house that you can move into right away, with a good environment and not too far from M University." Hearing this, Chen Jun knew what he was planning. "You want to buy a house in Yunlu Community." She currently lives in a rented single apartment in Yunlu Community. Yunlu Community is a very famous community in F City in recent years. It has a very classical and traditional character. It is surrounded by mountains and water and is a very livable place. It is very close to M University and can be reached in about 10 minutes on foot. Chen Jun nodded and said nothing more. Since Wu Jiantao wants to buy it, then let him buy it. She won't look up to him for this, nor will she look down on him. It is easy to gain her respect, just be normal. However, it is quite difficult to gain the approval of a top student like her, and it is not something that can be achieved by just having money. At this moment, the system also had a prompt. Ding dong, the main quest is triggered. As a wife and father, it is necessary to build a happy home for them. Find a good house suitable for mother and baby to live in. Reward for completing the mission. A cash bonus that can be used to buy a full purchase. Forehead. Wu Jiantao was stunned. This is acceptable. With his current martial arts ability, as long as he completes his professional rating at the Security Bureau, it may not be possible to make a lot of money in a short period of time, but he can definitely give his children a comfortable enough life. After Wu Jiantao discussed with his mother and Chen Jun, he left the hospital and went to Yunlu Garden. As the president of the M University Student Union, Chen Mei is not only good at managing people, but also a top student. Although she is only a junior, she has published several papers in many first-class journals at home and abroad. Although she cannot publish in top international journals like Chen Jun, she has reached a level that ordinary students cannot reach. On this day, Chen Mei, who had no classes, did not go to college early for the first time, but came to Yunlu Community. Well, he knew Chen Jun and some of her friends. Through them, he knew that Chen Jun rented a single apartment in Yunlu Community, but he didn't know which building and what the number was. However, he naturally has his own way. Chen Mei's family is also wealthy. 3 years ago, when he was admitted to M University, his family bought him a villa in Kaiyani Villa. Well, Kaiyani Villa and Yunlu Garden are adjacent to each other. Compared with the two, the former is high-end, majestic, magnificent, and luxurious, while the latter's originally quiet and simple classical design seems dull in comparison. But what's interesting is that most of the teachers and professors at M University and nearby universities bought houses in Yunlu Garden, and few of them bought houses in Kaiyani Villa. In the morning, Chen Mei and a classmate came out of Yunlu Garden and came to the security room at the gate of the garden. "I'm coming to pick up the package," his classmate said to the security guard shyly. "Oh, they are all here, look for them yourself." The security guard casually pointed to a table full of express deliveries. He recognized the young man, a student at M University who had been living in the community in a rented apartment for 2 years. As for Chen Mei, who followed him, he took a quick look at him. Seeing that he was well-mannered and well-dressed, he should also be a student of M University and from a wealthy family. The security guard is old and has seen a lot of people, so his eyes are very sharp. Crash! They came over and rummaged through the packages on the table. The security guard beside them didn't even look at them. He leisurely turned on the speaker next to him. Suddenly, a long, distant, and pleasant flute sound rang out in this small security room. The uncle closed his eyes comfortably, listened, and sang along with his hoarse voice. As the night progresses, the air becomes cooler and the trees begin to grow taller. As the music started, Chen Mei's hands paused slightly. The cool night is filled with longing for you. It's easier to overcome the tribulation of life than the tribulation of love. As this very pleasant classical Chinese song continued, his face became more and more gloomy. The classmate standing next to him immediately sensed that something was wrong with the boss and quietly stepped a few steps away. After a while, Chen Mei finally got the information he wanted. When he turned around and was about to leave with an indifferent look, he saw the security guard chuckled at him. The sound effect is pretty good, but this song is still the best. After a few years, I still never get tired of listening to it. You are all young people, so you should like it too. Chapter 25 is here. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Chen Mei glanced at the uncle indifferently and walked away. Hey, this kid. The security guard suddenly looked unhappy and stood up. The students next to him hurriedly explained to him and apologized, then turned around and followed him. None of these express deliveries contained Chen Jun, but Chen Mei still got the information he wanted. Well, Chen Jun didn't come to Yunlu Garden to rent a house alone, but came with several friends and her best friend Li Xiaoshan. He guessed that the single apartment they rented should be neighbors, so they could take care of each other and it would be much safer. In this way, he also knew the approximate location, where Chen Jun lived in Yunlu Garden. Brother Chen, how is it? Don't ask if you're not supposed to know. Chen Mei, who was in a bad mood, glanced at him and raised her chin. Okay, go and do your thing. Oh. The classmate smiled awkwardly, and just as he turned around, his eyes suddenly widened, and he quickly grabbed Chen Mei. Brother Chen, look, that person, isn't that Wu Jiangtao? Tread. Chen Mei turned around suddenly and swept over with a cold look. Wu Jiangtao, who had just walked into the community, immediately noticed their gazes. He glanced at them and thought, are they students from M University? There are many students from M University who rent houses in Yunlu Garden. He was mentally prepared for the current situation. Wu Jiangtao, carrying a bag of clothes, brushed past them and headed towards Chen Jun's residence in the community. Well, these are the clothes that Chen Jun changed into these days. Soon he arrived at building number 2, opened the security door with Chen Jun's door card, and just as he entered, the 2 boys he had just met followed him. Wu Jiangtao frowned slightly and looked back at them. Of the 2, the one who was dressed very elegantly had a calm expression and looked straight at him neither humbly nor arrogantly. As for the other guy wearing glasses, his eyes were wandering and he seemed a little uneasy. Ding, Chen Mei took the initiative and pressed 8. Wu Jiangtao's outstretched hand suddenly stopped. What a coincidence, they were also going to the 8th floor. He glanced at Chen Mei indifferently and the other party looked normal. After reaching the 8th floor, he didn't care which apartment the 2 boys went to. He went to Chen Jun's apartment and put her clothes in the washing machine in the bathroom. Then Wu Jiangtao left to meet with the real estate agent he had contacted before coming. After looking at several houses, he chose the largest and best one without saying a word. Well, the decoration style of the house is simple. The furniture is all mahogany furniture, matched with the elegant moon-white walls, walking barefoot on the wooden floor into the house. The semi-circular entrance, the hollow window lattice. The overall style is very Chinese, and Wu Jiangtao fell in love with it at first sight. On the surface, this house looks very simple, but in fact, the decoration is not simple at all. It is the low-key and implicit Chinese luxury style. I directly video called Chen Jun and her mother at the hospital, and they also said they liked it very much. After hearing the price offered by the sales agent, Wu Jiangtao immediately agreed to buy it. You can pay for the house in full. The real estate agent was stunned at first, then he was ecstatic. Although this house is not as good as the Kayani villa next door, it is still several million more. But when Wu Jiangtao and he went to the sales office and paid the contract without hesitation, he suddenly remembered something. Wait a minute, brother. We have some matching high-end furniture for free. What? Okay, the house problem is solved. The next thing was moving. In order to allow Chen Jun to move in smoothly as soon as she was discharged from the hospital, some of her personal belongings in the apartment, such as computers, wardrobes, and even some green plants, had to be moved here. Fortunately, they are in the same residential area, and Wu Jiangtao can handle it by himself. Well, with his current skills, it will only take some effort. It happened that his strength had just been restored these 2 days, and he had been so busy in the hospital that he had not had much chance to practice his boxing and kicking. So Wu Jiangtao planned to practice the family's Xinyiquan moves while moving, so that he could exert his strength in his hands and feet and hone his body muscles at the same time. He hadn't practiced boxing for a few days, and his bones felt a little itchy. just as Wu Jiangtao stepped into Chen Jun's apartment again and started moving. A post titled "Shocked, WJT really showed up in Chen Jun's apartment" appeared on the M University forum. Once it appeared, it caused a huge uproar. Fuck, I can't stand this anymore. Yunlu community, right? I'm going to go over and see what's going on. Count me in. I'm from the martial arts department, and I have a black belt in Taekwondo, so count me in. Are there any other martial arts students who want to go? What? M University was already in a state of excitement. The male students from M University who had no classes this morning formed groups and swarmed towards Yunlu Garden and arrived at building number 2. The mighty noise frightened the security guard at the gate of the community, and he immediately reported it. The security captain immediately summoned all his men to come over and keep an eye on it. Damn it, if a fight breaks out here in Yunlu community, he will definitely not be able to continue doing this. Well, the time to test the security team has come. Under the captain's life-threatening order, the team members gathered in line at the fastest speed in their lives and then rushed to the battlefield. The scene. When I arrived at the scene, I saw that it was eerily quiet. Team leader, what are these 50 or 60 people doing? The security guards and the M students stared at each other, and the atmosphere was a little weird. Finally, someone among the students who were in a weird mood spoke up. Who is that? Didn't you say you were from the martial arts department? Why don't you go up and take a look? Haha. The student, who was 1.9 meters tall with a strong body and muscular body, smiled and said, "No, I'll wait here for him to come down." No one was willing to go up. After all, Wu Jiangtao entered Chen Jun's apartment as her boyfriend. With what identity could they ask about the matter? Chen Jun's pursuer or fan? Don't be ridiculous. We are all top students of M University. We are not stupid. If we really get here, no one will be willing to be the first to stand out. If we really go up, I'm afraid we will be slapped in the face instead of pretending to be cool. At this moment, Chen Mei winked at the men beside him. The man with glasses immediately understood and quickly stood up and coughed. Everyone's attention was immediately focused on him. Everyone. As a key figure in the M University Student Union, he organized many large and small events and was very familiar with dealing with such situations. The demeanor he displayed was completely different from that of ordinary students. Listen to me, Chen Jun's whereabouts are unknown, but someone in our college has been slandering and spreading rumors online that she is married and has a child. Our top priority now should be. Chapter 26, I'm here come. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Just as the student union officer was speaking nonsense in an orderly and logical manner, suddenly, the security door of the building opened with a click. Whoosh! The next moment, a huge black shadow suddenly flew out from the door. Everyone was so scared that they subconsciously took a few steps back. When they looked again, they found that it was a wardrobe with 3 doors. Song, this huge wardrobe that was more than 2 meters high made a whistling sound in the air. When it was about to fall to the ground, a figure was seen rushing out from the door. Bang! The person who appeared in time stretched out one hand and grabbed the foot of the wardrobe in time, then pulled it back to neutralize the wardrobe's momentum, lowered his body, and then slowly stood up. He actually grabbed one of the legs of the wardrobe with just one hand and lifted up the solid wooden wardrobe. Security guards, M University classmates, Wu Jiangtao. Seeing so many people around, he was a little confused. What was going on? When he went upstairs just now, wasn't there anyone? Why are there so many people suddenly? The man with glasses was completely speechless. The next moment, he couldn't help but look at several classmates from the martial arts department. Brush. Not only him, but all the students at the scene looked at them, as well as the security guards who were also at the scene. One of them looked at the captain and said, "Boss, this kid is quite powerful. No wonder he needs so many people." The security captain looked at Wu Jiangtao, who was carrying the wardrobe with one hand, with a serious look, and shook his head. "This is no longer a force that can be defeated by a large number of people. This guy is just like me. He is also a professional master who has entered the whole strength realm." Zhang. These ordinary security guards looked horrified. Not far away, the students from the martial arts department were also stunned and completely speechless. After all, they are top students in the martial arts department of M University. Back then, they were specially recruited into M University because of their outstanding martial arts talents. Now, each of them has reached the level of full strength, and every punch and kick can make a crisp sound. Although they are still a bit far from the professional level, they are no longer comparable to ordinary people. Wu Jiangtao gently placed the cabinet in his hand on the ground without making any sound. This kind of control shocked the martial arts students, the security captain, and Chen Mei, who all looked a bit good. Are they all M-size? Wu Jiantao took a quick look around and immediately understood why they were here. He smiled faintly and said, "It seems you are here for me? Okay, I'm right here, come on." The whole scene was dead silent. No one moved. Who dares to come up? The other party doesn't even have to do anything. Just pick up the wardrobe and slap it, and they will be given the ability to fly at low altitude. It seems that no one wants to come up. He shook his head speechlessly. Just as he turned around and lifted the wardrobe, he heard a voice as loud as a bell, etc. In the crowd, the martial arts student who was nearly 2 meters tall and quite burly stepped out, staring at him fiercely with eyes like copper bells. Good. Wu Jiantao took a look at this guy and was about to put down the wardrobe, but he saw him waving his hands repeatedly. Wait a minute. No need to put it down. I'll leave after I say something. Is she okay? Everyone at the scene. Wu Jiantao, who was holding the wardrobe with one hand, asked, "Is this crazy?" He was speechless for a while and ignored the other party. He turned around and left with the wardrobe. He had to move and had no time to pay attention to this guy. At this time, the security captain of the campus finally stood up and said to the students of M University at the scene with a dark face, "Get out of here. If you stay here, we will immediately report to the leaders of your college. I can tell you that there are surveillance cameras when you come in. If I hold you accountable for causing trouble here, none of you can escape. Wu Jiantao is the owner, so the security captain must protect his interests." After hearing this, the boys at the scene didn't dare to stay any longer and left. However, some of Chen Mei's men were walking in the direction Wu Jiantao had left, but the security captain pointed at them and shouted, "You guys, don't think I don't know what you want to do. Get out of here, or I will really complain to your college leaders." Another day passed, and finally it was the day when Chen Jun was discharged from the hospital. Wu Jiantao called a high-end business car and placed the 2 babies in a brand new crib, which was pushed by Wu's mother, while Wu Jiantao was responsible for supporting Chen Jun. "It still hurts a little, but it's better than before." Chen Jun frowned slightly, but her face was much rosier than when they first met, and even looked plumper, no longer that pale color. "I'll walk around the neighborhood with you more often from now on, and you'll recover faster." Her voice was calm and peaceful, without much emotion in it. Wu Ma, who was watching from behind, sighed slightly. Although this girl was very pretty, her temperament was, how should I put it, a little indifferent. "Son, you have to work harder." At this moment, the cell phone rang. She picked it up and looked at it. Wu Ma's beautiful eyebrows suddenly raised slightly and she answered the call. "Hello? What's going on? You've been in F City for a few days." "No, tell me honestly, has something happened to that kid? Why do you need to stay for so long?" A very annoyed, deep voice came from the other end of the phone. It was Wu's father. Wu Jiantao in front of him immediately pricked up his ears. Didn't I tell you that I had something important to do here?" "No, what's going on? What, are you dissatisfied with me? Do you not know how to use the washing machine at home, or can't you lift the pots and pans? Come, tell me, I will go back and give you some guidance." Hang up. Wu's mother didn't say much and hung up the phone directly, but her brows were slightly frowned. She couldn't hide it anymore. She had to think carefully about how to tell this to his father. "Mom, how about, I should just call my dad and tell him directly." Wu Jiantao gritted his teeth. Don't be impatient, don't be impatient. You know your father's temper." Hearing their words, Chen Jun's heart was slightly moved, and he looked at Wu Jiantao apologetically. "I'm sorry, this matter has put you in a difficult position. If possible, I can also go and explain it to your father." "No, no, no, no." Mother Wu waved her hands repeatedly. If she really let Chen Jun go and say that, Father Wu would probably directly destroy his son. At the same time, Wu Dad on the other end of the phone put down his phone in a rage in the restaurant. Well, he just came out of the kitchen, looking gray and black. "The rice cooker, why did it explode?" Wu's father felt depressed. "I just stewed 2 chickens, did I put too much stuff in the chickens? Or what? It's over, that bitch will kill me when she comes back." Fortunately, judging from what she said on the phone, she probably won't be back so soon. On the side, several martial arts disciples were holding a half-cooked chicken in each hand. One was splattered with soup and was wiping his greasy face with a tissue, and another had a black eye on his face, which was caused by the exhaust valve on the pressure cooker lid. Everyone was covered in dust and dirt. Well, they were asked to come and learn how to cook on site. The explosion just now is master training our reaction speed. Of course, it's hard to guard against. Chapter 27, Discharge from Hospital. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Walking into the newly bought house, the air that hit me was very fresh, without any formaldehyde or other new house smells. Chen Jun was supported and walked in first. Walking through the entrance hall, there is an antique window frame on the right, which is carved with classical patterns, separating it from the dining room on the other side. Inside is the kitchen, and on the left is a living room of about 60 to 70 square meters. Outside is a very spacious balcony, on which are placed green plants that Chen Jun is very familiar with. She looked at Wu Jiantao with some surprise, and saw that he even brought these with him. "Are you tired from the journey? Take a break first. I'll take care of the baby." As Wu Jiantao was speaking, he was about to go to the master bedroom to push out the baby bed he had just bought, but he saw his mother coming out holding the baby bed made of solid wood. Chen Jun, he didn't know whether to laugh or cry and walked forward. "Mom, this bed can be pushed. The noise will wake up the babies." Mother Wu glared at her son. She knew this, of course, but she was just afraid that the noise of the wheels would wake up the two babies. "Go, close the door a little. The baby can't be exposed to the wind or he'll catch a cold easily. And Xiaoran can't be exposed to the wind either. Her wounds haven't healed yet, so she must not catch a cold." Wu Jiantao hurriedly did as he was told. Mother Wu sat down and took a look at the babies. They were all pretty stable and not sweating. She turned to Chen Jun and said, "Xiao Jun, you must not wash your hair or take a bath during the confinement period. You can only move around in the room. I know you young people don't like us to be so nagging, but there are some things that we elders still have to say more. You must not get any postpartum diseases during the confinement period. Otherwise, you will suffer for the rest of your life." Chen Jun was stunned when he heard this and nodded repeatedly in agreement. "I don't know what your plans are going to be next. Whether you want to get a marriage certificate or hold a wedding ceremony, you are not children anymore. Make your own decisions. As for me, I only have one request for you, that you take good care of the baby together and give them a complete and healthy childhood." I have to say that what Wu Ma said was very well spoken. Chen Jun listened very carefully and agreed with it. Before this, what she feared most was that Wu Ma would openly or secretly urge her and Wu Jiantao to get married. But unexpectedly, this elder seemed very open-minded and did not urge her. In addition, she had taken care of her like a daughter in the past few days. Chen Jun couldn't help but feel moved. However, only Wu Jiantao on the side saw through the power of this tactic of retreating to advance, and secretly praised our mother, saying, "Yes, this was a great assist. I understand, Chen Jun nodded, turned around and looked at Wu Jiantao beside him calmly. "I will definitely work with Jiantao to take good care of the babies." Looking at her appearance, Wu Ma knew that this girl was very independent-minded and calm. She was not the kind of girl who could be easily moved by a few words or some romantic gesture. "Alas, although I am not very educated, I have met many people in the past few decades. You must not be an ordinary family. Our Wu family is a small family, not a wealthy family, and we cannot give you too much material help. However, we will do our best to help you." The family has just moved into their new home, and there is still a lot to do. For example, there were many things to do, such as purchasing furniture, cleaning the new home, and buying some daily necessities. While Wu Jiantao was busy, he also had to call his counselor to explain the situation and then ask for leave. Even though he was about to graduate and had no classes, he still had to ask for leave from the college. Fortunately, he had already completed his thesis and defense. Otherwise, he might have to worry about this matter now. Finally, the counselor on the other end of the phone coughed a few times and asked curiously, "Jiang Tao, are you really with Chen Jun now, and do you have a child?" Forehead. Wu Jiantao was suddenly at a loss whether to laugh or cry. He didn't expect that the counselor would be so gossipy. "Well, because of this, I have to take care of her during her confinement period, so I may not be able to return to the academy so soon." "Oh, that's fine. As long as you can attend the graduation ceremony smoothly, I haven't even said congratulations to you yet. Other people get married right after graduation, but you have a son and a daughter right after graduation, haha." Thank you. It's all right, I'll hang up now. You can bring the baby to the academy later. You are a famous person in our academy now. Come on." After hanging up the phone, Wu Jiantao went back to the kitchen. His mother had already cooked the dishes and was scolding her son while making soup. "I'll go back this afternoon and bring back some old ducks, local eggs, and some mountain delicacies. I should be back tomorrow. You must take good care of Xiaoran and the babies, okay?" Yeah, I know. Xiaoran has just been discharged from the hospital, and her wounds haven't healed completely yet. Don't eat too much. Eat small meals frequently, and keep your diet as light as possible. Also, the soup will be ready soon. Let her drink more. Wu Ma gave Chen Jun many instructions, and even wrote down Chen Jun's diet plan for the past 2 days. After lunch, the elder left empty-handed. Well, he would come again the next day or the day after tomorrow, so he would naturally just leave the gifts here instead of taking them back. As soon as she left, The two people in the master bedroom of the new house stared at each other, and things suddenly became a little awkward. The two babies had just finished feeding. Wu Jiantao burped them and put them in their beds, where they were sleeping soundly. Leaning on the bed, Chen Jun somewhat missed the time when Wu's mother was around. At least everyone got along very naturally, unlike now when she didn't know what to say or do. Suddenly, she frowned her beautiful eyebrows. "What's wrong?" Wu Jiantao hurried over. "Milk is leaking again." "That won't work. It's such a waste. I think I should use a breast pump to suck it out, put it in a milk storage bag and store it in the refrigerator. This way, when you are out of confinement and don't have time to breastfeed, I can use the milk in the milk storage bag to feed the baby at home." Huh? Chen Jun was stunned. "That's fine, but how long can I keep this milk? Won't it go bad?" I asked the doctor on WeChat. If it is kept in the refrigerator, it can be kept for 5 to 8 days. If it is frozen at low temperature, it can be kept for several months. Oh. Wu Jiantao took the manual breast pump and started pumping milk. She had used this breast pump when she was in the hospital. During those few days in the hospital, she could not finish all the food in the huge granary. Plus, her baby was too small to eat that much. Most of the time, she squeezed out the milk because it was painful due to engorgement, and it was wasted. Therefore, Wu Jiantao prepared milk storage bags early, intending to squeeze out and store Chen Jun's excess milk after returning. Chapter 28. My best friend is here. Tilda, please read and vote for me, Tilda. As for why this breast pump is manual and not electric. At the beginning, Wu Jiantao bought an electric breast pump, but he found that the electric one was very difficult to use as soon as he used it. It was not that the suction was not strong enough, but that it was too strong and made Chen Jun, who was already very sensitive, unbearable pain. On the contrary, the manual one, although more troublesome, was easier to control the force. At the beginning, you can use a gentler force, and after it becomes smooth, you can use more force. The efficiency is much higher than the electric one, but it is also more laborious. And for Wu Jiantao, I couldn't ask for more. Wow, that's a lot. Wu Jiantao smacked his lips in amazement. This milk storage bag can store up to 200 cc, but being careful, he did not store that much at once. Instead, he only stored 100 cc in one bag. Well, if you store this kind of milk storage bag in the freezer, you have to drink it all right after taking it out, and it is impossible to put it back. Storing a small amount in a bag can avoid waste. 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags. After storing 5 bags with a total of 500 cc, Chen Jun felt much more relaxed. This is not all. After all, the baby will also need milk later, and it cannot be squeezed out without any left. Chen Jun's body has not recovered yet, and her hands have little strength, so Wu Jiantao has to help her express milk using a manual breast pump. Suddenly, she noticed that Wu Jiantao's posture when he sat down and stood up was a little wrong, so she asked with concern, "Are you feeling uncomfortable in your stomach?" Forehead. Wu Jiantao couldn't help feeling a little embarrassed. After all, he was a normal man, facing this kind of situation. He couldn't help but have some reaction. Just like before, he didn't have any subjective thoughts, but this was his body's instinct, and it was inevitable. "No, I'm not feeling uncomfortable." He turned around in a somewhat embarrassed manner, stood up straight at an angle where Chen Jun couldn't see him, and walked out of the room. "I'm going to put the milk in the freezer." Chen Jun. Coming to the kitchen, Wu Jiantao took out an ink pen, wrote the date on the milk storage bag, and then solemnly placed it in the freezer under the refrigerator. At this moment, 2 pleasant doorbell sounds came from the direction of the door. Ding dong, ding dong. Wu Jiantao was stunned in the kitchen and hurried back to the living room, but Chen Jun came out from the room and looked at him embarrassedly. "Well, I asked my best friend to bring me some project information. You know, I work at the Research Institute. Although the Institute hasn't assigned me any specific work yet, I can't let it go. Don't worry, I'll just look through some information, do some auxiliary work, and follow up on the project so that I don't have to learn about the project again later." "Oh, I'll go open the door. You better go back inside. You can't be blown by the wind now." Ahem. Outside the door, Li Xiaoshan was getting a little impatient, and just as she was about to continue ringing the doorbell, the door finally opened. "You dead bastard. Eh?" As soon as the door opened, the girl started to talk, but when she found out that the person in front of her was not Chen Jun, she immediately shut her mouth in embarrassment. "Hello, you are Wu Jiantao, right?" "Ah, hello, please come in." "Well, Xiaoshan told you I brought her some project information and papers," Li Xiaoshan said with a faint smile. She looked tall and thin and was dressed very decently. If Wu Jiantao had not seen the girl's exaggerated and distorted expression the moment he opened the door, he would have almost thought that she was a gentle, shy, and well-educated girl. "Oh, she's in that room." As Wu Jiantao finished speaking, Chen Jun opened the door and stood at the entrance of the master bedroom, waving at her. Then I'll go over first. The girl and Chen Jun went into the room and closed the door. Wu Jiangtao, who was watching outside, couldn't help but shook his head, then turned back to the kitchen to check the soup. It was almost done. Well, he wanted to pour some for Chen Jun to drink. What? In the room? I didn't see that. Li Ziaoshan looked at Chen Jun with a look of anger and grief. Wow, I've only been studying abroad for how long? Half a year. It's only been half a year and you couldn't stand the loneliness and bought such a high-end house and hid a handsome guy in it. Tell me the truth, when did it happen? She is Chen Jun's college classmate and best friend. They both work in the M University's Advanced Computer Materials Research Institute and are also colleagues. She just returned from studying abroad a few days ago. Chen Jun rolled his eyes and held out his hand with his palm facing up. Stop talking nonsense and give me the information and thesis. Also, I didn't buy this house. You really don't love me anymore. Li Ziaoshan cried and threw the information into her hands. What's going on with you? I read what was said on our college forum. It's bullshit. What about you giving birth to a child? How is that possible? Keep your voice down. There are 2 big babies over there by the bed. If you wake them up, you will be responsible for comforting them. Chen Jun glanced at her bestie, then carefully sat down and flipped through the documents, reading them intently. Big treasure. Haha, besides the big treasure outside, what other big treasure do you have hidden in your room? As she spoke, Li Ziaoshan glanced inside casually, and then she was stunned instantly. No, this is. She couldn't help but move closer, rubbed her eyes, and stared blankly at the 2 real treasures. Among them, the brother in light blue clothes seemed to be dreaming. His little hands rubbed a few times very cutely, pursed his lips, and continued to sleep. Chen Jun, am I still your dearest person? Chen Jun glanced at her and asked, why are you reciting the lyrics here? Can you tell me clearly, understandably, explicitly, and comprehensibly what this is? The girl subconsciously lowered her voice. People, she said concisely without even looking up. Chen Jun, you have changed, you have really changed. Someone gritted his teeth. Where did it come from? It came from my stomach. Li Ziaoshan was going crazy. Whose belly is that? Explain clearly, it can't be yours. Right. Chen Jun finally looked up and glanced at her, as if looking at a stick. The meaning in his eyes was, isn't everything clear enough? The next moment, the expression on his best friend's beautiful and elegant face was really wonderful, with surprise, doubt, disbelief, and helplessness and madness. There are many more. Hold the grass, hold the grass, hold the grass. At this moment, of all the Chinese words that Li Ziaoshan has accumulated over the years, only these 2 words can most perfectly and appropriately express her current mood. You are so awesome. You actually have a child. She came closer, gnashing her teeth and lowering her voice. I've been away for half a year. No, why did you? Haha, didn't you laugh at me for being fat when you left? Here, this it is. Chen Jun lowered his head again and answered absent-mindedly while flipping through the documents on the desk. Chapter 29, Good Girlfriend. You're welcome to read and please submit monthly tickets, Tilda. But, Li Ziaoshan's eyes turned red. Do you still think I'm your best friend? Why didn't you tell me earlier? Chen Jun, you. Wow, my years of affection have been wasted in the end. Woo. Having said that, at this moment the best friend felt full of guilt. Last year, the Institute had a cooperation project with the University of the Beautiful Country and needed to send a specialist for study, exchange, and follow-up. Initially, the Institute planned to send Chen Jun, but she refused and recommended Li Ziaoshan to the Institute. Before I left, I didn't tell her that I was pregnant because I was afraid she would refuse. After I left, I didn't tell her because I was afraid she would rush back from the beautiful country and affect my project research and learning exchanges there. All right. Chen Jun pushed her away with a look of disgust. Keep your voice down. If you wake up these 2 darlings, I won't forgive you. Yes, I'll speak more quietly. Li Ziaoshan shut up, turned around and looked at the 2 babies with a curious look on her face. So what was said on the forum is actually true. Is that a sister and a brother, or a brother and a sister? They are a brother and a sister. The one in light blue is the brother, Wu Chengqing. The one in light pink is the sister, Wu Peiyi. It's a nice name, and it looks cute with a milky fragrance. Looking at the 2 big babies' pink little faces and tiny hands and feet, she couldn't help but reach out to touch the little guy's chubby pink hands. Swish, that cute little hand instinctively grabbed her fingers. Wow, she caught me, Chen Jun, look. This guy lowered his voice and kept yelling. His inexperienced look made Chen Jun feel helpless. Suddenly, Chen Jun sniffed the air and seemed to smell something. He turned around and looked over. Ziaoshan, do me a favor. Okay, what can I do for you? Help me take a look at the 2 babies' buttocks. Yes, that's it. Li Xiaoshen's eyes lit up immediately, and she went straight to her hands. Wow, my lovely baby, here I come. Wait, don't put your hand in. Chen Jun tried to stop him, but it was too late. Here, Li Xiaoshen had already stretched her little hand into her brother's trouser pocket behind his butt with a wicked smile. That is, into the diaper. The next moment, the wicked smile on her face froze. That wasn't the kind of bouncy little butt feeling she wanted. Go, at this moment Chen Jun finished speaking. She dazedly withdrew her paws that she had just maintained. They were greasy and earthy yellow and exuded an indescribable faint smell. It tastes a bit sour but not pungent or smelly. But the feeling on my fingertips and the feeling coming towards me. Ugh. She opened her mouth and was about to scream, but everything went dark before her eyes, and a diaper was smeared directly on her face. Don't scream, you'll scare them. Chen Jun, who came over in time and was quick-witted, looked at her with a face full of reproach. Li Xiaoshen was already in tears, whimpering in her mouth. What did you put in my mouth? Oh, Chen Jun quickly pulled the diaper out of her mouth. Li Xiaoshen lowered her head. What is this? Diapers. Although she was not very familiar with the term, she had a bad feeling and turned around. She immediately saw that the so-called diapers were the trouser pockets of two big babies. When she realized what her best friend had stuffed into her mouth, she collapsed and turned around several times in a panic. Bathroom, where is the bathroom? That. Swish, Li Xiaoshen turned around and ran to the bathroom in the master bedroom, lying in front of the toilet. Chen Jun, fuck you, I'm breaking up with you. What a fuss, it's not a used diaper, it's clean. What's the fuss? Chen Jun also came over, took out a basin and filled it with warm water very calmly, preparing to wash her sister's butt and change her diaper, while mocking her in her usual tone. You're still making sarcastic remarks. You've changed. You weren't like this before, Li Xiaoshen, who continued to vomit, cried. I haven't changed. She thought about it seriously, then carried the basin of warm water out. While walking, her movements were still not smooth and her brows were slightly furrowed. She still couldn't use too much force, as it would affect the wound on her lower abdomen. At this time, Wu Jiantao came in from outside. Seeing this scene, he quickly came over and took the basin from her hand. Don't do this. I can do it. You haven't fully recovered yet. It's okay. I feel fine, actually. Let me do it. Wu Jiantao was also somewhat helpless. After spending the past few days with her, he began to understand the personality of this senior sister. She was the type who was independent and rarely asked for help from others. Let me change the baby's diaper. After all, I'm a mother and I can't never change it. Otherwise, I'll be in a rush when you're not around. That's fine. He nodded. Then come on, I'll tell you if there's anything wrong. Li Xiaoshen came out of the bathroom and looked at the scene with surprise. She had known Chen Jun for many years, but it was the first time she saw her best friend getting so close to a boy and communicating so naturally. After the Velcro is attached, you can put a finger in it and feel it. It should not be too tight or too loose. After sticking it on, make sure to turn out the folds of the diaper on both sides of the thighs. Otherwise, when the baby pees or poops, it will leak out from here. Wu Jiantao stepped forward and taught Chen Jun what to do. The two were so close that they could feel each other's breath. The unintentional touching of their hands while changing diapers was also very natural and harmonious. This was a kind of tacit understanding formed after taking care of two babies together for a few days. Look. But Li Xiaoshen next to her suddenly had an inexplicable feeling of fullness, a very bloated feeling. Woof. What are you doing here to show off your love? Standing up, Chen Jun couldn't help rubbing her waist. This little bit of exercise was nothing before she had the baby, but now it was no longer possible. After bending over for a while, she felt a little sore in her lower back, especially the point where the anesthesia was injected. She has been feeling very uncomfortable these past few days. Recalling the day of delivery when she was lying on her side on the hospital bed and the injection that the anesthesiologist gave her, which went deep into her bone marrow, she felt a chill. In the past, although she was not considered a sports expert, she often ran and practiced yoga. She had never had any health problems and even rarely caught a cold or had a fever. But now she has become so weak. As expected, giving birth is indeed a life and death crisis for women. Our ancestors were right. Thanks. She turned around and thanked Wu Jiantao very seriously. Do you often say thank you to your parents at home? He couldn't help but complain. I forgot to set up the sending last night, sorry, here it comes. Chapter 30 is recognized. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Li Xiaoshen, who was standing next to him, laughed out loud while revealing someone's secrets. You can't stand it either, right? Our Xiaoshen is such a serious person. She treats everyone the same. We have known each other for many years, and she always says thank you to me no matter how big or small the matter is. Wu Jiangtao was stunned. Just shut up. Chen Jun blushed and glared at her best friend. Ah hum hum. While they were playing, the little sister who had just pulled Daddy's hand opened her eyes, started looking for her mother, and made sounds for milk. Chen Jun quickly picked up the baby and naturally unzipped her chest, revealing a very majestic breast. The little girl's humming sound suddenly disappeared, and she began to suckle hard. Wu Jiangtao acted as if nothing had happened. He picked up the wash basin and the changed diaper and went to the bathroom. On the other side, Li Xiaoshan was stunned. She pointed at Chen Jun and couldn't help but look at Wu Jiangtao. Yo, he. What's wrong? Chen Jun looked at her with a strange look while feeding her sister. No, you. This best friend came close to her and glared at her. You are the most beautiful one in our M University, a fairy who is not concerned with worldly affairs, the dream lover of countless boys. But you just breastfed in front of another man. Are you still that goddess? Chen Jun couldn't help but roll his eyes. When Wu Jiangtao left the room, Li Xiaoshan suddenly became a little unbridled. I got closer and looked at my bestie's food. It was really huge. She couldn't help but reach out. What are you doing? Moving aside, Chen Jun couldn't help blushing and gave her a reproachful look. I say, what have you been eating since you were a child? How did you grow up? As she spoke, Li Xiaoshan lowered her head to look at herself well. It was still the same as before. There was no difference between lying down and lying prone. Buff. Chen Jun couldn't help but laugh. I didn't eat anything. This should be natural, right? After suffering another critical hit from her best friend, Li Xiaoshan felt terrible. At this moment, Wu Jiangtao in the restroom received a prompt from the system. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for completing the Gaining the Approval of the Baby's Mother mission. Mission rewards, 1 Elite Cooking Skills 2. Physical Fitness +2. Rewards are being distributed. The process of issuing physical fitness rewards has been optimized and will be completed within the next 7 days. The host will not feel any discomfort during this period. Almost at the same time, Wu Jiangtao's mind also flooded with local famous dishes and their cooking methods, as well as some cooking skills such as heat control, cooking techniques, and experience. He recalled the process of making soup under the guidance of his mother. Suddenly, he had an idea and hurriedly walked out of the room to the kitchen and turned off the gas stove under the slow cooker. When the lid of the pot was lifted, a rich aroma of black chicken soup rose up, instantly filling the entire kitchen and spreading to the hall. Wu Jiangtao quickly turned on the range hood to suck away the moisture in the kitchen. Otherwise, the spreading fumes would stick to the walls, stoves, floors, and furniture, and if there was too much, it would form grease stains that would be very difficult to clean. Not quite. He picked up a piece of meat and tasted it, feeling a little regretful. Recalling his previous soup-making process, he immediately discovered many things that were not done well. Otherwise, this soup would be more fragrant, sweeter, and more nutritious, and the meat would taste better, not a bit astringent like it is now. Sniff. In the master bedroom, Li Xiaoshan, who was watching Chen Jun feeding her baby, suddenly shrugged her erect nose and subconsciously turned her head to look in the direction of the door. What is this smell? It smells so good. As she smelled it, her mouth began to water. The next moment, she saw Wu Jiangtao cautiously push open the door with a small soup bowl in his hand. The extremely tempting aroma was wafting from the soup bowl. Li Xiaoshan's eyes widened. She saw that there were a lot of black bone chicken in the soup bowl, with a few plump wolfberries dotted at the bottom, as well as longans and red dates. The soup was a light, bright yellow color. One look at it whets your appetite. Gurgled. Li Xiaoshan, who was a foodie to begin with, swallowed subconsciously and could not take her eyes off the soup bowl in Wu Jiangtao's hand. Wu Jiangtao took another bowl and a spoon, poured out a bowl, and scooped up a few pieces of black bone chicken. Come on while it's hot. After pouring a bowl, he saw Chen Jun holding the baby in both hands and feeding him. Without saying anything, he just picked up the bowl and spoon, scooped up a piece of black bone chicken that was just the right size and handed it over. Chen Jun opened his mouth naturally and put the piece of meat into his mouth. Ahem. The skin was very tender, and the meat inside was slightly bitter but very sweet. She was not picky about food, so her appetite was immediately whetted. She didn't even drink much of the soup and ate several pieces of meat. Here, eat some wolfberries. It will help the wound heal. In no time, Chen Jun finished the small bowl of black chicken soup. After finishing the meal, Chen Jun exhaled a breath of hot air with satisfaction. Delicious. It's delicious. Can you give me some more? Wu Jiangtao found it funny, while Li Xiaoshan next to him was upset. He was obviously starving when he saw the way he was eating the soup, But why was his stomach full at this moment? What kind of fullness did this give him? Why do the feeling of fullness and hunger exist at the same time? Woof. She had a kind of dog-like doubt. No, I feel like I've gained a lot of weight in the past few days. I'd better not eat too much. Just give me some millet porridge. At this time, Chen Jun noticed that Li Xiaoshen's tears were flowing from the corners of her mouth, and she couldn't help but chuckled. Do you want to eat some too? Want? The girl said this honestly and then immediately changed her words. Forget it. This is the soup your man made for you. I'd better forget it. It's okay. I can't finish it all by myself. Wu Jiantao didn't think it was a big deal and advised. Let's eat together. I can't finish this big pot even if I eat it. You should eat some too. Well, okay. I'll just help you out with the extra stuff with reluctance. Don't thank me too much. Having said that, Li Xiaoshen turned around and left the room in a hurry. I won't be polite. I'll find the dishes and chopsticks myself. Coming to the kitchen, the aroma of the refreshing black chicken soup became stronger. Her stomach was rumbling. She opened the disinfection cabinet and picked up the dishes and chopsticks. He filled a bowl, sat in the restaurant, blew on it carefully, and took a small sip. Li Xiaoshen squinted her eyes in satisfaction. It was so delicious. Compared with the soup in the big hotel, it was not much worse. This should be the real dog food, right? It smells so good. What? The scheduled release time is wrong and it is tomorrow damn. Chapter 31. Dog skin plaster. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Why don't you leave? In the afternoon, Chen Jun felt a little sleepy. She had just fed her brother again and changed the diaper for this big baby under the guidance of Wu Jiant. At this moment, she looked at Li Xiaoshen, who was lying on the recliner in front of her, with a look of disdain on her face. The recliner was used by Wu Jiantao to keep watch at night. What are you talking about? The best friend was dissatisfied. I'm just worried that you don't have enough manpower. If I stay, at least I can have an extra pair of hands and feet. Even if I don't know much about taking care of children, I can still help run errands. Chen Jun pointed out calmly. If you stay, you'll have one more mouth to feed. Well, I'm a complete person with hands, feet, and a mouth, so what? What's wrong? Wu Jiantao, who had just changed her baby's diaper, couldn't help but curl up the corners of her mouth when she saw the two best friends bickering. She found it very interesting. Xiaoshen, if you want to stay, then stay. You can also help look after the baby. I'll go lie down on the sofa in the living room. Just call me if you need anything. He smiled. With Li Xiaoshen around, he and Chen Jun felt more natural together. Without her, they always felt uncomfortable when they were alone together. As soon as Wu Jiantao left, Li Xiaoshen lay on the recliner and browsed her phone without any burden. After a while, she couldn't help but stretch and yawn. By the way, junior brother Chen Mei has been asking me about you these past 2 days, and he's been asking where you've moved to. You didn't tell him. Chen Jun frowned. Tusk, how can I tell him? Li Xiaoshen narrowed her eyes slightly. From the beginning, I felt that this boy had bad intentions. Only someone like you who is neither salty nor indifferent would be willing to interact with him. Didn't you see that when he talked to me in the past, I didn't want to pay attention to him? What? He is still pestering you. Chen Jun didn't say anything more, but Li Xiaoshen understood immediately. She suddenly raised her eyebrows, her face full of anger. What a courageous dog! This bastard, wait and see how I'll punish him when I get back. Chen Jun didn't even tell Wu Jiantao about this. Of course, the main reason she didn't tell him was because she was afraid of causing too much commotion, but Li Xiaoshen didn't have so many concerns. Please talk to him for me and ask him to stop texting me. In the past few days, even though she deleted Chen Mei's WeChat, the other party still had her phone number. Text messages came one after another. After blocking one person, another came. This kind of dog skin plaster like entanglement made her extremely annoyed. Li Xiaoshen grabbed Chen Jun's phone and saw the text messages that Chen Mei had sent from different phone numbers, one after another. She was so angry that she laughed. Chen Mei looked very high-end and classy in the past, but she didn't expect him to be such a loser. This best friend was really loyal. She took out her cell phone and dialed the number on it. The call was picked up almost immediately after it was made. Senior Xiaoshen. On the other end of the phone, Chen Mei's very surprised voice came. You called me Xiaoshen. Li Xiaoshen started to criticize directly. I didn't realize, Chen Mei, that you actually have this side. You are Senior Li. Chen Mei's somewhat uncertain voice came, and Li Xiaoshen raised her eyebrows. Not bad, she had not been in the academy for the past 6 months, and after such a long time, this guy could still recognize her voice the first time. His memory was quite good. Chen Mei, I'm warning you, if you call or text to harass Chen Jun again, I will make sure you don't become the president of the student union. Do you believe me? No, senior. I'm just worried about senior Xiaojin. There are rumors about her everywhere in the academy. I'm just worried that senior will be upset. There are so many rumors out there. Hee. Li Xiaoshan sneered. Don't I know what you are thinking? Do you still need to ask about Chen Jun's situation? Who do you think you are? Before he could continue speaking, she interrupted him and said, All right, I'm warning you now, Chen Mei, stop bothering our Xiaojin. If you harass her again, I won't let you go. Get out. Bang. After saying that, she hung up the phone. The other side. Chen Mei put down his phone. A cold look appeared in his eyes, and there was also a hint of helplessness. Li Xiaoshan. This senior was also a prominent figure in the college. She was a top-notch academic genius, top-notch in her studies, and had served as the director of the External Relations Department of the M Student Union. She had a tough style, and even the president of the student union had to give her some face. In particular, she is now also working in the Institute of High-Tech Computer Materials under M University, and has achieved excellent results. Last year, she was sent to the United States to participate in the follow-up and study exchanges of a major project. At her level, she shouldn't have much in common with Chen Mei, but Chen Mei relied on her personal charm to become the president of the student union, and through this identity, she was able to get in touch with their circle. Sitting in the student union office, he frowned, not knowing what he was thinking. Suddenly, a WeChat message notification came, and I clicked it and saw, Boss, I found out. Wu Jiantao bought a house in Yunlu Garden yesterday, and he paid in full. The person who handled it said that the house is the best in Yunlu Garden and costs several million. Full payment? Millions? Chen Mei narrowed her eyes slightly. How could a student have so much money? It seems that this Wu Jiantao is not a simple family. We should not underestimate him. We should investigate him carefully first and not act rashly. What's the house number? That guy is very tight-lipped and didn't say anything. I don't care what method you use, just find out the house number for me. Yes. He sat calmly and began to review what he had done in the past few days. Suddenly, this guy reached out and slapped himself hard in the face. The first time, the second time, the third time. Until the corner of his mouth was bleeding, Chen Mei calmed herself down. Idiot. I have done so much useless work these days. I shouldn't have approached Xiaojin in the first place. Not only did she delete me as a friend on WeChat, she even blocked several of my numbers. Until now, my impression score in her mind must be negative. It seems that I need to plan carefully what to do next, both to win her back and to defeat my rival. As for whether senior sister Xiaojin has given birth to a child, although it is unlikely, we need to confirm it quickly, but if I really had a child, how can I do this? This thought suddenly came to his mind, and Chen Mei felt a little uneasy. He immediately suppressed this emotion. No, it won't happen. It's impossible. The last time we met, she was fine, still so slim and pretty. How could she suddenly have a child? By the way, when was the last time I met senior sister Xiaojin? Chen Mei fell into deep thought. Chapter 32, How Unfair the World Is. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. As the sun sets, Wu Jiantao starts to work again. Well, he had to start preparing dinner. At the same time, he had to keep an eye on Chen Jun. The two babies took a long nap at noon, and after waking up, they had to feed, pee, and poop. There were always many things to do. Chen Jun was still very weak at the moment, and she had no ability to take care of herself. Measure the rice and cook it, make the soup first, and stir-frying is easy and can be left to the end. Wu Jiantao returned to the master bedroom and saw that his brother had also woken up. However, Chen Jun, who was lying on the bed, could only hold her sister to feed her, and was unable to get up and hold another one. He hurried forward and picked up his brother, placing him in front of the food and grass on the other side of Chen Jun, then skillfully stuffed a tall pillow under her elbow to cushion her arm so that she would not be too tired. Call. He let out a sigh of relief. After the two babies finished feeding, they would probably poop again, so they would definitely need to be changed and washed again. In the room, the new parents were a little tired. They didn't sleep for long at noon because the two babies woke up once. As for that person, he was lying on the recliner in front of the bed, sleeping soundly with his legs spread out and snoring softly. That sleeping posture, it's a bit hard to describe. Buff. Chen Jun looked at her, then at Wu Jiantao. The two looked at each other and couldn't help but burst out laughing at the same time. Forget it, don't bother her. She probably hasn't had a good rest in the past 6 months because of the project. You know, we are all very busy in the institute. It's normal to have a reversed day and night schedule and not eat on time. Even though she looks fine, the dark circles under her eyes after removing her makeup will scare you. So that's how it is, Wu Jiantao nodded. At this time, the two babies were full, so he picked them up and burped them, then put them on the bed to lie with their mother. The two babies stared with their big black eyes, looking at the two people in front of them with great curiosity. Wu Jiantao discovered that both the brother and sister paid more attention to their mother and were not very interested in him. The two babies giggled, and their innocent smiles and eyes as pure as the starry sky instantly released all the fatigue accumulated in the bodies and minds of the two parents. Look at this, look at this. Wu Jiantao picked up a small rattle and shook it on the left and right sides of the two babies, making a ding-dong sound. The two babies' big black eyes immediately followed the sound. This action may seem like playing with the baby, but it actually has its own rules. He is following the doctor's instructions to observe the baby's hearing. If he makes a sound but the baby's eyes don't follow, or there are other reactions, then you need to pay attention and take the baby to the hospital in time for further examination of the baby's hearing. Whether it is a congenital problem or an acquired one, intervention must be carried out early. Another point is that the baby is still young and his eyes seem big and bright, but in fact his visual nerves are not fully developed. He can only see things close to him and is not sensitive to colors. Therefore, the rattle cannot be too far away, otherwise the baby's eyesight will not be able to capture the source of the sound. This was the first time that Wu Jiantao observed the baby's hearing. When the rattle made sounds on the left and right sides of the two babies, they subconsciously turned their heads to catch the sound. This shows that their ears are currently healthy, their hearing is normal, and there are no problems. After playing with the two babies for a while, they pooped a lot, and Wu Jiantao cleaned and changed their diapers as quickly as possible. Okay, the rice and soup should be almost ready. I'll go cook the vegetables now and we'll have dinner soon. Yes, okay. Chen Jun was playing with the two babies, raised her head and smiled at him. Wu Jiantao was slightly stunned. It looks really good. Seeing him staring at her, Chen Jun couldn't help blushing and lowered her head to look at the baby. Wu Jiantao chuckled and turned to leave the room. Prick! The leaves, which were perfectly cut in size and shape, were put into the hot oil pan. A cloud of oil smoke rose instantly. The range hood, which was turned on at full power, instantly sucked away most of the oil smoke, but the aroma created by the wonderful encounter between the leaves and the hot oil was not completely sucked away. It still inevitably spread out. The faint aroma of cooking spread out and escaped through the gap in the door. Sniff, sniff. In the master bedroom, Li Xiaoshan, who was half asleep on the recliner, twitched her nose, closed her eyes, raised her head upwards, and then her body followed suit, and it looked as if her head was pulling her body. Good, smells good. Xiaoshan, when did your cooking skills become so good? Huh. The foodie suddenly woke up and saw Chen Jun, who was playing with two big babies on the bed, looking at him speechlessly. To be honest, I envy your sleep quality. Haha, don't be envious, don't be envious. You can't envy it. This is our talent. Li Xiaoshan immediately became proud. She took out a pack of wet wipes and wiped her face with one. She felt refreshed and had a light, fresh fragrance. It is said that the fragrance of a girl is pickled. That's how it comes from. Do you think I'm praising you? Chen Jun glanced at her sideways in annoyance. You sleep like a pig and your sleeping posture. I don't even want to say anything to you. The baby woke up and made a fuss twice in the afternoon but didn't wake you up. Wait a minute, so. Wu Jiantao came in. Nonsense. Ah, the fellow was stunned. Then, didn't he see me sleeping in the afternoon? It's over, my image as a lady is ruined. She has a clear understanding of herself and knows that her sleeping posture is not good. Hearing this, Chen Jun shook his head slightly and looked at her seriously. Xiaoshan, I think you should have a clear understanding of yourself. You are not a lady, really not. On the contrary, a little funny. I understand. You want to call me funny, but since you've never used a bad word before, you can't say it right. Thanks for your understanding. But I don't want to be a funny person, a funny woman. Don't you think it's lonely, empty, and cold? Only men can be funny. Chen Jun's train of thought couldn't keep up for a moment, and she couldn't understand how smelly the car exhaust in this sentence was. Alas, tusk, 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 she can't even drive, but she actually has a child. How unfair is this world? Li Xiaoshan stood up, took out a makeup mirror and tidied herself up. What a delicious smell of food. I envy you for having a husband who is such a good cook. Just a friendly reminder, he and I are not married yet. Li Xiaoshan stood up and said with a smile, I know, but this does not affect his image in my mind. Chapter 33, not fat, please read, and vote for me, Tilda. Seeing the slightly unfriendly look in her best friend's eyes, she smiled indifferently and continued, That's the image of our Xiaoshan's good husband. Chen Jun couldn't help but roll her eyes at her. She didn't waste any more words with her. There was nothing to explain. In her mind, she didn't think much about Wu Jiantao. Of course, if Li Xiaoshan knew about this idea, This best friend would probably sing in front of her. Brother, hug me and tell me what's in your heart. Seeing Chen Jun's reaction, Li Xiaoshan secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Just now it was just a simple test. She wanted to know the general position of her best friend. Now it seems that the goddess is the goddess, and she did not entrust herself to others easily. At this moment, Wu Jiangtao brought the steaming hot food to the dining room, walked over, opened the door, and said to them, "The food is ready, come out, let's eat." Rumbled. As the door opened, the aroma of food became more distinct. Li Xiaoshan's stomach immediately rumbled like thunder due to these words, while Chen Jun was better off and had a bowl of radish and minced meat porridge in the afternoon. She has been eating small meals frequently, and has also specifically asked Wu Jiangtao not to put too much oil in the food he cooks for her. Wu Ma might not dare to ask for this request, but Wu Jiangtao would certainly satisfy it. He would try his best to make food with less oil, salt, and MSG for 5 meals a day. The seasoning itself only enhances the flavor, saltiness, and freshness, and increases appetite. It has no benefit for the body's absorption of nutrients. Wu Jiangtao naturally agrees with this. Wow, that looks really good. When she arrived at the restaurant and saw the food on the table, Li Xiaoshan's eyes suddenly lit up. As for the 3 aspects of color, aroma, and taste, it's hard to say since I haven't tasted them yet. But from the 2 aspects of color and aroma, this table of dishes is absolutely impeccable. Xiao Wu, your cooking skills seem to be very good. Is there an elder in your family who is a professional certified chef? Li Xiaoshan looked at Wu Jiangtao curiously. No, my family is an ordinary one, and we don't have any certified chefs. Wu Jiangtao shook his head and helped Chen Jun sit down. Steamed spare ribs, fish head tofu soup, stir-fried vegetables, mushroom and lean meat with tofu, steamed radish and egg. Let me taste them. Li Xiaoshan listed them all. She picked up the chopsticks and took the lead in working on the biggest dish on the table, steamed spare ribs. Chen Jun couldn't help but roll his eyes. Pick up a piece of ribs and put it in your mouth. The fragrance of the ribs will fill your lips and teeth as soon as you bite it. The meat will fall apart softly with a gentle bite. The bones are also very soft, but the flexible, crispy bone in them adds a bit of flexibility to this piece of bone, just like the finishing touch. Tasty! Li Xiaoshan's eyes lit up. On the other side, with Wu Jiangtao's help, after drinking a mouthful of the milky fish head soup, Chen Jun was also slightly startled. Delicious! It looks thick and white, tastes extremely sweet and fresh, and has no fishy taste at all. She immediately turned her head to look at Wu Jiangtao, who was smiling beside her, only to see him say with a smile, "I didn't add too many seasonings to it, just some pepper and cooking wine to remove the fishy smell, and the rest is the taste of the fish meat and bones. Drink more if you like." Before this, he had asked a doctor. Although Chen Jun's wound was still a little painful, it had almost healed and he could drink fish soup. Chen Jun nodded and quickly finished the bowl of fish soup. He felt a wave of heat flowing into his arms and spreading out. He actually felt intoxicated. So delicious. At this moment, she instinctively wanted to serve white rice. But when the words came to mind, she changed her mind and said, "Jiang Tao, give me a bowl of rice porridge." Wu Jiangtao took the bowl and served it a bowl of radish porridge, then picked up her chopsticks and put a few pieces of steamed pork ribs and vegetables into the porridge. "I specially steamed these spare ribs to make them soft and tender. They are easy to chew and digest and perfect for you. If you can eat them, eat as many pieces as you can." Li Xiaoshan, with a mouthful of food, seemed to be saying something, which left Wu Jiangtao and Chen Jun speechless. After swallowing the food, he looked at Wu Jiangtao in amazement. "The food you cook is so delicious, Xiaoshan. I envy you for being able to eat such delicious food every day in the future." "Ah, no, can I come here often to eat for free in the future? I don't eat for free." "No, you're quite an idiot," Chen Jun interjected calmly. You get out of here. I can help take care of the baby. In addition to feeding, well, I can learn to change the baby's diapers." Li Xiaoshan counted on her fingers. "I can also burp the baby and play with them. How about it?" "Not very good." Chen Jun glanced at her. "Then you agree, haha, it's happily settled." Less than half an hour, the plates and soup bowls on the dining table were all clean and tidy. Li Xiaoshan, who was sitting at her seat, was holding her stomach and groaning. Chen Jun also felt a little bloated from eating, so she quickly stood up and walked around. "Why didn't you stop me?" She patted Wu Jiangtao in a scolding tone. "I can't eat too much." Wu Jiangtao was speechless. "No, you just drank 2 bowls of soup, ate some fish, a few pieces of pork ribs, some vegetables, and a bowl of porridge. That's not much." "No, I need to walk around. If I keep eating like this, I seriously doubt whether I can lose weight again." Chen Jun muttered and began to walk in circles in the living room. Because the wound on his abdomen was still a little painful, he couldn't take big steps, and his body swayed from side to side when he walked like a penguin. Wu Jiantao couldn't help laughing, and Li Ziarashen, who was still slumped beside the dining table, directly mocked him. Wow, where did this emperor penguin come from? It's so cute. Get lost. You are not allowed to eat for free anymore. I was wrong. You don't look like an emperor penguin. Emperor penguins are much fatter than you. Yes, I'm not as fat as an emperor penguin, but I'm still fat. Chen Jun was not stupid, so she could naturally understand the meaning behind these words. She turned around and looked at her with a smile, as if to say, I'll give you another chance to reorganize your words. Not fat, not fat. I'll supervise you later. Our Xiaojun is a goddess, how could she be fat? Li Xiaoshan stood up with great difficulty, and her lower abdomen was visibly larger than before. It's over. She was suddenly stunned, and counted on her fingers how much I had just eaten. I seemed to have eaten about half a bowl of spare ribs and taro, half a plate of mushrooms, lean meat and tofu, and some vegetables. I drank 2 big bowls of fish head soup and ate the fish head. Finally, the porridge smelled delicious, so I drank half a bowl. At the end, he burped. Chapter 30, For My Heart is Broken. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Why didn't you stop me? The best friend looked at Chen Jun with a sad and angry face. She blinked, wondering why this sentence sounded familiar. I tried to stop him but failed. While screaming, Li Xiaoshan began to accurately calculate the calories of the food she had just eaten and the corresponding amount of exercise, and calculated how far she would have to run in the mornings in the past 2 days to burn them off. Wu Jiantao was playing with the 2 babies in the crib and entertaining them. Let's go downstairs and take a walk before it gets completely dark. Let's take a walk and help digest our food. Go, go, go. They set off right away. Wu Jiantao picked up the 2 babies and put them in a stroller specially designed for twin babies. He pushed the stroller in front, while Li Xiaoshan walked behind, holding the tightly wrapped Chen Jun. Well, windbreaker, scarf, mask, fully armed. AI, you are in confinement now. Is it okay for you to just go out casually? Li Xiaoshan said in a low voice. You also know about confinement. It's a thing of the past to stay at home. Wu Jiantao smiled and said, as long as you don't go out in strong winds or hot weather, wear more clothes and don't catch a cold, you'll be fine. I just checked. There's no wind outside, and the temperature outside is 23 or 24 degrees, just right. Oh, seeing that what he said made sense, she nodded and felt relieved. That's right. Wu Jiantao turned his head and whispered to Chen Jun, you must not tell my mother about this. People of her generation are very strict about confinement. Not to mention going out, you can't even leave the room. You can't even take a bath or wash your hair for a month. Not washing your hair for a month. Chen Jun shuddered at the thought. Would bugs grow on his head? That. She hesitated as she approached Wu Jiantao and whispered, she will come while I am in confinement. Then, won't I be able to take a shower or wash my hair for a whole month? It's okay, I'll talk to my mom about it. Don't forget, strictly speaking, Chen Jun is not the daughter-in-law of their Wu family, so Mother Wu can't really do much. Wu Jiantao already had a plan for dealing with this, and was pretty confident that he could convince his mother. On the contrary, Wu Jiantao was a little worried about Chen Jun's family. Giving birth to a child was such a big deal, but she didn't even meet her family. This was a bit outrageous, but she had asked several times before, but she didn't say anything. Thinking of this, Wu Jiantao's heart moved slightly, and he glanced at Li Xiaoshan beside him. The two had known each other for so many years, and he didn't know if she knew what the situation was at Chen Jun's home. Arriving at the garden downstairs, the group walked along the stone path, greeted by the faint scent of grass and trees, which was refreshing. As they walked, Chen Jun unconsciously came to Wu Jiantao's side. The two pushed the crib side by side, occasionally bending down to tease the 2 babies, and sometimes whispering. Well, they were talking about some tedious matters of the upcoming confinement period. Li Xiaoshan watched from behind, and the more she watched, the more uncomfortable she felt. Woof, woof, woof. What? Not far away, a young man wearing glasses saw them from afar, was stunned at first, then pretended nothing had happened, picked up his mobile phone and made a call. Hello? Boss, I saw them. It's Wu Jiantao and Chen Jun. Yeah, Li Xiaoshan is here too. Oh right, I saw it. Wu Jiantao and Chen Jun were pushing a baby carriage. That baby carriage was for twins. It's real, I saw it with my own eyes. What, boss, you're coming over? This? Fine, I'll keep an eye on you. What? It's better not to go to the river. Wu Jiantao advised softly. The wind is quite strong over there. Good. Chen Jun nodded, but there was some regret in his eyes. There was a small Tingzhu in the river. When Yunlu Garden was first developed, a very freehand landing was built on this Tingzhu, and several towering trees were moved there. It is said that when the Lanting Pavilion was first built here, it was seen by a professor from the agricultural university in the nearby university town. He moved a few towering trees from somewhere and added some trees planted by the developer, turning this small Tingju into a small forest in an instant. Families in this community like to walk there every day. There are children running around there every day, and it is quite lively. Forget it, don't go. Li Xiaoshan also said, I've been there a few times. It's nice to look at, but there are a lot of naughty kids running around. Don't turn around to avoid being bumped into by them. That's right. As they talked, they walked slowly in the garden of the community. Suddenly, Chen Jun was slightly stunned, and Li Xiaoshan also saw a boy walking towards them. His hair was combed meticulously, his eyebrows were starry, and his eyes were sharp. His appearance and demeanor gave people a very extraordinary feeling at first glance. Although Wu Jiantao, who is wearing casual home clothes, looks a bit handsome, he gives people a much more ordinary feeling in comparison. Chen Mei. Chen Jun's eyebrows, as soft as distant mountains, were slightly frowned, and Li Xiaoshan's eyebrows were even more raised. Her originally smiling face suddenly turned cold, and she went straight to meet him. You don't understand what people say, do you? This best friend with a cold face blocked Chen Mei's way. Senior, I just want to talk to Sister Xiaojan. I'm not here to cause trouble. Chen Mei forced a smile, trying to maintain his persona. He didn't need to get too close, as he had already seen it. The scene in front of him broke his heart. The kind that is broken into pieces. In his mind, the goddess who had always belonged to him was now standing so close to another man. The two of them were almost touching each other. Of course, the most important thing was not this, but the fact that in the stroller that she and the man were pushing, there were two children lying very quietly. Sister Xiaojan, he called out from a distance. Although his facial expression was well controlled and relatively calm, his trembling voice had already betrayed him. Chen Mei. Chen Jun shook her head gently. Actually, we are not close enough for you to call me that. Please wake up and don't disturb my life and my work again. Thank you. Wu Jiantao, standing next to him, felt that he looked familiar. Oh, right. He seemed to be there when he moved house before, but he was just sitting at the back. He suddenly thought that his memory seemed to have improved a lot. At that time, the boy was hiding in a corner far back in the crowd, very inconspicuous, and I just glanced at him. The expected conflict did not happen, and everything was calm. After saying all this, Chen Jun and Wu Jiantao pushed the crib together, walked into Building 11, and returned to their home. The fragrance has faded, and the person is gone, but Chen Mei still stood downstairs in silence, standing there quietly, not knowing what she was thinking. Chapter 35, Headache. Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Boss. The bespectacled subordinate came over from not far away and looked at him with some concern. After working with Chen Mei for so long, this was the first time he saw his stern and domineering boss be so. How to describe it? Oh, right. Pretentious. Isn't that hypocritical? Everyone has left, but why are you still staying here? Waiting for her to suddenly run out from inside like in the TV series and look at him in tears in a desperate struggle, or waiting for her to change her mind and say you are my April in the world. After standing there for an unknown amount of time, Chen Mei suddenly raised his head and looked back at the place where Chen Jun and the others had just disappeared. A hint of gloom flashed across his eyes. He didn't stay here any longer and turned and left. Q City. At Wu Jiantao's home at the dinner table. What kind of trouble did that kid get into? Why did you take so long? And you have to go again tomorrow? Dad Wu asked dissatisfiedly while eating. Wu Ma didn't know what to say for a moment, but she quickly reacted and said coldly, Are you questioning me? Dad Wu was in a terrible state. Why? Did he inexplicably feel like he was suddenly not in the right? No, you were gone for so many days and you didn't tell me anything. What happened? In the past few days, he also called his son, but the boy said the same thing as his mother, and sometimes he even directly handed the phone to Wu Ma. This brat must have gotten into trouble in the academy. He was thinking whether he should call the school to ask. Yes, there is something, but I'll tell you after a while when things are settled. It's not a big deal. That guy just bought a house these 2 days and asked me to go over and help. Buff. Father Wu almost spit out a mouthful of rice, but he swallowed it with all his strength and looked at his wife in astonishment. What did you just say? That kid bought a house, and he bought it himself. That brat hasn't even graduated yet. Where does he get the money? It seems to be some kind of virtual currency platform, some kind of G-coin, BT coin, etc., and he also speculated in stocks. He made millions. I was afraid that his money came from illegal sources, so I went to keep an eye on him. Wu Ma was quick-witted and told part of the truth to smooth over the matter. Oh, So that's how it is. Wu's father nodded. This was indeed a big matter. No wonder his wife had to be gone for several days. Since we've confirmed that there's no problem with the source of his money, then why are you going there tomorrow? Wu's father expressed his dissatisfaction. Wu's mother's originally tidy home suddenly became a bit messy, and it was a headache to prepare 3 meals a day. Why are you asking so many questions? Oh, I haven't asked you yet. Where's the rice cooker you used to have? Why did you replace it with a new one? Wu's father was dumbfounded and couldn't say a word. No way, I made it look old on purpose. It's no different from the previous one, how could you tell? I'm going to be gone for a few days. It seems that I was too nice to you in the past. You can even blow up the rice cooker when I cook a simple meal. Wu Zhaniang, you are really capable. Have you scrubbed the floor in the past few days? I'm afraid you haven't even swept it. Look, all this dust on the floor. Did I do too much housework in the past so that you don't even know how to do housework? Huh. Wu Dad. After dinner, the couple started to clean the house. While enduring Mom's nagging, Dad Wu happily swept and mopped the floor. By the way, our son's strength has returned to normal. Oh. Wu Zhaniang nodded first, then immediately realized what was happening and looked up in astonishment. What? That kid's strength has been integrated? This is impossible. Although that kid's bones are not bad, they are not that good either, not to mention his comprehension. He is simply incomparable to his brothers and sisters, and he is already so old that his muscles and bones have long been stiff, and his strength cannot be integrated. How is it possible for him to have integrated strength? Wu Ma then told the story of how her son had encountered human traffickers a few days ago, and how she had chased them and rescued the child. Is it the outburst of energy and blood in a desperate situation? Wu Dad's frown relaxed and he nodded in approval. This kid seems to have a better talent in martial arts than we expected. This kind of outburst didn't leave any hidden injuries on his body, right? I checked, he's fine. His physique is better than I thought. I specially made soup for 2 people during those days, leaving 1 portion for him. Wu Ma suddenly shut up, realizing that she had let the cat out of the bag, and looked at her husband with some guilt. But Wu Dad was just mopping his feet as if nothing had happened. He said without even looking up, "You're going over there tomorrow. Do you want to guide him in his future training?" Seeing that Father Wu didn't show any strange expression, and was still careless as always, not realizing the problem with what he just said, Mother Wu also breathed a sigh of relief. Good. The next day, Mother Wu got up early in the morning, prepared breakfast, but did not wake Father Wu up. She brought 2 old ducks that had been hungry the whole day, and a big bag of local specialties such as black fungus, shiitake mushrooms, bamboo fungus, etc. She also brought deer tendons and antlers that had been treasured at home for a long time. Not long after she walked out of the house, Wu's father, who was still sleeping soundly in the room, suddenly opened his eyes, listened to the noise outside, and then reached out to take the mobile phone. How's it going? Did you catch up? Be careful, don't use the dumbest tracking method, you will be discovered. Master, don't worry. We'll be using drones the whole time, so Master's wife won't notice. At this moment, his WeChat suddenly rang. Ding ding dong ding dong. Ding ding dong ding dong. The person displayed on it was his wife, and he was so scared that his hand trembled and the phone slipped and flew into the air. Fortunately, he was very skilled and caught it in a panic without letting it fall to the ground. After letting out a long breath, Dad Wu answered the phone. Hello? He lowered his voice deliberately, sounding as if he hadn't gotten up yet. You haven't woken up yet? Aren't you going to practice today? Well, take a rest today. I'm too old to practice every day like the young guys. What's the matter? Did you forget something and want me to bring it over? It's nothing. I just want you to get up. Breakfast will get cold if left out for too long. Father Wu secretly complained in his heart, thinking that he must have forgotten something, but he didn't want me to know, so he gave up asking me to help bring it over. At the high-speed railway station, Wu Ma, who was in the waiting area, hung up the phone. A look of self-blame flashed across her face. How could she forget to bring the family heirloom jade bracelet? Forget it, just don't bring it. Anyway, the relationship between Xiao Tao and Xiao Jun is not confirmed yet. Let's wait until later. Oh, what is going on? They haven't gotten married yet, and their parents haven't met each other yet, but they already have a child. I heard from my son before that Xiaojun hasn't even told her family yet, so I guess there are big problems over there, and I don't know how to tell him about it either. It's a headache. Chapter 36, Which Dad is Here? Please read and vote for me, Tilda. Mom, you're here. Wu Jiantao opened the door and saw his mother carrying large and small bags in both hands. One of the bags even made a duck sound. At the same time, a foul smell hit him in the face. He hurried forward to help his mother carry in the 2 old ducks, turned around and walked through the living room to put them on the balcony outside. Mom, you don't have to mention the ducks at home. There are some very good ones in the market here. I don't trust the old ducks in the market. I don't know what kind of feed they are fed. The ones from the farms are very different from those in the fields in the countryside. Uma walked in chattering and changed into a pair of slippers. Moreover, chickens and ducks in farms are said to be often fed antibiotics. Some time ago, the news reported that duck necks cannot be eaten. Don't underestimate this. Feeding chickens and ducks with these antibiotics is equivalent to us eating antibiotics. Wu Jiantao stopped talking because what Wu Ma said was indeed true. In the past 2 years, there have been endless news reports on this aspect, which have attracted widespread attention from all walks of life. Nowadays, although calls for banning and reducing antibiotics have become a trend, and a consensus has gradually been reached, and large-scale and responsible companies are ensuring food safety, the public is terrified by antibiotics and does not trust many chickens, ducks, and even pork from farms. Let Ho, a guest, after putting down her bags and washing her hands in the bathroom,